We are live through the WAAAGH. So, boys, we out here. Nothing started yet. You right. If you're observing, I'm here live. I can give it a refresh so that everybody feels good about that. So, there we go. Nothing up yet. Right. So we're good. We're all here together. We did have our boy Adrian's list, right?
Yeah, we should go over that real quick.
Adrian's list. Now he does have an interesting. I'll just put it up so that it doesn't get in the way of the whole stream. Right here, Adrian's list. What's up, everybody who's joined us? You know, you got a lot of options. A lot of people are live right now, so thank you for being here. Now we're gonna go with here's what. Make it bigger. Oh, okay, I don't want to cover the whole. Yeah, that's good enough. Yeah, it's good. There's Adrian's list. So it looks like this little spacing right here, we assume is where he is making two different detachments. Right? So your guess is as good as ours to a degree of what detachment is this, and then what detachment is this. You know, we'll find out. I mean, I don't think he's going to have Warhorde personally. I think Warhorde's going to cost all three. So if it was Warhorde, maybe the space is just no reason, but I'm pretty sure they're going to be showing off the double detachment factor today. So there's a Morkan on here and here. So David was saying he feels like most of this is shooting to a degree, right? And then this is, it looks like he's going to have to be doubling down on characters for the 10-man boys, or he's going to let the weird boy be, and still, even with the weird boy being solo, you know,
right.
Because the banner and the pain boy are both support, and then the big boss and war boss are both leaders. So both of them will be the unit. Then they'll have some kind of character support, like we said, banner or the pain boy, which isn't going to be optimal, as we know, right? Because you need optimally, you need the most. You need more boys if you're going to get the most out of your. You need optimally, you need the most. You need more boys if you're going to get the most out of your. You need optimally, you need the most. So yeah. So what's up, everybody who's here? Oh, what's up, Wall? What's up, Nerf? What'd you say over here? Haunted Ricky said, "Weird boy had leader keyword. Yeah, he had leader keyword too. I think he's gonna be alone because is he worth putting and not putting in? He's probably best not putting in a unit along all these others compared to all these other characters, which would suck if they ran solo. But he does have the leader keyword. Even he can only lead boys, so there's a chance he's leading the boys. But I just don't know. Oh wait. Go Adrian. Yeah. Whoa. Remember when I used to walk Adrian a lot back in the day before I started the channel. And then when we were new to the channel, Adrian was one of the first people to give us love. So Adrian's aware of the Great Wall, and he's a supporter in his way. And so I appreciate him. That's why we're here supporting him today. I do appreciate him being the orc representative, a good mixture of understanding all the keywords in the game, but also understanding the lore and the fun, the narrative, the aspect. His personality kind of meshes with certain kind of orcs. If I'm Gorky, he's Morky in that way, right? So yeah, nothing's showing off on them. Yeah, you guys, you're all seeing the same thing. You know, we know GW messes up just like you and I do, just like we do as me and David were. With getting stuff started. So we assume they're taking a little longer to get started, but I'm pumped, dude. I'm pumped for this. Now, do I think this orc list is optimal for being 100%? No, but that's okay because this game isn't supposed to be the most competitive. It's just meant to show off all the bits and tools. And we have no idea how amazing Gaz or a Mork in these Meganobs might turn out with these new changes, right? So I'm curious. What do you think about?
I would even go as far as saying we don't even know if they're playing a competitive
mission.
Yeah, it might be something more narrative, just to kind of fit with the theme.
Yeah,
because we do have the latter two games.
We do have the other two, which are meant for. What was the other one? It's not on here, is it? Where was it showing up? Right here.
Yeah.
So Community Clash, and then the championship rematch.
Yeah,
so
the Community Clash is the play on tabletop guys.
Yeah. This seems like, to me, it seems like an escalation. Like they're letting people who just get the box game get stuff going. You're gonna have an Armageddon look if you put together your stuff. And I think what was smart about Adrian's list was, how can I get the most points and models to 2,000 points on the table with just a box set, right? So if you really look at this in purchase power, you bought a Gas, you bought Morkanot, and then you got some Meganobs. That's the majority of your list. There's a bunch of secondhand Death Copters you can get, right? You can find online. People get them because they were the old Start Edition box. And they have a bunch of them. Unless they watch this channel, then they just hoard them all because they're going to get 18 like that goes. And then one Tank Buster purchase and one Mando purchase. So if you look at this, it's one box set plus what 4 or 5 purchases, depending on how much. If you want to get to 2,000 points exactly, I would say because 1, 2, 3, 4, and then these are the ones that you have to kind of decide if you're going to fill them with something else or kind of. I just put this the free game acquire, right? Either you're going to get another 20 boys for gas if he still has that rule, which I hope he does. But if you look at it, you buy gas, what, $50, $60. Gorkanaut, Morkanaut, 120 to 150. 1 box of Mandos, 1 box of Tank Busters. You're almost at 2,000 points after the starter set box. That's what I think that's really what the goal of his list was. That's why I'm not giving him a hard time and not really worried about it overall. We're just here to enjoy and watch the rules play out. Oh, and it looks like here we're starting. So as you're looking at it, you're wondering, hey, how competitive it is. You know, Adrian's is out here to get you guys closer to starting the game. I think he's going to do a great job. You don't want to get copyrights. We're going to talk a little bit.
Armageddon, the war world. Its soil
we're not
is
monetized,
worthless, salted by the blood and sweat of generations.
Here's the same one we've seen. Someone thinking Freebrew Crew and more DACA for Adrian's. I like what you're thinking.
Yeah, I can see the latter half being more DACA.
And echoes in the sky.
No, I see the gas half being Freebrew.
Oh, really?
And you get the wall. Right? And then working up. Maybe.
But what's the main detachment? The Armageddon Bowl.
More DACA?
You think so?
More DACA only affects infantry now. Like advanced assault. So that goes on all those boys and characters. Or then it doesn't help the DACA rig though. Yeah, so it's hard to say.
We belong here.
You see how he had to cheap shot him? You seen that? He had to come from behind? We know that. All right, that's an exception. Yeah. You got that plot armor. Oh, GW, you better make this right in the codex. That's such a really strong power in the lore, but how they wrote it right now, it's not that powerful. But we don't know. It might become. It's where my hope lies. That was sick. I think he deflected that blast.
Yeah.
That's awesome, dude.
The best you get is neutral.
Neutral stance with his Chappie.
There is only
Was one of those guys carrying like a two-handed chainsword? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if they just hold them. Bro out here with looted windows. All right. Oh, here we go, boys. There's only war.
All right.
It's coming.
Exciting, man.
Today is the first battle of this war. Oh, shit.
Oh.
We're battling the Big Macs. We're battling technical difficulties.
Yeah, doing live shows is
live. We are here to bring you 3 incredible games of the new edition of Warhammer 40,000. I am joined by wonderful co-commentators Adam Camilleri and Paul Murphy, and we'll be walking you through the new games of Warhammer 40,000. Adam, Paul.
Be here. How you doing, Paul?
Loving it. Absolutely cannot wait for today.
Of gaming and exploration of the new edition.
Oh, most people are saying in the live chat they have no image.
Our first game, we have a showcase of the new Armageddon box. This is Orks playing into Space Marines.
Oh, it's all good.
Blood Angels particularly. And Paul, you'll be taking the reins of the Space Marines.
Looking very much forward to it, showing off some of the new unit stuff in the box.
They're just talking about the new units and how they're getting excited to see it, but they're not.
Yeah, you guys have beefed.
They're not actually showing anything on visuals, even on their end. Also, what I've done is I've put the chats so I can see them on the bottom of the screen, so you guys now can see your own chats. So you guys, so if it gets in the way of the game, I'll get rid of it. But this is so you guys can see your own chats, just like if you were watching any other stream. If you don't want that, go out, remove it. You look at my forehead.
Yeah, absolutely. And then after that, we've got 2 more
brilliant
games.
Boomies don't know how to use a camera. Yeah, they don't know how to use tech, bro.
Which is
here we go. We're back.
The brand new edition of
Back,
Warhammer
I guess here for the
40,000
first time.
with two very different players, very different armies.
Yeah, we got 6 players, 6 unique factions. The second game is going to be Tau versus Death Guard. And
Why
then
is Adrian
that
so
last
good?
game,
Or
oh my
who's
lord,
playing against?
rematch.
Who is playing against
Guys,
Adrian?
A rematch from the World Championships of
Paul
Warhammer
Murphy?
that occurred in just in November.
I got Adrian, dude.
Just
immediately.
revamped versions of their championship.
At least the
lists,
audio works.
versus
Yeah, that's
so
what I'm
quite a
talking
similar
about.
list
You know
to
that's
what they
struggle,
had
boys.
in
Just trust me. We're
World,
some of the
Championship finals.
we do
but
all of our
tweaked a
stuff
little bit
live.
for the brand new edition.
That's the
So
difference, I think, between
hopefully
us and
we've
all
got a
your other
really great
cool
showcase
channels.
of a little bit of
We do
everything of
everything
Warhammer
live.
40,000. So if you want to see how the
Well,
new
almost
box set
everything. I think
plays,
there's like
the new
5 to 10%
models in that
videos
fight,
I
tune in
record.
for this first game. It's going to be great. If you want to see a great kind of narratively,
So they're just breaking
match,
out.
that second game is going to be a treat. And if you want to see the competitive end of Warhammer 40,000,
I think the second game's are narrative.
So they're just
third
going
game
over
of
what
today
you're
is going to be
saying
an absolutely
about
great
the
showcase.
first
Two
game
brilliant
being
players,
more narrative to show that
showing
off.
absolutely putting the new
Most
edition.
people are going to start off.
Yeah, what a showcase to
Armageddon
end off
box,
what maybe some
and
people's
then
experience
they're
with the
going to
current
progress
edition, moving into
being
new
more
with
competitive.
one of the greatest games of the entire edition. You know, somewhat of a showcase.
Yeah, at first I was confused about Adrian's list.
We are joining you
But
here from the Arlington.
once I looked at it,
Arena.
point per dollar, I was like, okay.
Dallas Open.
Yeah.
And one of the players you're going to be seeing in that last game did indeed take down that set Dallas Open. Liam VSL piloting the.
You're talking about the rematch
game,
between
won this major,
Lennon
and is about to be
and
stepping back onto the table to play
no?
potentially an
Siegler
even
and,
harder game, or as hard a game.
Liam.
It's going to be his, I don't know, 11th, 12th,
CSL
35th game
I
of
think
the
that
weekend. The
momentum's
guy
going to
does not
carry him
stop.
forward
I'm a
into
fan of,
another win against
Siegler.
Siegler, or can't try to win against
Oh,
Siegler.
he's a cool guy. Yeah, I like him.
Look,
He's
he
my
has
favorite.
every opportunity. The new missions are going to be a
Actually, I like
huge factor
most
to
of them.
unpack. Of course, we're going to be doing
Besides
that
John, I
as
guess, 'cause
we
he hates
go. What
Orks.
have we got up next?
Yeah, so absolutely.
Oh,
we've got,
Paul is
Paul
also
playing
a
into,
former pro
Orks.
chess
So
player.
Paul, you've got the
Not
Space Marines
this
from the
guy.
Armageddon box. You're
Oh.
obviously a renowned Blood
I'm
Angel
not
player.
Paul Murray.
You've got the
So there's
T-shirt there already.
Two Paul.
How are you feeling
Oh,
about
man.
Is that what you're
taking the
saying?
Space Marines into this new edition, playing the first?
Let me
game
know
of
who is
I think it's
the.
going to be awesome. I
Yeah,
think
let me
they're
know,
very
Weird
well
Boy.
suited to
Would
do a
this
lot
guy
of
who's
damage
about to play
against Orks
Adrian,
before
or
we
is this
kinda
guy
turn
only
into
the
it. Can't wait
commentator?
to see how it goes.
Indeed. Of
I'm
course, you
awake.
can check
It's
out
early.
everything
Yeah, it was
we're
early
talking
for us
about
too,
our
right?
follow
For
along
us,
with a lot of what we're going to be having over at
Americans
Warhammer
over here,
community.
it's their day
Of
off.
course, exclamation point
But
new
also
40K
my
will give you a
morning
huge amount of
time,
links, a
morning
great
stream,
amount of information, and exclamation
which is
point
why you see me sorry.
schedule I got there. We'll tell you about all of today's coverage so you don't miss a
Got the
thing.
A
next
full
one.
day celebration of the new 40K.
Oh yeah, I know how that is.
Indeed. All right. So
Wait a second.
next
You guys
up-
wearing a Blood Angel shirt, dude?
Yeah, so he's
No,
bloody.
no, we got it.
yeah, how
covered,
you feel?
dude.
How
Nah,
you
he's
feeling
getting
about your
comfy.
prospects?
Sorry,
Oh, look,
chest
I
player,
will say
not.
there's a
Adrian, I
lot of
got
green
you
on
got
the other
this.
side of this field. We'll see. We're
No,
actually going
oh,
to deployed over
it's
there, and I'm about
broken.
to jump into it. I'm look, obviously great against a great player in Adrian. Going to see how these new rules collide with each other. New mission types, new formats, new terrain, and slightly new changes. I think quality of life improvements. I can't wait to start.
Do you have a favorite thing you're excited to
Set up his
experience?
models.
I want to use that new land speeder.
Ooh, good
Yeah,
choice.
it's funny
Very
to
fun
call him
choice.
his
Of
first game
course,
being
land
narrative,
speeders,
but,
they go back a
Warhammer-
long way. Very venerable. And
It's
a unit
quite
as old as
a lot of
almost,
competitive
and a
units.
brand new miniature coming out in the box
Yeah.
there for us all to enjoy. I'm going to be getting
That
immediately.
he was saying that he is
Is there
interested.
anything you're
You
particularly
know,
worried
take
about
away from this
inside
game is I
the
think he wants to go second.
Yes, all the orcs.
All the
He's got Gazgul.
Well, you saw in the trailer that very impressive weird boy, and then of course we will be joined by Gazgul
Small
Thraka,
melee units.
which is never an easy thing to overturn.
Yeah. I mean, there's a good mix of stuff in the armies. I think it's worth saying that the way that we've sort of put these forces together is to give you a kind of idea about how you might want to expand the Armageddon box. And obviously, we'll look
Exactly
at
what we were talking about. What's up, my boy Eddie? Twinning out here. He said we did this for easy buying of the next box
additions
set.
into that force. There's loads of ways you can take that. One of the cool things about the Armageddon box is it gives you like a really solid core to the force.
Yeah.
To kind of
I would say if you're doing it
Yeah,
also
building upon the last
in
two as
hand,
well,
instead of
over in
buying
depth
6
and in
Meganons,
revive,
they're
then
probably
it
going to get
gives you an
replaced
incredible
soon.
starting point. In
Get
addition to a lot
secondhand
of
20
really
boys
important
if you
support characters
can.
that, of course,
If
work
that's still in
completely
the
differently in list
like
construction
rules,
now.
we're still allowed to do that, which I assume we are at least for the next couple months.
Some banners with the
That would
captains,
be
with some
better for your money.
intercessors. See how that all plays out.
And your collection, because then you can blend those
Of course,
20
playing
boys,
against Adrian,
those other
venerable,
20 boys you get,
long-standing,
2
event
mobs
from
of 20
over his
instead.
channel on Tabletop Titans.
And then
So
you
check
move
that out
guys when they
yourself.
get
You
new
can do
Meganons.
Adrian, in addition.
Yeah,
And,
second
of
hand's
course,
way to go,
Paul here.
especially if
You have
you don't have
there's some
much
stakes. There's
time to
some,
be hopping.
don't dishonor this house. This house being you
Yeah.
and me. on
Well,
this,
especially
on
if
this
you're an
level.
Orc
So,
player and you
know,
got
a
to
bit of pressure.
do a lot of
A
work for
little bit,
everything.
but we're
Honestly,
going to put on a good show for
the
everybody
bad
watching. It's gonna be
dog
good.
with
I know
5
everyone
walk
wants to see the
tactics
game. I
membership.
cannot wait to go
Thanks for
there.
the love, homie.
so
Nice
we're
to
just
see you nice
having
and
all the
early.
sort of setup and prepared
We're being
already
stuck
for
in
you.
out
You've
here,
already
boy,
kind
on our day
of
off.
done out your
But
deployments.
it's actually actually a great day for them to actually release this, just because they're actually out of work. So I'm grateful. I'm grateful to you, Bad Dog. So if you got a membership chat from Bad Dog,
so, you know,
put a
and also the
W
new layouts. We'll see the actual footprints for the terrain.
Thank you.
It's going to be fun.
And he was
Indeed.
asking about the
Of course, we're
footprints.
joining
was
here
Bad
from
Dog.
Arlington, but where are you viewing us from?
where we're
Sound
gonna
off
actually
in
gonna
chat
get
from
them.
where you're going to be enjoying, settled in. What are you going to be doing with your day? In addition, if you're painting something along with our coverage.
Some folks are already telling us they're working on stuff while they're getting ready for this also.
Yeah.
In
So
anticipation.
Bad Dog
I think
himself
we've
is looking
showcased
for the
obviously
next
a lot of
train
the
as
new rules
well
for the
for
new
the where to
edition
get
of
the
Warhammer
layouts.
40,000 in video series.
And Omnissiah speaks.
Yes,
What's up, y'all? I was hoping
and
that
over
Orks
on the
ballistic
Warhammer
scale would be
community
4
website.
plus
So
11th
some people have
edition,
already seen over
and I
making
can
us
wait
go, oh,
for
that
red
sounds really
ones to go
popular, we want a
fast as
certain unit in my
response
army
to
or a
this.
certain, sub-faction or something like that. So
That's
I
what
know
I'm
a lot of
talking
people are
about.
already feverishly hobbying away at
I
the
don't
pace of this build,
think
and you're adding
they're going
more
to be
into it.
4 plus.
Could not
I
be
think
a
that is
better
gonna keep it
time
at
to
5.
start a new hobby
On the
challenge,
codex?
get a new force or an army or a faction you've always wanted to
4
collect, or a
plus
new
ballistic
dynamic
scale
and
for Orcs
expanding
would be
existing
pretty
one.
crazy.
And of course,
I think
there's
that'd
so
be
many
too crazy for
We've been absolutely
GW's taste.
spoiled in the last kind of 3 to
I
6
think if
months.
we were
with
wearing
spending
power
so
armor, would
many
that be
armies,
cool?
but
Probably.
don't expect that to change. Just sit down and
But
just
I don't
wait.
think they will. Now, if
Maybe they want to sell a lot of Orc models.
No,
just
if
casual,
Red-
casual lives like that.
now if Red
Yeah.
One's
Got about
response
5,000 points
to
of
this
Warhammer
will
for
probably
the
say
Stagger's
that'd be
Well,
insane
also-
too. I
also
think he'd
on
agree with
Armageddon.
me. That'd be
Of course,
awesome, but
yeah,
he
you got there
doesn't.
first.
I don't think he thinks.
Well,
that.
He won the race.
Red Ones, even though he doesn't play
What's up next? Are we
competitively
sending
anymore,
our boy
he
off
has
into
to
battle?
understand
I can't
that,
wait to get
like,
over there. Like as I
what
mentioned
GW
before, but I
will
think
allow
this is
it
gonna. In my mind,
an
it's
old
like
generation,
representing
the
the
old
the
game
absolute
systems where
forefront
he's
of
like,
Armageddon,
nope,
where it
we weren't allowed to be
finally
OP
kicks
back then either,
off,
right?
very
He's like,
easier to defend against.
he was like,
you
it
know,
was
from
even
drop
harder to
units.
play back then.
In addition to where
It's
you're
hard
from,
now.
what are you
So I
excited
don't
to
think they're
see
gonna do
or
anything to
learn
make
of
it
the new
easier for us,
edition
to
as
be honest.
well? We're
I
really
think
keen to
Australia
know
is kind of
what
one of
is
those
important
armies
to
that are a
you
bit
guys,
harder
what you're
to
excited about.
get
But now
going.
it's time to
Yeah,
send
they're
off our
around
valiant
9th
Blood
edition.
Angels
They're
warrior
about
into
to
battle.
follow
Paul,
Orc stream.
good luck.
Wish me luck, everybody. I'm gonna
Yeah.
need it. I will see y'all on the
Yeah,
other
that's
side as I
That's
jump back
true.
into the
For a
frame.
moment, yeah,
Wonderful.
right. There are moments, and the community hates it, so I think they would not, especially after how they responded to everything else. But good question. Here we go.
Let's
There's
go.
our war boss there.
All right, Adrian's looking locked in.
So we're now taking a look at forces.
And you know that funky starting box. I got him. The Dr. Rig's gonna pick up all of the ninjas. Gonna pay off. Yeah.
Hundreds of different chapters available. So we've got 2 of them here.
More
We've also
information.
Here we go,
got
here we
the
go.
ones that feature
It's
in
more
the
DACA and
that
Dreadwolf.
you saw at the start of this live stream. These are the lists that are up. So Adam, what's your kind of first impressions of how these are going to smash into each other?
There are a lot more orcs on this table, but the deck
go.
is heavy. On
Okay,
the Blood Angel side of things, we're going to be playing a Ceramite Sentinels, which you can see is 3 detachment points
No,
in
it's-
this configuration in our Strike Force 2000 points
Battle
battle.
wagon on this?
The force
Oh yeah, he did
position
not
is
have a
also
battle
the
wagon
same
on his
for
other
the
list. They
table.
forgot it in the article.
Unpacking that in detail as we move through
Sweet.
kind of the intro
So if
portion.
you can
of
put this
setting the
together and
stage
get
here
how many
for
points
this
this
game.
is worth.
He's going to across from him, detachment wise, the Greenskins, the Orcs are playing
Wow,
more
he
DACA
added
and
the
Dread
shiny
Mob. That being
Judas,
one
which
detachment
gives
point
them
and 2
rapid
detachment
fire.
point list combined, so you're going to get a little bit more, I guess, disposition and
You're setting this
dispersed.
up, yeah.
Well, you're getting more
Better
strategy,
enhancement.
more enhancements. You're going to get more ability to do things and have overlapping
That's
buffs
awesome.
across your
Right,
army.
so it's the same
Breaking down
enhancement
things in a little
3
bit more
times. That one's
detail.
doing rapid
Starting
fire
with
to
the Paul
those
side of things with the Blood Angels, we have pretty much the entire brand new starter sets, both represented in both armies.
And
of
it's
course,
their
as we
normal
mentioned, they've been
Think
expanded
buses.
to fill the
Yeah,
full
some
2000
people have a
point strike
character.
force.
Yeah,
So
they
there's
don't know
both
that we did.
ancient. We got a captain. We got the brand new Jump Pack Chaplain, who looks absolutely spectacular, and a librarian. Librarian's got one of
What do
the
you think of that
enhancements
Blood
from
Angel?
Ceramite Sentinels.
Put all 3
That being the
at one
Morse cover
detachment.
for the Spy Skull data link, and then the Lieutenant with
I
Common
wonder how
Weapon
many
is going to
points
be
it's
having
changed to.
Defensive Mastery, which is a 3-unit redeploy, Eddie, which is
Yeah.
not bad.
Yeah, so really useful. A good mix of stuff
Is
there.
it?
One of the things,
No, there's a Blood
obviously,
Angel.
very different about
There's
army
one
list
Blood Angel
construction
one.
in the new edition
Ceramite
is those detachment points, which we talked about already.
Yeah,
Ceramite
you do that.
Sentinels for the Space Marines.
Who knows?
That
There's
is a
so many
detachment
attachments now for
from
everything.
one of the,
So that means
the
these are
rogue
getting
books
rapid
in
fire on
new
the Tank
edition, so it's a
Busters,
relatively
the
recent
Mega
edition.
Knobs,
That
and the
costs 3
Commandos.
detachment points, so you
I
can't
want to
combine
know
it
what the
with
war
another
gear is
detachment,
on these
3,000
Mega
points.
Knobs.
But as an Orc player, I'm looking at those detachments at the top there, and actually the
Yes.
fact that the Dread Mob
then-
is a 2 detachment point. Dread Mob is already a really popular detachment for Orcs, so the ability to now add in effectively any of those new single
Oh, guys, I'm
detachment
getting
point
something to point out
faction,
here.
Yeah.
factions alongside that is really useful.
So if you
a
can
lot
see,
of the
This is where his gas
six-
is.
what we
This
had
is
from
where
our
the
previous edition,
Morkanata
the
is.
6
Starts the field.
stratagem-esque detachments.
of
You will
Death
usually be
Coppers in
starting,
this
you know,
top
a bit
right
higher on
corner.
the points
With
cost.
some
But
Gretchen
a lot of them that
foam.
were a little bit more sandboxed
some
in the
windows
rules they
broken
applied
up
to, like the Dread Mob,
here.
where you'd be
War track
your
right here,
walkers,
and then
your
his
rot
battle
units,
wagon
etc.
down
like that.
here.
It did
Next to the five boys.
somewhat constrain people in
I'm using
making
the red marker so you guys can
or
see.
taking as many models as they
Because I know
want,
that's little
making
text,
something
but
that's a little bit more robust.
I'm
It
reading
has
it
a
to
bit
you.
of everything. You
And
really,
we'll see it right now when it
wanting to
starts.
have really
In
targeted
this picture
choices
down
around
here,
to
you
get
can
the
see
most
Adrian already
from the
has his battle
detachment.
wagon right.
Now that's no longer the case. You can have an auxiliary force you can
This is
attach on
interesting.
the side. You
Seeing that
Dreadnought, let's say
Adrian went
you're taking
for
a more
force disposition of purge the foe,
grot
while the
bits and
Space Marine
pieces,
went
and you can
take
also
more.
attach a bunch of
Yeah,
other
that must be what's
units
given
in
to
there
you
as
as
well. It's going to be
Dread
really,
Mob.
really cool to
You
see
are
people
slow.
flesh out their
It's a Dread
forces
Mob and then
and
more
get a lot more juice for the
secondaries.
squeeze, so to
Cards
speak.
you
But
draw.
running straight back through.
Yeah,
Yep, go.
Yeah,
What I do
Space
know
Marine list, we've
is
got
that
10 intercessors, of course. That is the staple
like
of
these
many Space Marine
Gladiator
forces.
Reapers
10
and
intercessors kick out a ferocious amount of firepower
Land
and actually very good
Speeder,
at taking out those big mobs of orcs.
the
Then you've
stuff
got
that doesn't have
3
2 up
dreadnoughts
armor
in the
vehicles,
mix.
Dread
2
Mob will
ballistic
help build
dreadnought.
them
Oh,
out.
sorry, ballistic dreadnought,
Help
brutalis
with, but
dreadnought,
they don't
and
have all the
redemptor
weapons. You
dreadnought.
just have one.
Yes.
It's a great little combo.
And the
He's
more
playing a Highlanders of
you
Dreadnought, so
can't
one
do
of each of
you
them.
roll
That's going to
hits
be really impactful in this game.
and
Then moving on
big
from
shells
that,
for
the
bigger
Desolator
gets,
squad is going to
right?
be
Which
really
is one
cool
of
as
the
well.
things
I hear
that
the
would make him at
Librarian's
least
going to be attached
somewhat
to the
formidable.
Desolators in this configuration. Of course, given the
I
same
do
size
think
over
the
there.
2 AP
One of the
and
things you
these
also
Knocker
notice
rigs
when
is
you
going to
start
go
building your
far,
own
but
list of them,
we don't
bit of
see,
insight
for
into how things are
example,
going to work.
ignore
You'll actually
cover
now be
and even
listing
an
what
enhancement
character is
anymore.
joined to what unit on
By
your
being
list. We
bringing
haven't
it.
done that in this.
He
just
does
for
have the
ease
weird
of,
boy
you
with
know,
the
learning
double
for new
shot
players, you know, getting into the game and trying to experience
blunderbuss.
things as we know and
I think it'll
working
give
towards
precision, but
where we're
I
going to be pretty soon.
devastating.
3 Eradicators with the heavy bolters
So
is
instead
going to
of
be really
being
cool in
just
this game as
precision,
well.
because
Getting
he has
blast
precision
against
on
the
his
host of
weapon already,
vehicles
the
is
weird
gonna
boy
be great
does.
against the greenskins.
That.
And then we
So
have
that
the
is, that's
Gladiator
an
Lancer,
interesting change.
Gladiator
Maybe just
Reaper,
for
the
points,
Redemptor, as
you
you
want to
said,
fill out some
single
of
land
those.
speeder, 5 Terminators.
That is trying to
really
shoot
starting
him,
in reserve
giving
and
rapid
5
fire to
brand
Mega
new
Knobs.
Vanguard
If
veterans. I'm
they're,
really excited to get my hands on that unit.
I assume
Yeah, so
Mega
quite a
Knobs
lot of
already
armored
had
stuff
rapid
in this
fire on
list.
some of
So
those
basically
weapons.
taking the Armageddon box that's provided the bulk of the
Because they
infantry
have
for this
rapid
force,
fire in the
and
custom
then
shoe.
bulked
This is
out
rapid
basically
fire
with a
2.
good mix of the
And the
Space
combi
Marine
has rapid fire
kind of
1.
medium tanks
So
and
does this
dreadnoughts.
change?
This is a really
Or
solid
Yes.
all-round
Or-
Space
yeah,
Marine list.
there's gonna
I'd
be a
say
lot of
this is
questions.
probably
there's a lot
typical
of questions with this.
of a kind of Codex compliant Space Marine force. Obviously, the other way you can take the Armageddon box if you want to.
And
It's leaning
someone
very heavily
pointed
on
out something good
planes
too.
on the
Why did they start with
cyber
different
perimeter. You get
CP?
Sangre
The
Guard,
Ork
you've got
has
company.
2,
What we've
Paul
tried to
Murphy
do
has
here is show a
1.
more
Good
representative
observation.
Codex Space Marine chapter that could be used by
So we
almost
got
any.
2 for
Space
going
Marine.
first and 1.
Indeed, and of course,
Okay.
as you can expect, this isn't a no holds barred throwdown slugfest. These players have
Okay,
really
there's a lot
made
to
some
see here,
efforts to
guys.
take a
because We're
wide
looking at the
selection of
enhancements
units in
in
order
real
to
time.
showcase as many new rules as we can.
Selection's a little
So
odd,
hopefully you
right?
guys take the
I
next
like
step.
Mega
I'm gonna flip
Knobs,
these over to
or
Adrian
if you
and
can
the
make them
Orks
shoot
that are, like we
sometimes,
stated,
they're
in
devastating
Dreadnought
weapons.
and more
But that's trying to shoot
for
against
their
rapid fire,
detachments, and he's
and
playing Purge the Foe as the force disposition.
let's do something
Got the
different now.
brand new everything for the first
And
2,
then
being the
the
Donut
blunderbuss
and the
is
big
different.
boss. And we got
We also
Gazgal,
don't see
Lag-Uk
ignore
Thacker
cover
himself
from
here on
maybe Dread Mob
Armageddon,
enhancement.
Pain Boy, War Boss,
Just
and a Weird Boy
interesting
with
because I would
the
think those
Rob
would be
Shot Thunderbus. Then we have 2 units of 10 boys, 10 Gretchen, a battle wagon, the new big mech Dakar rig. Cannot wait to see this
Adrian
model in
pretty aggressive.
use. It has been one of my most favorite miniatures that they've
Overflowing.
brought out in the new
Well,
set.
his push,
2x3
his
Death Coppers,
push
one of which is
is
starting
I'm
in
almost
reserve. 10
forfeiting this
Commandos with dead shiny
part of
shooters
the
in addition to
table
the 6 Mega Knobs
because
and
what can
Pain
respond
Busters.
there other than
That
the
is going
guys,
to give
right?
them a rapid fire. That is one of the new
You guys can see
enhancements
my
and a
little
brand
marker
new
that I'm
way
using it.
to
What we're
enhance your
talking
units and
about
bring
is
them a little bit more of the
all
solid
these
parts,
units, like the
and then
land
morph
speeder,
them
which
off
is
with the
fast,
brand new War Track
can move
to tie
this
things
way.
together.
All he
Yeah,
has
so
is a
I mean,
rando.
there's loads of stuff in
And
the
then
list.
here,
It's a good
just
mix
kind
of
of
stuff
big
across
unit.
the Orc Codex.
Yeah,
I think some of the ones to watch, absolutely, as you say, the Dakar
all his
rig
other stuff's
is
back
very
here.
powerful.
I think he's
Dakar
a
rig combines
top unit
really
deep strike,
nicely
and then he has
with
this
some of
weird
the
boy playing
abilities or
solo, as we
stratagems
assumed.
from Dread Mob, particularly.
Yes.
So if you're looking at a very Dreadnought heavy army for Orcs, the Dakar rig at the heart of a bunch of
Yeah, and
killer cans and death dreads and sort of things does very well. but there's some abilities where you can have like
What here
many
is
rerolls,
really going to
basically. It's already
threaten
sustained hits
Morkanot
on some of its shooting, so you can get some pretty
is what I'm trying to
terrifying
think.
shooting output. from the
Lancer,
Dakarig.
obviously.
Indeed, and of course,
phase
giving guys
phase.
little insights into our
Um,
overlay in the top right-hand quadrant. If you watch
Other than that, I do think that right
open events,
conditions
you'll see
and
our
like
mini map, which is going to
investment,
be
right? Let's say
maintained by
you have
Servo
Gaz
Scott
and the
Tucker,
Mork
and you'll
together,
be
like
getting a lot
Adrian
of
does.
information there
It'd be
on
hard
what's
for you to
moved, what
dislodge
has
them
shown,
both, as
and
they
what has
both
been
require
impacted.
really strong
And then in
weapons.
the bottom right, we
Yeah.
have our little
Which means it
snapshot.
gives them
As you can
both a
see, the
chance
players
to
are
kind
still
of pop
going
off
through a lot
and
of the
do some of their own
computations
thing.
and mission
So like
structure, things like
the
that. So we're
Morkanot
joining it
has
as
a
soon as
good
they come
chance
underway.
of just
We're going to hit a
crushing the
transition
Dreadnought
now
if it
over to our
countercharges,
next
it
slide and
charges
start
in, and it gets
unpacking
an
even
interrupt.
more new
Here we go,
things.
right here.
And
Here's
what are we seeing here?
So this is the two force
So it's
dispositions
taking hold
combining
on
together to
Adrian's.
create the scenario that they're
The
playing
Purge.
effectively. So Purge the Foe,
Okay.
that is the Orc force. Purge the Foe is basically arguably the simplest version of the various different.
I'm not
order
writing that. That's
positions you
done.
can take. Purge the foe means you're trying to kill stuff. So if your army is very good and very aggressive, and what you
And I
like
guess we know
doing
what
is
Adrian
moving
is thinking.
forward, taking the fight to the enemy,
Taking
killing
home.
enemy units, pushing enemy units off objectives, and purge the foe is a really good.
And then he's purge. and Blood
archetype
Angel.
of army to
Right?
go
That's
for.
how we're reading
Absolutely.
Take and hold, on the other
Mhm.
hand,
Yeah.
is more
Take and
of
hold.
an objective claiming
Color
force.
matches.
It's
Purge
very
the
good.
foe.
for something like
The
defense
previous
armies,
screen
where
did make
they
it
both
seem like there was
push enemy
They also
difference.
did it on
objectives,
the
but then
on
also hold
they
onto them. So
select
literally,
in the
they're trying to
text,
take objectives,
Paul
trying to
Murphy
hold the
is
objectives. So
works
you've got a
and
force
explain.
that is
Mhm. I mean, I
kind of
think
relatively
GW would
durable,
just be bad at this kind of stuff.
doesn't necessarily need
So-
to.
Yeah, I was
fast, but
taking
is
it with
kind
a
of
grain of salt.
slow,
Once we start
constant
playing,
push,
we'll know for sure. For
across
sure.
the battlefield. That clears
Oh,
the
he's
ground,
saying
clears the
Vanguard
ground,
vets with
take and hold is a
Chappie
really
because they
good
get plus one to
disposition
wounds.
Absolutely. And of course, these two cards are going to be very important.
They do,
for playing your game,
but they're super
especially
also
early turn
soft.
where you're both going to pull this
Right,
card
that's kinda
out
what
when
I'm
you get to
saying
the
is, like,
table, and you're going to
between
consult
an
it and
interrupt
see what the matchup
and their
actually
commitment,
goes
it's going to
for. So
take.
we're going
like,
to hit straight over to
better
the
hope
missions
you're
now
doing a
and
lot of
actually see what
shooting,
the
and I don't have
results were.
interrupt for
So
it.
you want to read
Adrian's
out
gonna just
what
start arching
Adrian has to
from
do
that
this
point.
game.
Yeah, so Unstoppable Force is the primary mission
with-
for Adrian.
with
This
20
is
wounds.
the Purge the Foe one.
No,
As
always-
you can see,
it
if your
always has
opponent
involved.
is a
So
take
if
and
the
hold,
Lancer doesn't
and you have
just
Purge the
plink
Foe,
it
this is
for
the
something
mission
big,
that you will be playing.
I think it's going to
And
be a
effectively
high
there you can
pass.
see there's a
I'm
bunch
saying
of
it
different
can't
ways
die.
to
I'm saying that
score
it's going to start
victory
against
points. So
matchback.
one of those victory
Maybe
points at the
depending
end
on
of the turn
destinations
is you manage to
work
kill some
well with
enemy
you.
units. That is
Could be
Seems very
fancy.
that's exactly the sort of thing
Tinker.
you'd be wanting to do. You've got one there which
And
is the end of your
Termes.
command phase.
Termes
at the
with
end
our
of the
boys
turn.
and
Each of
there's
the
a boy
objectives you
Haunted
control,
Frank.
you also
Oh,
get
he said
some
for the Mork, he's
keys.
thinking
Don't take
Termes,
any
Lancer,
home
Bastille. Yep,
objectives.
that's
Important
really good.
because
Thanks,
basically
right
your army is about
there.
going and
Because
taking
Termes
stuff.
get
You're
plus one
not
to
so
wound.
fussed
They have the
about
Lancer out,
protecting
but
your own, although
Chappie
you
on
might
them?
still want to stop the enemy scoring points themselves.
No.
And then you've got one there for at the end of the turn.
I think
You
there's
hold more objectives than
Oh,
your
here we go with
opponent.
the mission.
So and that
Here's a
one,
mission.
excluding home objectives.
Movable
So you need to be pushing
Control
forward,
objective.
killing enemy units, taking
Each
objectives
one you
off
control.
them,
As battle.
and
Unstoppable
yeah, and then you've got to try and hold
destroying an
the
enemy.
central objective. So end of the battle.
So it's
after the
kinda-
whole game is over.
Isn't
are
this
you
going to be
basically in
good for the game?
dominant
That people
position
can
on the
just choose.
battlefield?
They
Do you
just be
hold
like, all I
that
want to do is
central
kill you.
point on the battlefield?
And
Have
then they
you
can just focus
won
everything on
the
that.
fight?
I mean, they got to
So
go cards, I
it's not
guess.
just about
It was kind of like there, right?
running forward.
Yeah.
There's early kills. You also want to be. That's the purge bit, right?
There were
Have
some
you
moments like that.
removed the
though.
enemy
Yeah,
on
that's
yeah,
what
the
I
yeah.
was
middle
seeing.
of the battlefield.
It
And
seems
that-
quite
that's
powerful for the
effective
Orks,
in
especially.
the
Of course, you always want to
But
try to do your best to
I
marry
think
up
I
how
do
you
like
enjoy
though, the
playing the
Orc
game
to pick
with your
though. I'm
faction
just playing
and
this
with the
way.
mission.
Every
that you
time you
enjoy as
fail
well.
to
I
do
feel like
this,
it's very
I'm still
indicative
gaining a
of
lot.
how
I think I
Orks
like
to
it.
play a lot
Every
of
the
the
more I
time.
look at it,
Just
every time.
killing your opponent, just killing a unit and taking an objective
Playing
off
Dread
them,
Mob
and
to
in
show off
doing so
the
will
rig.
get you 6
Yeah, because here's the
points
thing, guys.
in this. And
Dread
one thing you'll
Mob,
notice about the new mission
you get
structure, there is a lot more
the
to do
Docker
every
rig to
turn,
re-roll the
which
entire
I
hit
believe make
roll
things a
for
lot more
one.
dynamic. You won't maybe not be able to
So
always do and
that's
score
awesome
every
whenever
primary
you get
point you
that
have
off.
available to you.
And it
And then
already
you have to pick
has
and choose
the
the ones
same
that are
built into
available,
it.
ones that
So
are
he could
not,
just
ones that are
force
worth
the
the
button and
squeeze,
press
ones
it.
that are worth going for. I think that's really exciting. Over on the
And
side
if
of
he
things,
doesn't,
Paul
then
will be
he rolls
attempting
for
to
it.
hold
That'll
one or more
that'll be
central objectives every turn for
he might
3
just
points from any battle round, and then from the second to the fourth battle round, it's each
someone
objective
saying I
that he
think
controls that
got
isn't
dropped
his home
or
objective for a whole 5 points, and
Dread
then
Mob
lastly,
wouldn't have
in
an
the fifth
choice.
battle round,
Dread
it's
Mob,
still
yeah, just
scoring
because
for
it
each
does, we don't
objective
have
he controls
see
that isn't
anything
your
that's
home.
like a
So he's going to have to
direct
get
up to Gaz,
outside
maybe
of his
more
deployment zone
Docker
and then
because you can
hunt
give
down
Gaz
your best
another wall.
facility. If he does so,
He's still
he'll
got
be getting
that strat
a
in
nice
there.
8 points pretty much every turn, and then the last turn he gets to get a
So
few
they still have
more.
access to
Really,
that
really
strat.
cool. So it's going to be Adrian pushing
I
forward,
reroll wounds
sweeping
from that
in,
for more
and then
Daka.
Paul trying to hold the line as much as possible.
So I'm
Very,
liking it
very
because then more
exciting
Daka,
and
reroll
should make
wounds,
for a
stand an
very thematic and
objective. I
fun
want to
time.
stand the
Going to
objective.
hit a transition over
Hang it
to
out
the
here.
next slide.
So I like that as well.
Terrain time.
When you get additional
Look
AP,
at this gorgeous
more Daka
pre-painted terrain that
shells.
should be available
Some
sometime in the
close-up shots
future.
of the
It
terrain
looks so
here.
good. A lot of this on this table is going to be giving
How much
dense. Now,
have
dense
they
is going
said
to
how
work with
much
the new
they-
hidden mechanic, which more likely than not the Orks are going to be using judiciously to try to keep themselves safe from these Space Marine guns.
Why does it seem like Adam's
And
looking at
of
us?
course, we got a lovely extra cameraman giving us some close-ups of this beautiful orc army as well.
Mhm.
And so when you're in that terrain and you haven't fired, you will be hidden. So you'll have an exclusionary zone where you can't be interacted with up to your opponent's guns at 15
So the
inches.
crowds
Now
are
negotiating that
spreading
from
out.
Paul, whilst needing to get out of his deployment zone to shoot, while keeping himself as far away from the orcs as possible, is really going to be an interesting thing for him to do. What do you think about the terrain, Eddie?
Yeah, so the terrain you're looking at on the battlefield currently is actually the stuff that comes as the unpainted version of the new terrain. So we've already announced that there's basically 2 different versions of new terrain coming out, all of it designed for the new edition specifically.
Hmm.
This is the painted, this is the version that comes as a basic plastic kit. You can assemble yourself and you can paint it up. This has been painted by the wonderful team over who do the Warhammer
I don't know how you get access
battle
to the
reports.
screen, though.
Terrain changes significantly in the new edition of Warhammer 40,000 in a whole bunch of ways. There's everything from being able to hide units, which is very useful for things like your infantry, all the way through to the changes to the debuffs into units.
Adrian's paint job's awesome.
So rather than being a bonus to save,
He's
units that are
sick, dude.
gaining
He did a great
cover
job
from
on that
terrain
right.
now generally are at -1 to
Awesome,
hit and
Adrian.
shooting, and that does change the dynamic.
Agree with-
Certain guns become
right now.
less effective shooting into units in terrain. Certain guns might become more effective. It depends on the type of gun that is firing.
Yeah, generally speaking, a lot of the AP1 weaponry in the previous edition.
This is not good. We don't know how the war track
trying
goes.
to
It's kinda big.
engineer mass
pretty good
AP
size.
05, and then you sustain
too
hits
big,
and
though.
lethal hits to try and generate your value, and then going for a massed AP2 or better guns. So I'm really excited to see
War
AP1 guns
Yeah.
start to get a lot more agency
So
back
you
into the
guys
game.
at Bolter
This
as
war
well, isn't it?
track
It's like
exactly,
a
exactly.
standard space
Base?
marine bolter, that sort of thing.
it's
A
a
lot of the
little.
kind of battle line units or like medium elite level units, that sort of thing. A lot of the anti-infantry
Easier
weapons
we get
become
only
quite
them.
effective. The other thing you'll notice about some of the deployments is that in the current edition of Warhammer 40,000, what players are tending to do is to clump their units behind walls in pieces of terrain.
Yep.
And that's arguably less important now early in the game, because as long as the enemy
Moving
doesn't
already?
move within 15 inches of you,
Okay,
if
okay, I'm
you
making
haven't
sure. I'm
fired
like,
yet,
didn't you
you
have
cannot
them
be
over
shot down.
here?
So for example, you can see the grot unit
Were they
up
over
in the
here?
top right hand corner of the
Yep.
battlefield. That wouldn't work as a deployment.
Oh,
in
real
the
time,
current
you can
edition
see
of
from
Warhammer
up here.
40,000 because they could be targeted. But in the new edition of
Yeah,
Warhammer
what's happening?
40,000, they can't be targeted unless the enemy pushes very forward, and they're unlikely to do that.
Rolling
Correct.
Kill one
to kill
Gretchen unit,
Gretchens.
right.
Yeah, you're going to project, a
six
sprint out of
percent.
your deployment zone to kill a unit of Gretchen on the backfield? Arguably
That's
and
too long, man.
definitely not. All right, so we've had
He's shooting.
turn one
One of the
underway. The
indirect guys is
prediction
shooting
should
at
be
Adrian.
up for you guys over on Twitch. Go and cast your vote. Who's going to win this battle? We had turn one taken by the Orks, and they just did a very simple moving outside and staging
That's all the movement
in
Adrian
these
did.
and off these
Yeah,
terrain
like
pieces.
opposite.
We've switched already over to the bottom of turn one,
Okay.
and
Very fast
you
orc
can call this
yes,
out
they are.
because there's
Adrian had an
little,
extremely fast orc turn.
images
And we've
that
just
the
seen
top are able to
activation from
show,
the
but it's hard
Desolators
to see.
targeting this unit of commandos in the
I'll
middle.
point it out
A couple
to
of
you
them have
with
been
the
removed
red
so far.
circles, and I can point stuff
Yeah,
out.
so
Who are they?
the terrain in the battlefield, it's worth saying, when you generate your mission, it also
I just
generates
saved my
you the
one.
terrain map.
Correct.
So if you have a think about the objectives that those players were
Yeah,
trying
that's
to achieve,
right now.
you've got
No, here
quite
comes
a lot of the end
Yes,
game
Peter
stuff
shooting
built
these
around
guys
that
as well.
central piece of scenery in the middle. The new edition of Warhammer 40,000 doesn't
Double ones.
use circular objective markers. What it does instead is say that certain pieces of terrain
I
are
don't
the
see it.
objectives.
No. Is this
So
the
that
old
large
here? It looks like
central
this.
building in the middle of the battlefield is one of the objectives and is the central objective. So that
Not
earns
declaring,
victory
but they're
points for
pointing at
both of those
controlling it.
players
It's
if they hold it at the end of the game.
follow for you.
So you can see the
Explosive
story, the
images.
narrative of
Yeah.
the battle
Look like
is,
he failed
is
his role.
gearing you towards basically a fight for the center. So
Indeed.
your early movement, you might see the armies kind
Really?
of
You
pushing
got
around the
Blue
side,
Dread out
trying
here,
to
bro?
set
You
up
still
their
gotta get
play,
a Smurf out there
but
somehow?
there is a huge amount of points on
If
offer
you didn't have
for the army
got
that
a
is
couple
able
of red
to
ones?
finish the game on that objective. It's not the only way you can
He
win.
said, "Oh
certainly
wait,
it
it's
costs
already
you
the end
20
of
points
turn one.
until
Yeah,
the
but
end of
they're
the
going
game.
fast."
That can't be the only play,
He
but
went.
there's a
Adrian
big,
just straight
there's a
up
big
moved over
chunk
to
of points
Y.
in the
Is
center.
an agent
Absolutely is for both players as well. Right now, we're seeing
Orcs
activation
is
of the
table
brand new
made around. It
land
looks
speed
like
at the
it's
top of
hard
the
to
screen
say
right now,
because
investing
there's no
fire
in
into
them.
the Death Copters. The multi-melters due to cover
Kansas
both hit
Man Unit, the boys.
we're hitting on fours, even with Oath of Moment. Paul was unable to get any hits, and now the Onslaught Gatling Cannon is activating now. Looks like he's only put one wound, unfortunately, on the Death Copters. It'll be a safe to come.
So he
right
used
now.
his land speeder.
Yeah,
to
so
shoot
it's
the
worth talking
top,
about
doesn't
the
even
way
know.
that cover is granted to
one.
non-infantry
Yes.
units. That's one of the things one of the questions we've had quite a lot actually is infantry
Adrian
and
was
things like
conservative,
swarms,
got him to move
it's
out a little
quite
bit.
easy to get
Expose
cover saves
himself, and you have
because
options.
as long as you're on a piece of scenery,
You're absolutely right. I misspoke.
Face.
as long as you're on a piece of scenery, you can gain it.
Move the
But
thread
things
up
like
a little bit.
vehicles and monsters, it is still possible to get cover saves. And
This
actually,
space from
if you
here to
position
there, how
correctly
far is
across the battlefield, you can
behind that
gain them.
into
And
the
effectively, what you're trying to do is put a piece of scenery between you and the thing that's
And
firing.
do you
at
have to stand in
something
here and just
like
train
your,
until one?
Death
It's
Cops,
an
I think
objective,
they're
right?
mounted,
Because that's the thing, guys,
rather
that
than
we're
infantry,
different
they
to
can
see
gain
is
it, like
we're used to seeing big
Yes,
objectives.
the land speed has finished firing right now. It's rolling its reactive move after it fires on its data sheet ability. It will move, and we're about to see Paul Murphy.
Okay, now that the
right
land
now.
speeder
So
shot,
after
it's able to do-
firing, you will get a little move
There
off
you
your
go.
land speeders. I think it's a very powerful ability.
Roll the
It's one that
D6,
I'm really
and roll
excited to
for it.
see in action. There we go, off to the races.
I think he's using it to block, isn't he? That he's
Commander
taking the
Sessions
shot and
forward
then
a little
kind of moved it up
Yes.
to kind of get in the way.
He's using it as a movable shield. That's one of his ballistas to be shot down next turn.
Ultimately,
I think is the key there. And that is the end
It
of
was.
the turn for Paul Murphy. So very stable turn one, very cautious by both players. Of course, they are relatively new to the game, as is everybody in the world. So do not be surprised if
there
they
will be plenty of bloody combat
Yes.
very soon. Don't you worry.
Yeah.
There's a lot of firepower on the spectrum side. You've got the Redemptor there. You've got two of the gladiators. There's a lot of guns waiting for the Orks.
You don't want to use.
I do know he used his redeploy ability to put the Gladiator Reaper back into reserve, and now he's holding it like a sword of Damocles over Adrian's head. I like that a lot.
If it was half this chat, dude, they would have just full stand right here. Half the chat would have been like,
I think this is a good
you fit all right here though.
In saying that, there's a lot of long range firepower. Also on the Orc side of things, we got the Morkanaut, we got the new Dakar rig as well. Cannot wait to see what they're able to do. War track.
Moved a little, but
so many exciting new models to explore, guys. We'll see the points updated just on our overlay, like I was saying before. Top right of screen, you see the mini map, so you can see a true delineation of.
Reminiscent of those old school white blood cell reports.
It's almost like we did it on purpose. But you can also see here, which is the turn and phase tracker. So right now we're into the command phase, there, and you will be excited to know the phase structure and your turn structure has not changed going into the edition. It'll still be the same tempo cadence you know and love.
Watching it.
Yeah, so the kind of core of the game, if you played the current edition of Warhammer 40,000,
so why does GW suck at streaming? Did not. They make me feel better.
A lot of
all the
your
times I
dates for your army
it's just a struggle out here.
Very similar to the ones they are currently. Most of them are the same. There's a couple of tweaks with FAQs and stuff. The big change is the army list.
Because Marines always need to follow the Codex of
the detachment points, which will be able to kind of change the kind of sub-factions.
Here goes Adrian.
That your army is able to unlock. But there are lots of subtle things in the game that have changed. I think one of the things that I think we might see in this is that the movement phase, the shooting phase,
they're not even announcing what the secondaries are because I'm like trying to hear them.
Overwatch change is a big one in terms of the movement phase. That now happens at the end of the movement phase.
It would be such a perpetual thing where I'd move a unit and then ask my opponent, would you like to Overwatch? Move another one, would you like to Overwatch? So much time. Now we're just doing it right at the end of the phase. I think it's much better.
And then the other one I'm sure we'll see in this battle, because there are multiple units with characters attached, is the fast rolling dice mechanic as well. So I think hopefully we'll get a chance to see that. But effectively,
War track looks a lot
in the current edition of Warhammer 40,000, sometimes it is in your best interest to slow down and roll saves.
He really does.
Pains and things individually. That isn't the case in the new edition.
I really hope they find a way, because they choose this model and I like new models.
You hand them over to your opponent. They choose the order that they're going to be assigned to the models in that unit, and then they roll their saves.
And this weird boy, look how massive he is, dude.
Mechanism.
He better get an updated data sheet in that codex.
Kind of rolls
and like I was just playing it.
This is a really cool change in my mind, because for the longest time it was a little bit to the defensive players. They had a mixed unit. They could really pick and choose how they wanted to engineer it a certain way. There is still some power in that, because you can still check. Like if you have a mixed unit, you can choose the order upon which you take the saves. For example, a unit of a cursed cultist that has torments, you can choose to take torments first, but then all the saves get torments. You can't switch back and forth. And so, and while you get to start and do it all from there, think of units like Gazkul and Makari in the say unit of 20 boys, or in this example, the Meganobs. If you have 20 boys and you don't have any real save apart from a t-shirt on the boys, you get to roll all your saves at once, take all the ones and twos out for all the boys being harmed. Let's say you got 6 boys left, you make 12 saves. All the ones and twos, you get to choose the lowest rolls to take out the boys, and then Makari's invuln just bang, 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 blocks out the rest of the end. So there's plenty to enjoy there.
Every turn, or you can kind of walk here.
That's going to speed up the engagement a lot.
What you tend to find more, certainly when you've got a very big difference between how durable the character is and how durable the unit is you do tend to find more instances where a lone character is left alive, particularly if they had an invulnerable save or they had a better save. But the mechanism of rolling is very quick. The example that the rulebook uses, calls out an example, is Celestine, 2 Gemini in a unit of Battle Sisters, which is like a weird mixed unit.
It is.
But the rules kind of walk you through exactly how that works. So hopefully the ambiguity of that goes away. It plays very smoothly in practice.
Oh yeah, right down here. That's a bomb.
We're going to get a full score breakdown for you guys. Get a look in at this secondary. It's going to be joined by Adrian. Of course, he has an unstoppable force as his disposition. He's currently sitting on 18 victory points, getting 3 on turn 1 for primary. He did get secure no man's land, which he achieved for 5. Outflank, unfortunately, was a little not the right timing for it. So he's actually just held it. And one of the awesome things
even more wise.
We've got achieved, held, and discarded. It will be the three things. And
you can hold your secondary
status being a new thing we've added to our overlay,
which is a good way to make this game actually last 5 rounds.
Into the new
you can hold those.
So one of the things that you will notice is that the idea of the secondaries is fairly similar, right? So you see a lot of recurring things that you've seen before. There are some secondaries that like this is basically the same thing I was trying to achieve in the last edition. One of the big changes is that sometimes when you drew your secondaries, certainly early in the game, you got when you're like, oh, that I can definitely do that later.
Exactly right.
But I can't do it now. This isn't the moment for it. But then you lose the opportunity to score a nice, big, juicy kind of 5 or 6 points. Or something.
Yeah, one of the exciting things about the game now
is definitely
you
get
can hold
points
all the
for
cards
holding
you want. You can score 15 of any primary or secondary in the same turn. So you can hold all the cards and really rack up a couple of extremely explosive turns, but you can't have it all. And of course, we don't want people, holding 5, 6, 7 cards and going bang, 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 35 points. See you later. But holding up to 15 means you're going to want to tempo out when you decide to score your cards.
I was gone for a little bit. What did I miss? Not much. Yeah, battle table.
So it's going to be a really cool timing tempo game.
Adrian's carrying the lead here.
Missions of the new edition. Secondary is
drawn
by Adrian on his turn 2.
Which is awesome. Now he just says, "I can stand here and win."
Why when you saw him placing dice in the top left-hand
his
quadrant, he was looking to see if he could use
Adrian doesn't have to run out
ability from his war
continue to
weird
say,
boys.
I'm going to hold these objectives
to use the jump and get into the backfield behind every line score. And of course, display of might units. He has
those Storm Boys.
Be able to get that.
That
we able to bring up display of might on the overlay for people at home because it has changed a little bit.
They're going to be hard,
and it does warrant some explanation. What are we reading already?
Yeah, so this is display of might. This is an example of a secondary card. So in any battle round for 2 VP, if there are more friendly units than enemy units,
then here
we'll
the war track score again,
within
that doesn't just fall over
2 points.
Shot at,
and then in any battle round at the end of your opponent's turn, if there are more friendly units than enemy units,
the battle wagon board, maybe let's see.
Within no man's land, you get 5 points. So you've got 2 different ways to score this.
I love this. This is a confidence secondary now. So you can just walk out, and have more in no man's land and take the 2 points, bank the points, or you can hold it and bet that your opponent can't put more in their turn. And at the end of their turn, catch
up. Because he's only forgetting.
It's a really cool change. It's going to make a lot more exciting interactions.
You can also use it
exactly
like I could move my units.
Remember how we always talking about
they're all out there now. If you want to come and stop me,
you're playing Orks. You haven't used the WAAAGH. You step up to get display of might, and you wave like 3 more points under their nose and be like, "Well, you got to come and do something about this. You want to step up to me?" I love that kind of stuff being built into our secondary deck.
And it's good as well because I think any chance where you have the opportunity for players to score more points if they can play better, you've got a kind of expression of skill there that the players can show off. You've got kind of a bit of a mental bricks
going on. Like, how does this work?
The jump has occurred, guys. Here comes the weird boy jumping into the backfield behind enemy lines.
I'm not saying he
great secondary. Of course, we're playing a hammer and anvil. We're playing on the short edges, so very deep deployment zones. But look at this wall of ceramides from the ceramide sentinels blocking the frontage there. So very hard to break through the front. So he's just going to do.
Here we go, and he brought it more down just for another wave of
it. The Death Copter is an interesting. So he's
wondering if plan earlier in the game. No, he wasn't conceding
the territory on the mini map as well. Momentarily,
speed bumps, fly over, get
these
in the
Death
way.
Copters dived in, touching the terrain now, and unlike previously, where you'd have to have your whole base in the terrain feature in order to shoot, they just need to be touching the terrain outline. They just need to be touching this outline. People would say this is similar to what we had in the previous edition. Towering, where they could just then the colloquial term was to tow into the terrain because in order to unlock the fields of fire. Now pretty much everything works like that. And that's going to be a dramatic change for people at home. Things like these Redemptor Dreadnoughts with their big bases that, they don't move slow, but they don't exactly move swiftly.
Strength 10 rockets.
They get the whole back of their base on a
That's what I want to see, guys. Hey, together, guys, pay attention.
Now they just need to.
Are the rockets still twin?
It also means they can be further back from the back, right?
Exactly.
So if you've got something like, I think, Astra Militarum, right? So Imperial Guard, we're a little bit worried about some of the combat rules. And like, will my tanks have a place? How will they work? Well, actually, you can sit quite deep and just kind of roll slightly into basically the entire front.
I can't even tell
because true line of sight opens up. So if your opponent is committed to the units, they've started to
rumors are all vehicles
still have those tanks quite far back into your army, and But
They
my
play on
approach,
tabletop
previously,
and
you'd
this
have had to
game.
roll
I mean,
all
they're
the
gonna
way
be in it
through the
next
terrain
time.
piece to get close. So you can almost gain another.
Here's the
like,
thing:
4 or
now
5
be at
inches
least
of
it's trying, so I
movement.
get
Here's
better.
another amazing thing to point out. Rapid Ingress is still in the game. Paul Murphy has
Awesome,
just rapid
the
ingress
Tony
his
break.
Terminators onto the battlefield, as you can see in the middle of the screen right there. Rapid Ingress is mostly unchanged. What is different now is the size of the objectives. And what Paul Murphy has just done is stolen the middle objective of Adrian. Because usually if you were on an objective, the objective was of a certain size. There was no way for the opponent to rapid ingress or deep strike onto that objective. If you were touching it, you would just exclude them, even if they were a 6-inch deep strike. If you're 1 inch into the control zone, they couldn't arrive on it. Now we have terrain features that are this big. And Paul was very much able to rapid ingress into the other corner and has now put enough objective control in order to swing that objective in his favor. That's something for new players to keep in mind very heavily.
Yeah. So I think that
so he's able to still hold this objective. So we're seeing that even this little rim
in the
perimeter
the
counts as standing on the objective.
You can sort of have a look.
So you can
sort
stand
of see it
behind
there
this
on the
wall,
base
which
that it's actually
answers the
2
question when people are like, "Well, I got to stand in here and get
together.
shot."
A couple of the scenarios, but not all of the scenarios
easy
use
for them
this
to
piece.
counter toes.
And that
All right,
one particularly
appreciate
is
that.
very hard to defend
Yes.
completely, which is why it's great for this particular scenario, because it encourages that massive melee brawl in the center of the battlefield. So if you are trying to
I do like how
push
that looks
opponents
because
out of
it
rapid
does allow you to
space
come
or
in
out of
here
deep strike
and
space,
get into a fight, but
you
not just
do have to kind of keep that in mind. You have to kind of push all the way into the middle of the battlefield,
and then that leads so all these other guys can
in order
respond
to
to you
make that safe, which obviously exposes your own unit to.
The question is, what's going to respond? That's
what we were saying before. It's going to be a scrap.
Yeah. Last piece of the puzzle is that now you deep strike and rapid ingress 10 outside 8 inches, not outside 9 inches.
If not, then you let them walk forward.
And in fact, the screen game that we know and love from previous editions is going to be dramatically changed. Usually, you would measure 18 inches between 2 units.
Also,
there was no landing zone between. That's shortened by an inch on both ends, so it's going to be 16 inches between if you want to have a no exclusion zone.
All that he was getting collapsed.
That's going to be really tightening things up for players. And then add to that the coherency change, where every model in a unit must be inside 9 inches of each other. The footprints and the tendrils where
so where previously you could have like a massive unit of cultists that could almost screen out the entire backfield of your
20
screen, something like that. You can't do that anymore. You're limited. It's quite a big space still. You've got like 8 inches on either side of the 9 and another 8, but it's not the entire deployment zone screened by one unit.
It's also changed.
So Paul has activated Overwatch here now at the end of the movement phase, of course. Overwatch and rapid ingress. And he's overwatching into this wounded unit of copters. That little token there denoting a blood chalice is denoting the
being shot at right now.
Yeah, so a lot of things to think about. A lot of things probably still the same as well. Do we know which unit is overwatching into it?
It's the intercessors, the big blob of 10 intercessors. And unfortunately, Paul's guys are going stone cold on him. And he's not managing to get much done just yet.
No, so
nice little picture up here.
Overwatch is snap shooting. Is that referred to now? So
these
Overwatch
are shooting
has
here.
always been hits on 6s. Obviously, if you've got things like torrent weapons that automatically hit, they're very good at Overwatch. There are a bunch of things that trigger things called snap shooting. Snap shooting has very similar rules to Overwatch used to. You hit on 6s. There's a couple of more limitations.
So he got
well,
free
but it also applies to a couple of other instances.
The reason I pointed that out is because previously, in the edition we're just leaving, overwatching an Oath of Moment unit is a very good idea because you would get the rerolls.
We'll make sure
you no longer get the rerolls on snap shoot. You get no rerolls when you snap shoot.
3 months.
So I've got to tell you, home in my generalship and my experience, if you're building and you really want a great Overwatch in your army, it's going to be a torrent unit.
It's an exciting.
There are some other exceptions, units that have a lot of shots and sustained hits. Lethal hits, but there are no rerolls to be had when you snap shoot. So when you Overwatch into something that's Oath of Moment, usually you'd be hitting on 6s and then rerolling the whole bucket of intercessor shots in this case. And now you don't get the rerolls. It's interesting.
Yeah, so
it's going to really change.
So some armies, that's a big thing. For some armies that were able to unlock the anyway, it's not going to make as much difference. But it certainly means that those torrent weapons become relatively more useful compared to those rerolling units.
100%. A couple of hits, couple of wounds. Now, of course, cover reduced the firing efficiency of the Orks right now. 1 save by Paul Murphy, 3 damage each, 6 taken. That was 3 taken on that land speeder. So the Def Copters. Second unit Copters are now activating into the land speeder.
Shooting
3D3 shots.
Let's pay attention if we get rerolls.
So he's positioned that land speeder so that it has things in the way, basically, so he's gaining cover. It's tricky for Orks to hit, certainly when they're firing to things that have cover. -1 to hit when you hit it on 5s already is quite painful. That said, though, if those Orks can catch things in the open, they do make.
They didn't need to return like
unfortunately, the land speeder has gone down to the second unit of Cofters. We will wait to see if it deadly demises. Looks like it doesn't have
Took it down. All right, dude. Orc shooting. See, people were doubting Orc shooting. I kept telling you guys, nah, man.
Paul obviously briefed before the game to not lose any of the new models early on. He clearly wasn't paying attention.
And now we're gonna have more guns, and they don't get covered. So now our guns are more.
Look forward to seeing that land speeder flying around. Let's take our word for it. But it's,
we all know the new model curse. We're all very familiar with the new model curse, and even the mighty Paul Murphy is not immune. But let's pull up the data sheet. Actually, let's have a little bit of a deep dive there, so you could see that is heroic intervention, which will be coming up for you guys later.
Okay, can you hear us now?
Although with the armies that we have here,
you can't really hear us in GW
at some point and pushing for charges. But the land speeder data sheet, give us a
land speeders.
Yeah, so this is the land speeder. This is a very useful little fast.
Wait, we destroyed the land speeder in shooting? Yes. Yeah, it was saving on 5s. That's what I'm talking about, dude. And our rockets are strength 10. Even if they're strength 9, they would work on that.
Heavy flaming.
Very excited to see in our case. There's some more shooting going on here. We're not seeing.
It is a really useful little problem-solving fast moving thing. It's always useful.
Right now, that
fast vehicles that can grab objectives, can move around, and at that point, things. It has a really useful little ability where
yeah, because you're like, oh, I could just tank this whole thing.
Shooting phase, you can then
and instead now he's
D6 inches, so you can pull it out of trouble.
Not worth doing any strats when he's taking on 5. Only 3 rockets have to go through exactly. Which is nice for the Orks. We have some good strength. 2 damage shooting also with low 8. So now he's shooting with the war track into the Terminators that drop down.
So the battle we've got here, Paul had the 1 land speeder from the Armageddon.
Looks like he's shooting.
I can absolutely foresee people taking 3 of these in a force.
They have this land speeder data card on. If you can still hear us good, let us know. If we had those guys up too high, sorry about that.
To take out serious threats. They are like the sort of size of unit that is not big enough to warrant sending a really chunky unit after, but it's durable enough.
He's using the new golf dice, yes.
Like a small infantry unit or something. So you need.
Oh, so he shot the lieutenant.
Of multiple units.
Exactly. Lieutenant's close enough, and lieutenant barely survived.
Both had to fire into.
So he used the war track, shot into this lieutenant, did some damage because he's 1 dice. What the heck? Are you right next to me?
Left the combat lieutenant, I believe, on 2 wounds remaining after all said and told. So he's I think we're seeing another stable turn by Adrian. I think he's content with his position now. He has been playing outflank that he held in the previous turn, and he's playing to get it this turn. As you can see, the war track and the death copters within 6 of the table edges. I wonder if we can pull up the outflank second.
Overall, solid position for Adrian. Right? If he push into any of his good stuff, it's going to require some real action. Like, is this strategy going to respond to this war track?
Adrian, I'm not sure he has any charges. And the rapid, he was just saying, rapid ingress of Paul Murphy with the Terminators might have messed up his.
And if he does,
here's the outflank secondary before we talk about that. So outflank is one of the new secondary missions. Any battle round
or more battlefield edges without your territory
are within 6 of 1 or more.
Yes, and no, this is his opponent.
So basically,
opponent had this already. I think it's red for
one of the flanks. This is relatively easy to score 3 victory points.
Right,
so knowing this is in the deck, you might to make sure that at least some of my units are somewhere near.
I was just going to say that
most of the time, early game, that will be true anyway. This is a really easy one to score for things like death cop, things like secretaries, that sort of stuff.
Only good thing is here is all the stuff that came forward are all his expendable units that don't also just fall over. So if he undercommits, they're still going to be there. If he overcommits, it gives something great for the Orc to respond with a wall, which leads Adrian going into turn 3 with a wall in the back end, and still some leftover units to score for him, like leftover Mando that he doesn't want to committing with.
I'm going to make sure that in my army list, I've got at least 2 units that I can.
Now he doesn't have that. That would have been really easy to get out.
Too much.
Now he's got to commit something a little bit more.
Dude, Orc shooting, baby. You guys thought Orc shooting was gone.
Bikes would be great. Jump troops would be great. Those sorts of things.
I'm saying, yeah, and that's one thing you pulled out.
And then someone wants to know and love enabling.
Now that Orc shooting has no people don't have cover, Orc you're gonna Orc shooting
behind lines. Your Vespid, your Space Marine scouts, things like
that. He knows that Chinese are his big thing.
So outflank has been scored.
We're going to help him greatly.
Score breakdown as well as soon as that gets updated.
Yeah, I mean, as close as Germans are, they're in a way.
Yes, there we go. So Honeybee Lions was scored, and then 5.
Oh, Adrian had pulled.
Really well done there. He's going to be holding
the weird boy. He's solo weird boy.
The 2 points. He's actually
that's going to be his appeal now. He's just and goes by himself.
I'm exactly what you were saying before, right? Which is that he's got the war ready. You've got the big unit Terminator in the middle. I am foreseeing potentially.
Well, hopefully he's dirt cheap then.
Combat showdown in the middle of the battle.
Adrian's pulling right now, boys. Look at that score.
There's a lot.
He's just taking and holding, standing there. He's just scoring a secondary, just standing there, like we always say. What do Orks want to do? I don't know. Sometimes just want to stand there because they know they're not going to win a straight pure attrition fighting. They're like, come get it, and then we'll hit you hard enough to keep standing there. And that's what's going to happen.
Well, I guess
now the Blood Angel person almost has to come forward, because if you let Adrian go fully unchallenged into a WAAAGH
he's now
that's
also
almost
drawn
like
a
game
defense
winning
stronghold and secure mermaids, so he has a lot of reasons now to get out on the table. But that's in addition to trying to get 3 of those 4 cards. He will turn off the display of Might of Adrian, but he will be walking.
I mean, well, he's going to hold all 4 of his all secondaries. What do you get up to 5, I think?
Unit of boys and the weird boy has dropped.
He actually left the weird boy.
The only change we can confirm on rockets is that they're strength 10.
He was tossing it up in
the volume is not consistent from what we've seen. Even if it's worded, rocket
into the back line,
1
was able to get more points
doesn't matter
flank and behind enemy lines with a single model, and it was really well done.
There's a great use. So I mean,
he just hold our track. Yeah, he's going with the track. I knew it.
Other units. Yep. There are leader units. The weird boy is an example of a leader unit. Leaders, you
have to bring the termies into track. Because like David said, there's a response unit, and he can't go with the Dread into that track. That's a horrible exchange for him.
In the 14000 app, in terms of which units they are able
to
join.
It's not that vehicles are always super easy to kill, but if you get to choose how you engage with them, then they're easy to kill. And in this case, Adrian would have laid bait for them. Then he gets to choose what responds to them. Now it's like, well, some has to respond to the termies, and then whatever responds to the termies, the Dread can respond to that, and then so on. Right? So it's another layer.
How many of those?
Oh, Lieutenant almost died too. That's too much. He's gonna explode, but just to shoot.
Yeah, another awesome change. Paul Murphy.
If he does run up there,
vengeance in the red first, he's like, well, you killed
be doubling down on you.
But
he gave up. He's like, no.
So I'm gonna oath your war track and line up a dreadnought and a whole unit of Terminators.
Obviously not the red first.
I don't think you want to risk.
Vicarious.
Yeah.
How many
points is it though? The war track, dude. I'm saying, I want to know how many points that thing is. We got a good one here. Orks come double me.
The back of the battlefield.
So far, we do have the ones who rush. We kill them out, but we don't see.
That's not fair.
He's not playing fair.
We're winning on Purge. Yeah. What is the other secondary?
A bit of thematic element.
A whole brutal dude. He looks way bigger. He looks more intimidating. He really is, huh?
Great show
for the whole brutal.
But yeah, the librarian unattached as well. I think they maybe made an agreement.
Earlier,
I want to touch my weird boy.
Player was saying he would commit.
I think having a wizard duel sounds cool, but then bringing a dreadnought.
Look how far he is.
It's also very funny.
That's what we're talking about.
And a Lancer. I mean, I think that Weird Boys days might be numbered. The Lancer might have other things to worry about. I think
you would need. I think that you need Brutalis for gas for the Mega Knives or something.
That Weird Boy scored like 7 points.
Totally
fine. Totally fine exchange. I'd be happy with that. We're gonna hit the top down now.
The Weird Boy is not known for their sensible life choices.
No, wouldn't be there if they had any.
Nad's going for Adrian.
Maybe Gaskell has it.
Now, what's he in user response? He's Death Cop says 80 points.
I'm very getting another wave. Blood Angels and Ultramarines are going to score very well on this turn. They've managed to kind of position themselves to take out some of the Orc units, but the bulk of the Orc force hasn't really here for there is an awful lot of stuff waiting in that battle wagon. You've got that Gorkanor. You've got there's a lot of all
Weird Boy.
Now it's trying to get the max amount of output out of these Terminators. He's going to be using the Terminators he stated to shoot back into the Commandos. If he's able to clear them, then charge.
He's going to try to shoot. What they're saying is he's going to shoot the Commandos away. Which, depending on what war gear they have, they'll have -1 ahead. Is that really going to count for them? The only strength 4 bolters that doesn't really always pick them up. But the Gatling, the special weapon,
the difference between that unit and the
sometimes have the Gatling.
Relatively low.
That could offset it, but with Adrian looking like, I'm gonna get this. Huh? No, this is what we want, right? We want you respond with something that is more expensive than mine and soft. So that's our.
But they are going to have to.
So this is going good for Adrian again on what's committing to what coming up. And on point, if he's getting the engagement he wants, where it's like, okay, bring your soft stuff forward, but I can just raise
well in their jump packs.
Or greatly hurt.
I'd love to see him do.
I wonder which of the Commandos that have that Chinese shooters. Are they the ones in the back over here? And then they're going to run forward with rocket launchers. Like they're special weapons, right? So they're going to run forward with their weapons and be like,
think about what your opponent's going to do to you next turn.
Special weapons. Big bomb at those
in order to kind of counter attack into that.
Intercessor stepping up as well.
Yeah.
And right now, Paul is actually stating, I actually have a problem here because I don't want to have to stay. I didn't want to all stay within 9 inches of each other. I wanted to spread out more, and now we can't. So that's actually really cool. That's already coming up in this game.
So he's saying he wants to spread out more, but he's not able to.
Rather than
so here comes the heavy bolter eradicators, intercessors.
You get some benefits for having big squads of 10 because stratagems and things like that can buff into them, but actually smaller units might also be the way to go.
I'm not sure what they're measuring off for here. How far the Morkanite is from the Chinese, maybe?
He likes a unit of 10 intercessors because there's a 2 command point strat for rerolls to win.
If you're a Space Marine player, you know how this game looks right now versus Orks.
If they're fighting to the same target with rerolls to wound, all of a sudden is a terrifying
on their back.
Especially things like the Orks, where on a single turn,
or Adrian can just be like,
oh, things like Mega Knockdown, where previously the AP1 would have been completely negated by Megan cover.
It's twice as good into Mega
Knockdown. I hold it again because he's ahead by so much. He can just hold it again.
To showcase,
and then just sit at the end of the game in the middle, like full
potential. I mean, the humble bolt rifle is now a
wonder if intercessors still have.
Absolutely is,
and lots of armies have access to stuff like that. I mean, Shuriken, a lot of those have got similar sort of.
They said they can't move because max 9-inch coherency.
So there are a lot of that kind of
for the mob for big units. They have to be 9-inch in each other from each model, like of the entire unit, 10 miles from each other.
And we're gonna
which is chat saying that's why Gaz is going to be worse. Because now the big 20-man unit of boys now be able to get everybody's way, which everybody hates about Orks. Now you have to stay within 9.
They've got in there as well, so they're just throwing.
Really trying to get rid of that
stuff. We're talking for a second about Paul's army because this is a relatively new faction. It is
now you can move.
I'm not a top player, but that's one of my favorite things to do. Feel exposed and no, it's
name a better order.
This is a detachment that gives you
in the area. Where's Ricky? What's up, Ricky? In chat.
Yes. If you are on a piece of terrain,
there we go. So we
move more than 3 that turn, and as long as you weren't set up.
So right now we're getting terms are shooting into the Mandos.
440,000 is, as you can see, almost every unit on the
battlefield. I got the tabletop Titans effect for you. Pew pew. So pew, pew. And there you go. You're tabletop Titans now, boys.
It becomes very reliable because most of your fights now
let's see how it's actually
terrain feature. So any army that's
all the small arms from terrains
on a terrain feature becomes very powerful.
Yeah, Mandos are going to think it though.
And who knows? Samurai Sentinels came out late in edition. May have been designed to work with the new rules a little better.
I would imagine they knew what was coming.
You would imagine.
Those
3 wounds in on the commandos, 5 up saves, 3 down.
That was not good saves.
The commandos do not win a shootout against a Terminator unit. Although this commando unit does have
big for Aegis
to have more shots at rapid fire. I think that the Ork army here has selected 3 of their units.
I don't see any more shooting.
Yeah, that looks pretty far away.
Which escapes me.
You can't even see through his wall.
The boys
you can charge. Are you trying to charge him?
Yeah, all of those units have rapid fire.
Everybody hates it when one Mando survives. Desolators.
Detachment. It's a really great way to just get a few more shots into the mix.
It's cool now to think of upgrades.
You said it's even possible for 20 boys to stay in coherency.
And of course, there's that distinction.
Just be running in like a phalanx, right? Just running in like a formation would suck for boys.
You have enhancements that go on the units. And you have
all these cool rules that we're seeing that would help the mob, the green tide. That's probably why they're also like,
even some exclusionary ones in specific detachments, which lets you take a 4th one as well. Thinking about stuff like
this is awesome. We're about to see Ork take a W, boys, on the very, very first game of 11, just to set the tempo. All the Blood Angels are gonna be like, "We told you the box that wasn't good."
Yeah, so depth are not the kind of primary target. Most of the time, they're looking for enemy infantry to try and shoot down. So, but it's still heavy bolters.
I do.
Still multi-damage.
Off Ork topic. I do want to settle those guys from my Imperial because I have no good shooting for them. All right, so he shot them into these
9 shots from a unit of 3 with strength 5, 81.
Like we said, that's the war track, bikers, Compass,
really pop off there.
Horrible break.
You imagine Ork boys, big unit of guardsmen.
Hey, don't start saying that now, Nerf. All right, they have a strong, balanced box set. Like you like to say about our stuff, right? Strong and balanced.
Yeah, also into things like accursed cultists, those kind of like big mobs of stuff that are going to want to run towards.
So heavy eradicators.
There's no squads of 20 in this Ork army. But, you can imagine they're very good into 10.
Even
shot down now with shooting.
10 boys, where they get 9 shots, they'd be going up by more than 50% because they get two extra shots each into 10 boys.
Or is that them shooting?
That's huge. They go for 9 shots to 15 with sustained hits built in. Add Oath of Moment on top of that. You can
Okay, I was like,
you could remove the unit. In
I don't know if I need these huge cuts for that. Oh, they're showing the models.
Look at that.
Beautiful models, though. Dang, look at that one, dude.
So these armies are painted by a wonderful team at
and the freehand on that markings right there, the Blood Angels.
These are very nicely painted forces.
That's a good way to make a Blood Angels.
Half of the Armageddon box.
Circular writing my
Blood Angels expanded out into a Space Marine, Space Marine force. A good mix of different units. The Orks as well. Also
baseball fish to me.
A Brutalis Dreadnought.
They're hate me right. Brutalis, coolest looking, the least effective dread sometimes.
Twin multi-melter and the ability to do mortal wounds on the charges is an
someone in the chat saying this game is so badly set up, it's telling us very little. That's okay, because that's why they have 2 more games after this. One's with competitive players, but we are going to see at least how the Orks are able to manipulate the scoreboard and the mission. The enemy says like, oh, we're going to kill you purge. This is actually a perfect practice game for game 1 for very coming into the game. Purge, the Orks, and they have taken hold. And they're going to be able to play out a very passive game like that, and they're going to learn how to play it out from how Adrian.
And that's useful as well.
This is high level, regardless of what people think, right? The ability as an Ork to say, I can stand just right here, commit just this much, and then time that wall in the game for primary and state board control. It is top Ork
that have been borne down upon by the Vanguard veterans.
But I would say the Blood Angel player definitely gave him the board to some degree in some ways. By not coming forward when he has the speed, shooting, and follow-up combat, right? So it's like it's a little passive also, as in the Paul. The other Paul. Paul?
So we just had the 1 hit from the last cannon, 1 wound, go straight through.
Oh yeah, shout out to Paul is good. Oh, this is Paul good at stuff? So I thought this was Paul bad at stuff, dude. I was about to say Paul.
1 left, and then we
get his appearance. I'm joking.
We're rolling 1s here for Ceremite Sentinels.
Yeah, Beer Boy. No, he uses new superpower called "Get Out of Here." No, Beer Boy's done. Death Counters are being slowly whittled away. Come on, Wartrack did. You know, he showed off. He came up. It would have been better if he suppressed the Termies, right? Like, I know he wanted to kill Lieutenant. Every some chance
because he has the Vanguard.
A shot of Termy. I don't think he could have.
Yeah, so that was a shooting there.
Them going into the next turn
has been
that'd be good because even though the Orks on,
they're
gonna be hurting too.
It has 4 very good
invest more.
The only thing that sometimes happens is
and now these commandos
random amount of damage.
I die from the
Sometimes
Desolator.
It just rolls a 1, which is exactly what happened there.
There are 1s on dices just like there are 6s.
There's a 1.
Here we go. So showing Liberius and the Brutalis shot the Weird Boy. Just so you guys know.
Left-hand side of your screen is ready to charge into the Death Cup.
Now they're doing the charges.
They are surprisingly good into vehicles because they've got those relic blades.
So what is the death strike?
5. But they got +1 to
whiffed
wound on the charge.
because they're only on 6s now.
Effectively, they're imagine their strength 7, which all of a sudden makes them able to punch up.
So that one Mando lives. Oh, to the one Mando, dude.
One of the main reasons that Devcopter is alive.
What's like 7 years? He's still shooting. I lied. I think he's still shooting. I lied.
The benefit
so it's mounted, so it would need to have something in the way. I think.
Yeah, I think he's saying the Termies.
I believe that would occur in that interaction because I saw Paul saying he's lamenting.
They give him the additional +1, I think.
So the ballistics is
yeah,
kind of not got a
within direct.
on it, so yeah, it would have been in cover. But yeah, -1 to hit is a big impact on the game. It's very big on Orks, obviously. Like if you're
really that's a
big impact. But even on Space Marines, it's effectively reducing your firing output by 25%. So things that used to be a surefire deal all of a sudden become much more dicey.
Mando's gone.
Close,
Adrian. Yeah, that's what, like we were saying, if the Termies would have been suppressed, they might have killed even less.
So there's only 1 left there, and the
so, it's fine. I'm not saying Adrian should have shot him. I think they recovered, but this is one of those game cases where if you can get that off, that's one of the ways that it pays off. The Mandos survive that engagement a little more.
They can always fire, but if you cannot see them, if you'll hit on 6s. If another unit in your army can see them, you'll hit on 4s, and then of course you direct fire, just hit on ballistic skill. So there is a change to indirect fire for you guys. Take that one to the bank. But if you cannot see the unit with any unit in your army at all, if you're just doing either random indirect fire, hoping and praying, you will hit on 6s now.
Yeah,
everybody punching the terrain, bro.
If like an odd enemy unit on an objective, just like 1 model, or you've got nothing else to shoot at. It's
so
doing, but
Yeah, chat's also saying they wish they see more of the rules more in depth. That's what the other games I get are saying though too. Like not seeing all the interactions and rules we want to. We still have more game left. We have all the interesting models still left to get involved. But I understand what you're talking about. I think this is good to show how the game the scoring works and the tempo of the game, because it looks like round 4 and 5 are still going to be quite interesting.
Into the war track, you would imagine
which is not common
that the Terminators will probably pick that up. The Vanguard veterans they also have the the jump chaplain alongside there too. You're a big fan.
Look at that model. It is.
Yeah, dude, that's how I feel about that. And you're out of here with that. No, he does look pretty great.
Problematic trailer. I think that was quite a
same
bad shot.
It was, but I think Paul's happy with it because he rolled quite low.
Yeah. Oh, you painted exactly like the trailer, right?
Now, if you can
check out this F copter though, guys. They put an Orking heart there too, dude. How they do that? That's pretty Orking.
He must have rolled like the absolute best thing for him there, didn't he? So he rolled so badly he wasn't able to kind of get into space contact with it, but was able to move with it.
Yeah, correct. Half a mushroom cap,
and about the pile in the consolidation phase as well. Because previously you would have a small.
This is kind of funny
middle there. That was the.
I love it so badly. Everybody's just cracking on GW right now in the chat.
Now,
okay. We're having a good time.
Features are this big, and there is no center to it.
Their drawings are.
So if you want to pile it towards the closer objective, you're just piling in any direction towards this. Which means you can jump back through walls now. You can go out of line of sight around corners now. You can do all sorts of judicious things with your piles and consolidates.
Okay.
Really
what he was trying to do is say that I draw better than him. Those were his words. He was talking about how you engage with the middle of the table differently because you have these walls here, and then you can also move through these lines. So he's just saying that for the middle of the game when you start fighting. And I think that's what everybody's waiting for. Like, yeah, but when do you fight for the middle?
If you look at the size of
that's what they're thinking. I think chat.
Almost impossible for even multiple units to hold that whole thing to be able to push on it. So you usually now have to fight over the
currently,
sitting on them.
In addition to that, to your point, what you said previously about units
the game might be
bonuses on objectives. The other one I want to point out is that units that have
there's just not enough yet to
deep strike exclusions, things like infiltrators.
Do you think the Morkanaut will be better because it has more rocket?
Onto this middle actually,
they get rid of the hazard ability. I'm not sure. I like that it always has the 5-up pinfall.
The whole
but here's the thing: now the Gorkanaut, his Gatling gun with the -1
obviously, like multiple
also better.
Units might also be the way. So there's lots of things to think about there in list construction in terms of how you put your force together.
So Terminator's attacking now, re-rolling everything here.
All nerfs make a good point here. That the reason why it's harder to track and be entertained and know what's happening in the game is because they don't make players. They choose not to. They want the commentator to make us work.
Wounds done to the land speeder there. That was hitting on 3s, re-rolling, wounding on 3s into the war track.
Scholars is doing the fights. Termies are punching the war track.
No, so there's Terminator Power Fist there. Obviously punches very well into everything. Power Fist is one of those weapons that is great at killing pretty much whatever they fight, really. So they are strength 8. They're punching 2 damage each with decent AP as well. So they are quite able to pick up things like a war track. I think.
Well, they can't take this objective. I think he towed the battle wagon. I don't know if that counts, but he does have Nandos on there. So let's see if he actually swung this objective.
That objective. War track is the perfect sort of thing where you can go, actually, if this dies, it doesn't matter that much in the grand scheme.
And now nature is healing because we lost our beloved land speeder turn 1. And now Paul has taken vengeance and removed the light vehicle from the Orks. And
Adam's all excited.
Battle as well.
Always good to see. We also saw we're now going to see the Vanguard squad and the chaplain swinging into this. I would have thought that the chaplain alone could probably.
He is, and that's exactly where we're starting here.
The remaining.
Let's see if the Chappie can punch out this Death Copter.
Hitting with everything, hitting on 2s.
He should be with 7 or 6.
And then forced to wound here, strength 6, toughness 6, AP 2 for 2 damage. And re-rolling 1s here. That is not.
I can re-roll 1s.
I think the chaplain also managed to do. This particular chaplain has also got an ability to do mortal wounds in close combat. So I think he also took a wound off even before he started.
1 wound? Is that 1?
And he hits pretty hard himself.
He got
the Death Copter survived the Vanguard veterans.
He only rolled 1 wound. Copter hit the 6.
Wait, was it just Chappie that fell?
Sorry, I think I got a turn.
That Chappie thought he was going to run. I told him. Didn't I say Big Mac was just an exceptional case, dude?
The most souped up Croesus is out there from the Black Templars.
There's a few.
I think the Morkanaut will be better. Like I said, I think the Gorkanaut also will be much better because the Gatling gun is more playable. We got to see the volume of the rockets on the Morkanaut because right now we don't know.
No force.
Everything is different.
pretty solid.
So if they increase the rocket
too,
volume, I'm
should
looking at
You
going
would
to
hope
be very appealing and a strength 10 now.
It would be a little, funny.
Right now, the market
Even if they didn't at this point, actually, although I think they will, just getting into combat with it is going to limit its options for next turn.
I mean,
I don't know what's happening here. Like,
didn't do the job
how many? They don't know. He doesn't
himself,
know the profile for this.
I am looking forward to
Yeah.
seeing how the Orks
James workshops in the background, like,
got a big battle wagon there. I'm not sure if we know what's in the battle wagon. I'm sure we can find out from the table.
I will believe the things that I can't see for process of elimination of things I can't see on the table are tank busters and one of the unit of boys. It would be my gut instinct, but we'll wait for confirmation.
We got 2 lethals.
Vanguard veterans are flying there.
That's what they got.
Yeah, so Vanguard vets get lethals.
1 extra on the rerolls, and he's got a couple of lethals he's taken out of the pile as well. 5's going to 4s on the wound roll, thanks to the +1. And re-rolling the 1s here because of Ceramite Sentinels.
I think he's gonna die
off at the moment.
No, dude, he's gonna tank.
Paul saying, I was always a Ceramite Sentinels fan. Long-term Ceramite Sentinels player.
Yeah,
but it took a lot. And that's just for a stupid 1 death count.
His own Blood Angel army is very kind of.
Wait, are these Vanguards 2 damage or 1?
Like
Okay.
Sanguinary Guard and.
I'm loving this
T6. So this is playing with much more of a kind of compliant force, but actually the few practice games he's got in ahead of this, he's really been loving the Ceramite Sentinels.
All this stuff means T6 and Space Marines are like, ooh, and bring 5
that would have killed all 3.
And
the Vanguard veterans actually didn't need any of the help.
Didn't need any help.
They did it all by themselves. There we go. That's the Vanguard veteran unit. This basically
yeah,
they are the equivalent
because that kind of weird range of volume and strength, where the stuff that's good at killing death counts is low volume, the stuff that's bad at is high volume, but strength.
Very thematic for the Blood Angels, but
so that is interesting. Those kind of units.
If I may be so bold,
he's going to be pretty
I think
strong.
they're even. This edition, I think
the closest distance and you, then stage further away and be safe.
With jump
you know,
they're looking really good.
We could just stand on these objectives or whatever it is. We'll see what the actual mission entailments are. Cultist speed, but I'm feeling pretty confident in this kind of matchup in Cultist speed in this game.
Combat flying units. So we had this on the Warhammer community website a few days ago. Basically, the change to the fly rule is previously you used to.
So now
when they get terrain features and up and over like enemy units and things like that. You can now just
you kill 3 units.
Move and move your full distance.
You finally go on the score board. You got a bunch of first points for that when it was time to go.
I got 4 units.
Demon Princes with wings.
Oh, the weird boy
excellent for some of the Eldar vehicles that have incredibly fast movement. Now they can really zip around the field.
Also, really good for.
I don't know what his secondary was. He had the one where outflank to be on the edges, but I don't know if he got within. He wasn't within that. He got rid of outflank. It looks like so.
He did
it was
score
secure.
5 points on tempting target. Well done, courtesy of the Terminators, and secure no man's land is done. And he's been able to actually push the Orks completely off any objectives in the middle of the table. So well done.
Oh, yeah, Adrian should be able to do display of might here if he
the
Orks
crack back. But this is the
like I said, Adrian in the long game looks like because he has his Docker rig. Maybe it was just forced choice, but he has his Docker rig.
Usually it's like, oh wow, that's something really
20
terrible.
point range. He moves 8 inches.
No, that's actually was just 2 very astute units.
So what? You move into this pocket,
and these are the things you want to really zero in on the primary. There's a lot more primary up for grabs turn by turn. That doesn't result in your opponent, taking you off an objective and you holding objective through your opponent's turn. A lot more proactive with the primary is what we're going to see in the new edition, which I love a lot. I think there's.
So let's see where Adrian is right now.
Personally,
with these points when they give him his primary for this turn.
Secondaries for Adrian.
Yeah, and hearing players here between here and reacting to Adrian would be more fun, and hearing what he has to say.
It's going to be really interesting turn. Waiting to see the when will he
Also, what we're not seeing is I don't see Adrian rolling rot dice.
The 2 most dangerous melee units outside the Brutalis.
So he does. It looks like rot ability also changed.
Stepping the Vanguard into the Terminators, and now that with the Brutalis turning around to go and make sure that the weird boy goes down. That's
going to be awesome on the go turn if you're going, because I don't know exactly how many strats they've access to. I'm assume they have all of them. But you can get plunging fire
here peeking out into the
to these not super shells to the marking out, which is additional AP on his weapons, which is going to be devastating. Nice weapons and all these guns.
Choice to step up and take a swing at this Lancer.
Rerolling wounds on objectives, if that's still the same way, where if you're on the terrain, you reroll wounds.
Quite some time to be honest.
Yeah, I think the Orks will definitely be trying to engineer effectively a combat in the center of the battlefield. You want to finish the game basically with Gazgul standing in the middle, basically taking all comers. Really.
Floor raised, yelling, "Where is Balai? Where is Balai?"
Yeah, and I think you're absolutely right.
Eradicators.
Brutalis moving back there is going to open up a temporary opportunity because it's now at least
he's taking holding, right? He doesn't have to overcommit. Like he doesn't have to long unless he can get somewhere good.
At this point, can commit.
In his position, he doesn't. There's nothing good yet.
Have to deal with a Vanguard veteran unit.
These guys can shoot in here. Can they shoot into this? Right?
Yeah.
So if he can take, he can move 8. If he can move,
might be able to take the Space Marines on.
Move 8 this way. See into that guy. If he
because right now we're just seeing Adrian skirmishing. He's literally just stated, "I don't know if I can close the distance up the middle of the board." So he said, "You're going to get one more turn, and then you're going to cop the entire army."
Yeah. So Adrian's
stating a staging
turn. Nothing within range. Hold tight one more turn. And yeah, someone else also said in chat, no run herder.
He's just used
no run herder, boys. Like I said, that one video when I did about the run herder, I think he might come out as a new model or something. I try to sell him independently because he's not going to be on the box.
Yes, he is. So he's still farming command points.
I mean, it's the easy way for GW to pinch dollars out of it.
It's also a really good
one independent knob orc, a little more hairy with the orc, and they're like, there you go. Here's your farming orc. Like, this is. How could GW avoid?
I can't score this now, so I might as well make a command point out of it. But now, because you can hold your cards, another thing that is increased dramatically in value, in my opinion, and in yours, is anything that gives you an extra command point. Because every time you have an extra command point already, and you don't need to cycle a card, it's giving you a scoring opportunity for later in the game. Because you don't know when the opportunity to score a card might come your way. So having something like
someone's to forget that run shirt, I'm not running them at all.
An extra command point. Things like
so here's what it's saying what they have now, but I haven't seen, unless I missed it. Maybe that's why Adrian has 6 CP, but I haven't seen Adrian rolling for this.
Super important.
Yeah, and I think
right. So unless you guys seen him do it, I didn't see that.
Actually become much more useful and more survivable because
the buff for run herder would be all the grats get plus 3 attacks.
So people had stuff like Basilisk or
I don't even know what kind of buff they would need to be interesting. All right, here we go. Now we get some boys coming out. These are tank busters
in a single round of shooting. Whereas now, unless the
enemy's in the
deployment zone, they're only hitting.
Is he just in a rapid fire? These enemies, because they get rapid fire now.
Oh, yeah.
And actually,
are they still going to be the same profile of D3 shots each?
Command points.
Find out right now, as long as the GW can show us
previously
overlay
removed, which obviously means they're not shooting something else. But
I think that's where they're
little things like that. All of a sudden, this unit actually now is
showing us the game enough.
Yeah, they're not
immediately obvious unless it's the turn
like
bomb squigs being activated from
bomb squig.
Rips a 1 on the first bomb.
First bomb, let's go.
Explodes ineffectually.
Turn dodged it or something. Or this squig punched the wall.
We suspected, right?
Yeah, they're doing a weird job. They're not. W's not helping you follow the secondary.
Tank busters are
very well.
Best into
and there's no secondary card popping up for you. The guys, I don't think are even doing that well.
Is 3 damage each. They are,
and they're not tracking what the players are doing.
Surprisingly decent into Terminators. They are great into vehicles, but decent into heavy infantry.
I believe they're AP2 on tank busters, which in the previous edition meant that shooting at the Terminators with say something like
it's moving the Mando
available to them means that
they are AP2.
You would just completely rebuff that fire if you
move the Mando unit
command point into it. But now that AP2, even if your armor contempt will still put you on a 3+ save. Gorgeous models. Oh my god, we're so spoiled. With the terrain as well painted as well, this is a beautiful table on Armageddon.
That's an awesome.
Yeah, so you can obviously you guys already you can see this, but the battlefield is made up of new terrain, which is the terrain that's coming, and both painted and unpainted. You can choose. This is the unpainted version that's painted up by the Warhammer TV.
We're trying to end it like they're showing the model off of. We kind of want to see what Adrian's doing for rules, right? That's what people I think we're talking about in the chat. Is they want to see the rules of the game being executed on and how they're affecting the decisions and the movement of these players. Why did Adrian move the Mandos in that way? And people are more interested in that stuff than staring at this model for 45 seconds.
They're trying to do too much.
And rapid fire now. What are the
like too many people have their finger at the top, and they're like, I want to see the model.
That's going to come into play there as well because those tank busters we've had, D3 shots.
Here we go. He came out to play.
Oh, God. Let's get them. They're going to get D3 +2 now because
Rick's going to get in that little pocket like we talked about. He could shoot into here, and then Morknot can shoot down into here and pick up these eradicators. He has great weapons.
That's going to be pretty cool.
3 damage rockets, cut blast. And then he has a 5 up in vault because he doesn't need the wall here, right? So
there,
the wall was declared. That's what makes the distinction of the Morkanons. He's going to tank this, cause more commitment from the enemy, and then he's going to call the wall.
Previously,
The battle wagon, though,
last edition,
look cool stuff in there. Maybe he's going to declare a charge. I don't think so, but
because you'd have to move your base.
it's all good, right? I'm just saying about we got to move stuff, right? Because you can't move a battle wagon, and like the Adam's trying to say, he might charge this. He might.
You can effectively go. I roll my charge. Am I within that distance?
He can charge you the one. He can charge these guys into here.
Right, I'm going to try and move.
There's
all
not too much stuff back there that would scare him.
As long as the move can finish within 2 inches,
then now he's moving guys up,
which means you don't actually have to go around the corner. You'll be able to make that charge. So in that particular instance, you've almost gained about 4 inches of charge on that enormous base. So things like Gorkanoids that previously used to really struggle if there's like an enemy.
So they're saying he doesn't have to completely go around the terrain to make that charge.
Like all the way around
the there, and it makes the charge much shorter. So we'll see that in real time now. Which be helpful for our players too. He did move Gaz. Gaz is staged up now in the middle, kind of finally. That's what we left of the Terminator the wall, but was just moved smart and safely
off the terrain feature. That Morkanot, even though it is like within 6 inches, would need to roll like a 10 in order to connect. Now you just measure the true distance between the 2 points, between the two bases, and you roll that high.
He can, especially if he can just declare a wall.
As long as you can finish with the you still need to be able to so
if he was able to, it would even be somewhat prudent to pop the wall here with Gaz. I'm not saying you can't go with 60p. I don't know what all the options are. It could be prudent to pop a wall here for Gaz.
So much agency.
Give him the Fiona pain. Run into him and of course might be no threat. To do it. But in other game situations, while you're staging up like that, or DACA, if he gives you access, to be sick. All right, now he's shooting already. So he's done the movement.
We saw Gazgol there a second ago, eyeing up the battlefield, deciding when he wants to throw. I feel like
bosses with rapid fire +1 because he has enhancement on there.
If the Morkanot managed to make that charge and the tank busters go, he might not even
and blast. It looks like it was D3, right? So, but he has other shots because he gave them the enhancement or an additional shot for rapid fire on their guns. We don't know if they have blast.
They've rolled their hits, and this is how many hits they got: 3d3 plus blast plus rapid fire.
He did get blast still. Yep. So
that is a phenomenal
D3 plus rapid fire plus plunging plus
you don't normally associate with volume of fire, but actually the combinations here have just really worked out for them.
Okay, we want to see the dice roll. That was great.
Gives him 4 saves.
Yeah,
on 4+ invulnerable save would be a 3+ armor save previously, but the AP2 so much more significant.
AP2 and these are strength 10 from what we hope we see. Right before they moved it, putting them on 2.
You can never quite count Terminators out, right? So like 4 up invulnerable save, even if you hit them with.
This is big. These Ceramite Sentinels have a reactive move after being shot.
They're reactive.
He's trying to scoop himself off the terrain and try and be line of sight block from this Morkanot. So this is some of the cool stuff. He's towed onto the terrain, so he got to shoot.
I love when you don't know those rules.
He's gonna roll a reactive move after being shot and try and.
You could have devastated the unit way more. You just made saves and Adrian didn't make it be shot.
True line of sight is gone.
Yeah.
Also,
they're gonna make a little triangle formation.
Exactly right. So it's a little bait by Paul.
D6 or flat 6.
So yeah, so solid play there from both players. I think that's absolutely the moment to release those tank busters, but also you've got to remember your opponent's stratagems, what they've got up the sleeve.
Here's the roll. Command point has been spent. This is actually pretty critical. If he could save
this
Terminator,
do it all again, boy.
That's not what he wanted. That's not what he wanted. I think that might though.
If they're entrenched, he gets to re-roll this.
He's gonna still probably be in charge range, which is the good part.
Yes, you can't move more than 3 inches and be entrenched. And so he did, of course, move up his full distance and charge. So unfortunately, won't get a re-roll there.
He might have been able to pull himself out of range of the battle wagon, though. That might still be true.
Yes.
So at the moment, because
Noted, Adrian isn't giving up his Mandos either.
Right,
it's that late game. He wants to start stuff and everything's fighting to run around and score. So that little Mando unit, he didn't even expose them to throw bombs.
For entrenched, and this
straight up
is
was like, no, they're not coming.
And he has not moved. So he's got 3 inches instead. He may be able to do this. And of course, we're quite spoiled here. We have 2 judges. 2 high-level judges from our open team.
Maybe it was like
adjudicating this.
I'll say it. He's always been a fan of Ceramite
Sentinels. I don't know what it was, but he
able to
moved
compress
more
the
than I
units,
thought.
and he is hiding more from the battle wagon than he's worried about the Morkanot. So maybe he's assumed that the Morkanot was going to make this charge regardless.
All right. So let's see the next
especially with
thing
the
that
new rule,
might
he'd
happen
have to
here.
go 3 inches.
I think it's a
to
Docker rig again
backwards,
has nothing
and
to
that would
shoot
keep
at.
him safe
Docker
from any
rig has
friendly
gotten
fire.
0
So he
involvement.
might be looking to
and-
draw the Morkanaut in and just not be shot by the battle wagon here, because of course the Morkanaut comes over to this
I mean, he is soft
He has
level.
a
Redemptor
Redemptor,
Yeah,
to
yeah,
go
we'll
in,
put him in the first
and
line.
Ballistus theoretically. Maybe not
The Ballistus might struggle.
Those ain't my
Yeah,
writing,
yeah,
guys. I don't know what they're
potentially.
trying to tell you.
He wants
There's
the
many
Morkanaut
lines
in
everywhere. They
the
all
combat.
excited there.
It's good.
Like, finally, something's
Again,
fighting.
though, even with the Morkanaut going in, that invulnerable save on the Terminators, you can never quite write them out. Right?
Well,
It only
it's not
takes a
shock.
slight swing in their favor.
You can't shoot it too far, I guess, right? To shoot those Eradicators. But the Eradicators already shot, so they don't have that. They can still be shot.
Yeah, so they're
No,
trying to
they're
figure
not
out
hitting the
where the
frame.
Morkanaut
It's still too far.
would have to end.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
looks like
I don't know
what
the distance.
Adrian wants to do is he wants to be able to move the
He's
Morkanaut and
shooting
land it
straight
here, but he's worried he can't fit with the underhangs here.
They're
So
all
he's
towed in now.
seeing if there's a
Because
better
these guys are
option
towed in
here
here.
or
Couldn't
not.
they shoot
Of
right
course,
there?
something you always want to do
I guess
before you roll the charge. And yes, he did dodge the shooting of both the Morkanaut and the battle.
So
the battle
very
wagon.
They're talking about how that
astute
reactive
strategy
move made
there
it
on
so the
Porter.
Docker
Great
rig
There
and the
is the
Morkanaut can't
Morkanaut.
shoot
He's
at.
obviously this is a great model.
Which is something we pointed out.
in game. It is
This Docker rig
phenomenal
our back
combat
makes
piece
it
with
really
that
hard
enormous floor. It's got loads of rockets. It's got some
to
force fields there. It's
get
got
involved
its,
in the
got the
game.
Mega
But
Blaster,
because of the
able
changes to
to,
coherency,
Well, that was
you
actually
can't
a
move these
profile of the
shots
Terminators.
Yeah, it was,
very
yeah,
well.
yeah, it would have been
denied
Cover
to
a
him
big
from a
punch
command
with
point.
your board anymore.
and even just looking at the Morkanaut now, he actually looks a bit grumpy that he's not been able to fire that weapon.
I think Adrian
that
failed
does
the
suck.
charge. Apologies
I
that
thought
we
he
missed
could
it. I
shoot,
think he
but I
rolled
guess
on the
the red
table, not
is
in the
a little
box,
bit too
but
far.
he did fail the charge.
Oh, he said more quick.
Yeah, the big base
Alright,
had to get
just
all
went
the way
that fast.
around. So
Yeah.
he actually
He
realized
still has
to
low
get where he
volume.
needed
He's the
to be
same
actually
profile that he was.
because of how
when he was
Paul
doing that.
maneuvered it, and he was able to end everybody under the overhang of the terrain feature. So this is actually what he was using to defend himself, was actually
was
the
probably
terrain.
And Adrian didn't really want to kind of
Wait a
go
minute,
the
dude,
other way.
secondary.
Okay,
Let's see the
interesting.
secondary.
So
Yeah,
he's,
so-
he's not wanting to. He decided not to charge because he didn't want to expose.
Well, that's exactly
the
right.
Morkanaut,
If you roll the dice and you don't like the number, even if you connect with that number, you can choose to not move, right?
Yeah.
That is huge. So Adrian said, well, I can see what you're trying to do, Paul. You want to tickle me under the chin and bring me into the jaws of your big guns.
Not
What
very
if I
orky
just-
though.
what if I
I'm
just-
gonna say, not
Well,
very
it is cunning, but not
It is
bru-
cunning,
not
that's true,
brutal.
that's
Not
true.
brutal. It is cunning though.
So they're
Going
saying
to the
Adrian rolled the
score
charge.
now.
I'll give him
He
that.
didn't like
What
the
has
charge
happened? What has been
positioning, so
scored
he didn't
here
take
by
the
Adrian?
charge.
Yeah, so
Because
Adrian
he doesn't
up
want
on
to
points,
be in
currently
the line of fire of the
44 into
Lancer
36,
and the Dreadnought and just
and
get
he
one
has
shot off the
achieved
field
cleanse,
and pick him up for no
5
response at
points.
all.
Well done.
Very well done.
He's gonna let
And he's
the
also
Chinese come
got
out
that
and
forward
pick some
position and held
engagements
on
in
to that.
some
You think, yeah,
fight.
I can
For
score
some reason,
later.
their own,
I'm going to try and
they
Well,
can't really
that.
threaten those units.
Might bring
anyways,
up
that
a
are
few
right.
guys. I think that is
Not too much.
renamed
You kinda
version
like
of
help
a
hurt 'em.
tried and true
They-
secondary. But I just want
they're
to
not
show
straight
you
up beating
guys
up a
what
wagon
that name
nor
is, so you
more
guys get
than
an
that.
idea of it. But what Paul did by saving his
You can't
Terminators,
get to those
he
things
actually
without
stopped 6
engaging
points
Yeah.
from
other
Adrian, because if Adrian got onto that objective, he was holding it. But if he took that objective away and killed
Morkanaut
that
doesn't
unit, he
even
would actually
reliably
score
handle
6
that
points.
unit. If you
No.
don't make
So
sure.
No, not at all.
One command
Get a
point,
4-bin
both
home,
saved a
I'm pretty
unit
sure.
and
And
That
so
Terminator
you
unit
get
has
like
been doing absolute work.
4 or
hasn't it?
5
The
attacks,
existence
that's
of
all,
the Terminator unit has swung almost 20 points,
Yeah.
I think, in
Yeah,
favor of
exactly.
So-
Space Marines.
So now that he knew that he wasn't get to shoot them
Yeah,
dead,
all
I
that
actually
shooting.
think what he,
But
if I remember what he
Or
said,
shooting be or shooting,
because
boys.
he's looking
Sometimes it's
right
awesome.
now,
It sucks.
he can't fit a Terminator between there to kill the tank busters, which obviously is what he would want to do. So some astute
Are we
geomanship
gonna
on
join
Adrian's
David
part,
next?
because if he did get the small roll and end just
point.
here, and they just went straight. Yeah, there was a lot of interactions there to Adrian's
He's positioned the tank
advantage.
busters very well.
Yeah,
He's given himself
yeah.
a contingency
Correct.
in the
He's got a-
event that
he's walled them
something
off.
weird happened.
He's walled them off to his advantage. I
So
like that.
you can see
We
everybody's
do have
playing
a
quite
Gladiator Reaper
conservatively.
still in reserve
And that's what
for
they're not
Paul
commentators
Murphy,
talking
of
about
course,
as
onto the
well.
bottom of turn 3. So he
Adrian
must
doesn't
make
want to walk
Planet
into
fall
all the
now.
Blood Angels damage because
It must
Blood
come
Angels
onto
are
the table
class
this
cannon.
turn.
And
Yeah,
And,
the
let them do
Gladiator Reaper
something,
obviously
crash
one
it
with
out, and then
double
they'll kind of be
onslaught
stuck getting
Gatling
back.
cannons on there. Very
Adrian's
reminiscent of the
looking more
Tactical
for the
Predator Thought.
my conditions of fighting and like,
Excellent into big armies.
that'd be
of
better
infantry.
for me.
A lot of free real estate there.
Yeah, those grots pushing you back a little bit. at
Yeah,
the
a
top
little
there,
bit.
but
Probably about to
Yeah,
this
yeah.
distance. So there is a pocket here. If you wanted to get some shots on Gaz with the main gun, and then maybe put some of the secondary fire into the Gretchen, turn off the a command point generation portion of Adrian's army, it would be a pretty good play here. Would also start pulling Adrian a lot of different directions.
Yeah, remember that both of these players, but particularly Adrian with the Orcs,
I don't think so.
really looking
They're not showing us that either, right?
on that central
From the list,
this is turn 3, so about halfway through the game. It's been quite.
There was, but I mean that
so
could be
far,
wrong.
The
Reaper was from the Reaper and with the news article.
A little bit more cautious.
It has been a bit cautious from both players. We haven't
You're
really
like,
had
isn't there
big
something like
mega
you can't even
combat
get the text right, dude? I
I
don't
think
know.
are on the cards at some point.
We've had some rolling games from some of our participants happening. Some have been able to happen more than others. One of the feedback points that I've had from them is that you get so much more work done turn one. In the game that we play at the moment, the tempo and cadence is usually turn one is just a positioning turn, and turn 5 most of your scoring is already done, and it's pretty easy to see who's up, who's down, if there's a big points disparity, or whether one player is going to be able to catch up. But now with a lot more cumulative scoring, ticking over, the primary ticks over in your turn, you score your primary in your turn, not having to score your primary.
I can get why chat's all flustered though. Nobody's really moving up and doing stuff and playing the game.
For all intents and purposes, this mission, Storm Hostile, the mission card that we know from previous, that is part of the primary for Adrian. If he takes an objective off his opponent, he gets points. That is just something you can do and bank the points immediately. You don't need to, sit on objectives, hold them through your opponent's turn in order to get your score at starting next command phase. And I think that promotes a lot more proactive play and interactions earlier on in the game. But these guys are being a little cautious. I think maybe I don't want to say
nobody wants to lose the first game of the new edition live on TV.
They're gun shy, these guys, and I can't say they're wrong.
6 CP.
No, but it's cool because we get to watch a great game. I think both really, really solid Warhammer 40,000. At some point, though,
I'm interested. I mean, he's going to need 2
and look,
for the counter.
We haven't instructed them to engineer anything.
One for a savory roll, very obviously a Lancer.
Playing a game,
maybe like,
no instruction from us. We didn't even build these armies. We simply deployed the table and said, play a game for us. Wait till we say to start, though, roll the first dice till we get there. That's pretty much all that we have done in this game.
So we got the Eradicators.
This is where it has to step up now. Come on now. Get in there. But the thing is, the score is still tight. So it's not forcing anyone's hand.
Probably be able to get a shot off.
That's crazy.
Copters, I would imagine.
Suddenly, torn flyers in anti-fly.
Oh no,
worth it. That's actually pretty dope.
But they're not.
To get
they're all towing onto the terrain piece, and they did not shoot in the.
They're having a bunch of fly, right?
That is an absolutely ferociously devastating.
Torrents. And I hope our burners and our flamers get better as scorchers. Because there's
one of the best units in Warhammer.
But yeah, that's a good point. Right now, I'm feeling sultry
of that amount of models. There's not much,
and definitely not feeling Morky. Most of us never felt kind of unreliable. Do you think Killbrig will be better considering their torrents and ignore cover now? They already had that torrents and they already auto hit. So I think that they didn't really change. But you're saying it matters more now. There's no additional cover on their torrent weapons. I think kill rigs are more appealing, and they can do the version of tank shock now because with something charged, right? Crushing impact. They can do that now because it's not specific to monsters. They don't get shot easily in some cases. So I think kill rigs I'm pretty happy about. They had a really propensity to being shot up very far away. Huge they are.
I don't want to say it's too bad.
They're going to stand on terrain, participate in missions. They're fighting on
from Sarah might Sentinels to take a couple of Meganobs out.
They get their buffs that they hand out in the game. So I like kill rigs. They're
he already told me he wanted
like a battle wagon level, but they're good.
To get guys into the Vanguard veterans doing damage to fight on death, take a couple down, and then
that's what makes it less appealing.
I'm good now. I will prove it to you. I'm gonna kill guys. I'm gonna kill
guys. We did it all the time.
I mean, Gubby doesn't want us doing.
Good luck to him.
Like you don't want to spam the same
incredible restraint on Adrian's part to not have called WAAAGH by turn 3.
Even though in their own battle reports they were doing that, they're like grenade, CP reroll, right on their Warhammer Plus. They have like the worst strat economy ever in all their games. Like, we don't like when you guys use strats effectively though. Like, yeah, because you guys suck at it.
Keeping the boys at bay currently.
We'll get this gore board up as well.
Turning for Mando
this turn. What's he trying to get done? So he has pulled Slave Might himself, which is why he's pushing out a little bit more into the middle of the board and bring it down.
Slave Might bring it down. So Adrian made the right decision here, not throwing the broken out forward.
I think
it's not likely to kill all the Hermes. Not likely to be harder for him to get all his damage to commit.
Try and kill the battle wagon,
but bring it down applies to dev copies because they're vehicles.
Some attacks, but yes, the Morkanaut, is probably the target.
Yeah, I don't know if he's going to get it. That Morkanaut having the 5 invulnerable save, having the
he's in the train piece.
Might just be able to get it through this turn. I'll also need to get an indication.
Without Ove though, I mean that's as an arc player myself, not that scary. All the time.
I'm sure.
Let me see. Well, actually, we'll see who the Oath is because he is bringing down. He's a little red. Versus little red. Versus little red thing.
Who's the real prophet?
There's a Reaper there. It was just in reserves. That's interesting. He's gonna come and just clear that. Okay, so it was on the list. We were like wondering where the Reaper was. Like, was it just another mistake? Like, we never showed the battle wagon on the list.
It's absolute bait, right?
Absolute bait Reaper. It's really, really rough to turn around your best melee unit and to go for that one instead of pushing forward into the meat.
I don't see the. Is this oath right here that he put there? Or is that his wound? I don't know.
Effectively take him out the game at that point.
It would.
So Gazgul can't really afford to get that bait. So in some ways, that Reaper is
safe.
Safe.
Exactly
or
right.
if it gets killed, then
so is it going to go into Gaz or just pick up his great?
Yeah, there's Vanguard there.
Well, he was bringing.
We saw the Vanguard already before, basically do enough damage to remove the entire unit of Death Copters.
That doubles down as
this is his oath.
Now into
Little chalice. So yeah, that's his oath.
Overwatch is occurring now. Tank busters are going to be overwatching into the Terminators, and of course they've got D3 shots each. No blast here because he lost one Terminator, but he does have rapid fire, which does kind of replace.
Tank busters are overwatching the Terminators, which is excellent. He
wants to take down 2
they get blast. So that they actually don't get blast anymore because they lost one, but they still have rapid fire. That's where the additional shots are coming from.
Because I'm assuming that's the plan. The plan is the Redemptor and the Lancer shoot into the Morkanaut and the Terminator.
Oh, all right, that's a good.
Let's go, dude.
One of those Terminators that goes down.
Well, I just there's no Dread Mob up in here, dude. I ain't seeing no Dread Mob weapons.
You can imagine by the time they've wounded, they've got a hit through. That's Oath of Moment. That
should be all
certainly is a kind of
wounds.
statement.
They all should be all wounds because they're strength 10 now.
We're going to try and kill. So if they can kill a couple of those Terminators,
so it should be 6 saves at 4 up.
6 wounds on the Terminators.
1, 2, 3.
He went down to the Overwatch.
Oh my goodness, that's big. That's
big. That was awesome.
Huge. That
was awesome. There's one term left, dude. One term he can't even kill 5 commandos were alive.
So effective. It's exactly what you were saying, Adam.
Here we go, Adrian, taking away those assets. Yeah, he did. After that horrible shooting phase.
The Daka detachment has basically meant that within.
Again, 6 CP on Adrian's and 2 on Mr. Paul.
All getting an extra shot each, which is great.
Go. The fight's starting to kick off here. I want Adrian to win, guys. Trust me, I really do.
You can either go,
what are the biggest There's no way I want these guys
so I can have the most
win the Blood
so
Angels.
big units of boys would be a great candidate. The other way to think about it is what is the best quality shooting I've got.
So now it looks like
also stuff like flash kits would be a great choice.
Because what it does, it doesn't just give rapid fire. It gives, if you have rapid fire, it gives you.
I'm not sure if he's shooting the Reaper or something else.
Stupendous with this upgrade as well. To your point.
Yeah, but Tank Busters a great choice. Tank Busters already kind of the newer incarnation of Tank Busters with the kind of more level.
GW should.
I'm quite happy to be in the thick of the melee.
Well, these 2 saves. We'll see what happens here. Oh, those dice. Yeah, those are
basically removed.
All dice are.
Only one left now.
Maybe he's shooting the thing. Okay, and then you transition over, so we don't want to see what he's shooting.
The assault cannon.
Dude, you guys are terrible at this. Dude, you guys are bad at this. All right, now we know the Terminator with the Gatling shot.
2 wounds each on those Tank Busters.
That's what I was assuming, but I didn't know for sure.
The last incarnation of Tank Busters before the new kill team came out, 1 wound each. They're basically just Orks with rockets.
And chat's popping off a little bit. We're going, yeah, Adrian has a ton of CP he's not using. He hasn't had a reason to use it yet, but we're thinking late game. You know, I don't know what strats he has access to between the both detachments. If he has all of them or some of them. Shells, for example, Mordaka. I haven't seen him pressing the button or his Morkanauts or even rolling them freely. So I'm a bit confused and miffed on what's happening with there.
With both, so he's
he can't strat multi, like he didn't use full reroll to hit.
And that was double ones into 1s and 2s. So actually cover didn't even matter. It missed with both regardless.
He whiffed. Yeah, he whiffed. He didn't get cover. The cover method didn't matter anyway. So Lancer whiffed working out.
That was fate. That was absolute fate right there.
That was Mork intervening personally and blocking those shots with his.
And right now chat's also saying 2 units from Dread Mob, and you can't even stack them anymore. It's a little bit of a weird choice. Yeah, I would like to see the reroll after the hit. Hopefully here now the Dockerig can get involved and start using those chats, maybe fly in and stuff. But Dockerig might be a part of the boys, which is the more Daka part, so it can't even do it. So only the Gorkanaut.
And then usually that big formidable mega las cannon on the back of it.
Wow, a whole lot of nothing from this Lancer.
Vehicle. That absolutely did not happen in this.
Yeah.
D6 plus 1 shots here. This would be
the more Daka stuff just so that infantry can go around shooting.
So I wanted to point out here. See this Lancer is only halfway onto the terrain feature. In the edition we're playing,
right now chat saying for the 9-inch coherency, I just measured my boys. It works, but it's a big square. Exactly, it's a big failing.
Straight through.
So you'll be walking around and failing for boys.
Quality of life. Some of the larger hold.
Oh, look at here's our boy Orc Daggers.
Things like
late to the party due to the late train. Was watching live. Was hoping, hey, glad you're here live. Honestly, it's been a very passive game. Adrian's being a smart general. You know, it's hard when an enemy just has to kill you as an orc for purge, so you can't can't give up too much stuff. But
it's much
easier
easier
holding your primary.
A few examples of that.
He's doing an excellent job.
Although it didn't make the charge, another great example of
right now, the Blood Angel is having a hard time actually dislodging Adrian's units with what he's committed, and I think that's going to be really big for Adrian when we go forward here. It looks like the Redemptor is shooting the tank busters, hoping he can finally kill something. Adrian does have bring it down here, so there's incentive to kill the Morkanaut, the battle wagon, the Death Copter bricks, right? So the Death Copter brick is the whole bring it down target.
He just shot the
and that's a weakness of Death
miscellaneous fire.
So that could be why he just said, well, I gave up on the Mork, even though he put the Chalice there. The Chalice is for the Oath. He put his other Redemptor shots into the tank buster.
Because Death Copter is touching the terrain, he's touching the corner here. He's actually able to shoot down this line. And so there's a lot more interesting firing lanes now on this new terrain features.
And he's just shooting these dudes that are over here, yeah.
But it's going to take some time to adopt for new players because.
So yeah, welcome, Zach. It's nice to see you, homie, from the Aussies. Shout out to the Aussies.
It's just right there.
And if you look at what's on the battlefield there, you can see some of those sort of like pylons and girders and things like that. They are still obscuring in the sense that like you can't see all the way through them, but because they are effectively like see-through, once you've moved into them, if you just put a little bit of your base into
GW is trying to figure out what they're doing here.
Terrain, almost in all
getting away the camera. No,
so the option to kind of immediately explode.
Yeah, me too. And then we just get to see a close-up of the model. We're like, what is happening? No, I'm joking. All right, some couple baby shots.
And plenty of rerolls here from Cerebite Sentinels. Now, even though Oath is now on a target he doesn't think he can kill, Cerebite Sentinels giving you reroll once to hit and once to wound is very powerful. And to my point, I think that's why it deserves to be a 3 detachment point.
Plinking down the Death Copters. He remembers how this unit almost failed to kill one Death Copter.
How many
so he has to bring it down with these shots from these from this Dreadnought, from some of these Intercessors, stuff like that.
Cerebite Sentinels is a great example of that.
Yep.
There will be a whole bunch of other ones that are either from your codex
or
from recent expansions or from other places that will be usually 2 detachment points.
We've been seeing them all game.
Which means that you can bolt on a bunch of those newer detachments that are on
the Eradicators can see. Yeah, they can.
They've got the Dread Mob,
because the Eradicators can see through this line right there into their base,
but they've also got
can see right there,
which is giving those rapid fire and some extra stratagem into the mix. So you can do some really
inventive stuff. The Gladiator hasn't shot yet because we know
the real heroes of the Orc force now on screen. The Gretchen.
And he could have put him behind that terrain, but he had to put him there.
Now dialing up fire from. Just what
he did show off.
And then he didn't get to show off because they got shot anyway.
See, boys.
Yeah, here they come.
He's discussing whether or not he's
I think Paul is lamenting having to shoot grots. Is what's that?
Yeah.
I mean, if I want to play rank and file boys, I'd play Old World. Yeah, that's a good point.
The chance to kill one
too many of us were pissing off the combat community, and so they took that away from us. Get out of our way. I think GSC does that too.
2 sustained going into the pile there, so this is the main gun. Which has sustained hits 2.
Okay, so Gretchen getting cleaned up by the Reaper.
This is basically your anti-infantry.
You know, if they had to run her, they could tank.
I love it.
You've got that double onslaught Gatling cannon on the top. You've also got the stubber.
And yeah, I assume the command reroll can't be used in the same phase they used.
You would imagine a bunch of those grots will go down.
7 down.
Okay, there you go. 3 left. I'm playing
that was just the main gun.
He's put everything into the grots.
Yeah.
So what? We're gonna get a Docker Rig versus Reaper, dude? No, that's a terrible matchup target. Yeah.
Scenery.
Of course not. We're gonna see him going through those infantry units. Is something going to deal with this Reaper though?
Even the bolt gun
is going to matter.
And this is on 2s, exactly to your point. And Adrian's like, would be real cool if these were all 1s, mate. And he's like, and they are scooped.
Oh, they're my boys.
His home objective, in fact.
Of course, the Orc army in this particular scenario does not.
You had to be in there, I think, for his primary, though, right?
Holding their home objective. That's one of the things we talked about at the start of the game. Is that when you
want to want a lot of units in this game,
usually tells you
don't call the speeders for sure.
You say that, Eddie.
I never gonna let something like this happen.
I say that to myself. Oh, my home doesn't matter. You can clear it. I
mean, even if I put cult to speed with some kind of attachment, we'll see how the buffs work.
Every time, mate.
Into your cult to speed list, and then they don't.
Exactly right. In this scenario for
help them everything goes forward.
And the way this
mission
is lined up against each other,
I just want a reason.
Doesn't generate any score for holding his home. Neither does Paul. In fact, all his points are from the middle of the table, and as you can see, Paul is staying in touch. There's only 4 points difference between these two armies right now. And I think Paul.
No, there's nothing for them to go into, and once they come out, they're dead the next turn, and they come out on the wall with 5 up invuln. So I think right here, Adrian's going to be able to come forward and say, I'm going to lock all this down. Adrian's going to lock this down. Lock this down.
I think
and then this
neither of
is
these
going to
players
be the
have really made
issue
a
with this
mistake at the
Reaper if
moment. They've
nothing
been
goes around
baiting
there.
and tempting their
But
opponents
he'll be
into
able to
losing
control this
charges.
whole
Nobody's
portion of the
really
board
taking
right
that bait yet.
here.
But
Maybe even
as we
push up
said,
here if he needs
it's almost
to,
like
if this gives him some
we
kind of
picked this
points.
particular scenario because we know that it usually ends.
So yeah, I
with
think he'll be
the
all right.
middle. That is coming.
Personally,
Those
because
vanguard
how
veterans
is
are
the
gonna do
enemy going to
something
respond when you
about
have
this
all
and
of these
vice versa.
units that are
We've
wall
got that
coming
big
forward
squad
now,
of interceptors
and they actually
who
start
will
killing
need
some of
to
these things that are
produce
already
meaningful
like his
way into battle.
first line wave
If
here.
all else fails, he's going to park those on the expansion objective, which to him is this one, and just sit there racking up all the points while doing everything he can to kill anything that tries from the Orc army to touch the central objective.
So for him,
But then
just
I'm
pointing
assuming
out
he's actually
that
leaving
he's
both
holding
his
this,
combat weapon
putting these
lieutenant
guys in a
here
line,
and his
holding
unit of
objective with
eradicators to
enough
ensure
OC
he
to
actually
be
steps
safe
up
in
on
the
turn
wall.
4. So they're going to have the Orcs crash into them in the 5th turn, clears them with the intercessors, and then he throws another ancillary piece on there. So multiple layers of bait here being used by Paul in order to draw Adrian where he wants him, not where he
That's why I was bringing up
Oh.
the Reaper part, right? That's why I was bringing the Joker.
You always want to think about that as well,
we'll see.
guys, especially on these larger terrain features where your
Doctor
opponent can, usually get something on the corner.
He said, "No chance I let them ingress on my own home." Right? I know, dude. That's why I say don't blame Adrian. He just probably was told to make it the easiest to collect
or
kind of
contesting
army
that
and
middle objective for the
profile.
entire game.
And the game goes by a
being
little
quite hard
faster
to
and
interact with
such
the
like
low
that. So
predictability and
I understand, and I think Adrian in the normal list would have let that happen either.
You can
But
really
in
draw
this
your
one,
opponent into
it
some
happened.
awkward situations to try and solve that problem.
Yeah, so lone operative
Yes,
is
you.
still definitely a thing in the new edition of Warhammer
You wanna read
40,000.
that?
Lots of units now get something akin to lone operative with the ability to.
So did I hear
defeat terrain
correctly
pieces,
earlier?
but there is
Coherency
still
now requires
that
to be
very
fully
useful
within
thing where
the
like
of the
12 inches
whole
still means
unit.
you have to kind of very close to engage with them. Because of the fact that you can now move into terrain pieces and effectively see through them.
It looks like, what is
the
that, one
ability
term he
to
fighting
be
to the wall or
completely hidden
something?
at a slightly longer range.
So look at the
becomes
Mando
quite
standing
useful.
there.
So I wouldn't rule out the usefulness of lone operative in your forces. We're seeing that used to great effect.
They're gonna right when we go to see who is the casualty
most
pool, they're
armies
gonna
have
cut screen just so you guys know. So we're not gonna actually
the
see.
Orc army, you've got things like Snickrock's got it. I think.
So yeah, dude, they do have to
as
stay within
well.
9 though. That is interesting.
And most armies have got something that way.
Good.
Find something to use it. So definitely.
Do we good crap?
Just
Do the announcers know the rules? Good grief,
busters,
no.
guys. No joy there. Unfortunately,
I think
hitting on
all of
4s
us are
and
still
then
kind of around the
on
place
5s
trying to
with some
learn
of
the
those
rules,
guns,
but
It's a lot
better on the
to
Bengal launcher.
It is.
All the mechanics are changing, army rules are changing.
Not much there.
Not everything though. That's
So
what
I think
exactly what you're saying.
apologies. He has a.
where you're like, this is the same. Oh, no, let's change a little bit. Oh, that's
I thought he had the Bengal launcher still to go, but it turns out he did. He only got 2 shots, and unfortunately, both missed.
and not a lot is going on, so
His roles
we
have
might
not
be just
been
saying
phenomenal
stuff.
this season, have they?
Trying to make
Positioning on the table has
chatter.
been great, but then
so
the units.
okay, so you decide to pile in so you can
did we
take the
just see heroic
objective.
intervention?
We already had it, I guess.
It's piling. Sorry, Paul has charged that one Terminator. Sorry, we missed the movement. Through the wall into.
Are these guys going to pull it off right here?
Of course, you pile in simultaneously now, which is why the Orcs were going in before the Terminator attack, because previously they wouldn't.
Now, what I'm interested in
one
is,
of
I don't think it's going to happen, but
in the combat phase, and I think
heroics?
it'll take a little while.
You
For
see
people to get
heroics
completely
up here?
used to
The
those.
Copters
The
are
big
too
thing
far
there
forward,
is
but if they were
after
further back, could we have gotten
units
heroic
charged
off
in,
gas
and
to the
any kind of
Copters?
counter charges have happened, then all
Now they're looking
of
for an
the
overrun
players'
here.
Units consolidate in, so push 3 inches forward, and there's some rules about.
I mean, I don't know if they're
work,
showing
so
it. They're not going to kill the battle wagon and overrun it in time.
then
And
all
yeah,
of the
now they're
opponent's
just talking about
units do the
theoreticals,
same.
but
So
they're talking about pylons.
it's not a kind of like activate a
Yeah,
unit.
it's fine though.
Pile
They
in,
do have
activate
power
a unit,
claws
pile
that
in,
could
all the
kill this
pylons come
Terminator
together. What it
hypothetically,
tends to
depending on
do
the break
is
rams.
A, it means that the turn tends to go a little bit faster, and then B, it also
And
means that you
choppers.
tend not to forget about it. So I don't know if, how you are in your games. It's one of the things I always forget to do before.
One moon.
Yeah.
The choppers.
Especially if it's like lone
Will
characters.
the breacher rams come through, or they don't have a bunch of breacher rams? That might be his like
no commandos
bad
dead
unit,
by
no
the
special
Terminator,
weapons.
unfortunately.
Yeah,
They did do 1 back, so Terminator on 2 wounds remaining now. Fortunately for Paul,
I didn't do nothing.
the commando knob.
I wish you could hear the players, not the announcers. I know. I wish you could hear the players too, and not me. But
that was what we needed.
I wish I could hear them.
The
Sure.
big thing
You want to
there
hear
is
what they're
that
thinking while they're making the
single
choices they're
Terminator
making.
is unlikely to be able
The
to
announcers are
move
kind of announcing
whole
random
units
stuff that
by
isn't
himself.
pertaining to exactly what's
attacks.
happening, and we'd rather see.
I mean, Terminators are. They have the power fist is good into everything, but it's not great into anything.
Because I mean, look,
That's true. That's a great way of saying it. It looks like he has not charged.
right? Like that's what I'm trying to
because
say.
of
Is
the
like,
heroic intervention threat. I think
what's going to
he's
stop if
he's
he
not gonna
charges
charge with the
this?
Vanguard veterans anymore.
I mean, I guess you get
because
to choose if you take the
the way,
charge,
the
but
way
he's
things have
bringing it down.
changed here, if he was to charge
So
into
can
this
he-
position and just
he
stay
wants to
further
charge
away, staying
around
inside
to
6
get away
inches,
from
well,
Gaz's
usually you
heroic.
think you were safe. But let's bring up heroic intervention on the screen and show people how it has changed, because there is 2 modes now for heroic intervention, which really changes a lot
Yes.
of how you work around it.
Talking about the heroic now too.
should have that up for you guys. Now, give us the tail of things, Eddie.
Yeah, so heroic intervention, the first version you can do is very similar to where the heroic intervention works at the moment, which is that if something has charged a unit near you, you can charge back into
Leap
it.
to defend.
Yeah, you can kind of leap into the fight and go and fight it, much like you do today. There is another version.
I think you can reach
extra
it.
command points. So in most of the
really
2
good.
command points.
Better.
Uh-huh.
We got 5 CP.
Captain that lets you do one.
You get
one
the
less,
units to reroll
it
it.
costs you 1 command point. So that, like,
Right?
a
Isn't that
great
like the new
candidate.
thing?
The way that this works,
Reroll
is that
buffs are getting
if-
way better.
well, you can make a charge roll, and you can basically select any enemy unit within 6 to charge into.
Here we go.
Okay, let's see what
Okay,
they
I'm
get.
going to turn down the players.
They get a roll charge, and then if he's within 6,
He just called the WAAAGH. He's about to blow my head off. Apologies, Eddie. Continue.
It's quite all right.
GW,
So
don't
this
let us
is
down
going
here.
into
Let's
the
see the
Ork turn,
roll.
that's the Space Marine turn.
Right when we see the roll, dude, they're going to
transition
transition and show us the back of Brutalis.
but this is now going into the Ork turn.
Ork turn 4. And look at the
into the Ork turn?
primary
No.
score. This was a big deal. So
No charge.
Adrian was able to get a huge 14. And in response to that, Paul's been really consistent and pledable in his double 8s, but he's been able to equalize the scores here. He's actually up by 1 point going into battle round 4.
Yeah, the grass
the
killed.
things that I
It's
noticed
a big deal
about
here because now Adrian got a
previous
big
edition
fat
of the game
0.
holds true for the next edition.
Last one, sorry. Big fat 0
of course,
here
a
on here.
commentator analyzed so many
there.
games, look at so many results from
Hold
events.
center
And
ground.
the usual
Mhm.
statement I would have is that if you're the player going first and you are
And over one
behind
force.
going into turn
Alright.
4, you're in trouble.
Looks like a
and you
wall
can
turn.
really do some crazy
And he needs
things.
to retake some of his
Interesting
primary
that
because he's about to get
statement holds
dusted.
true into the new edition.
If he doesn't pick
because
up
right
on
now,
his
that
small
would be
unit.
a statement that I would say
Mhm.
about this game if we were playing where we are now. If you are the player going first and you're behind on points at the start of turn 4, it's not going well. Do everything you can.
And
Yeah.
that's particularly
Adrian was
because
starting
the
off
very
hot,
last
but
turn tends to be in favor
having
of
such a
playing
little
going
amount of
second,
units must have hurt
because
him
you can
into
commit to fight
positioning
and
here,
move units
not being
without
able to
any
hold
fear
the
of a
the primary here.
So
You know,
like, there is a huge advantage to taking the very last turn of the game. And if you look at
I
some of
think
the
that
scoring conditions
Terminator
of
reactive
some
move
of
was
these
pretty
players, the
harsh
Ork
for him.
army,
because he was
finish
expecting to
its
dwindle
the
it down to like a
game
couple
on
and
that
kill it.
central objective.
Yeah,
So
that is
that's
all
like,
important.
that's a big turn swing. So it's not your final turn, it's the game. So there will be a whole
Maybe
turn.
not.
after the
Who was
Ork
inside?
army
Is someone in here?
for the space
We had
to
10 boys
remove
inside of here
from it.
with
So
the war
that's
boss. Isn't
amazing.
he war boss? Look how huge his
That
base is.
said, Adrian has the war going off, so that gives
Yes.
him a bunch of bonuses.
And then
Big
the
one
knob
that
is a
lots of those
40
units can
right
run
there.
and charge. That makes the Ork units surprisingly fast. So
So
Paul has
what?
done
They're
a very
going to
good
come
job of
forward,
kind of
bam.
pushing those units forward. You've got the Vanguard veterans. He's also got those
Is there a wall or
eradicators
no?
move forward to kind of screen,
better,
get in the way of particularly Gazgul
Sure.
Megadon,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
something I would
I didn't see a
love to
wall
get
from
on.
Adrian, guys. What's happening here?
But there's lots of other threats on the board there as well. We know there's a boys unit coming out there. There's
Yep.
a war boss in that unit. Do not write that
Correct.
unit off. That is a scary unit.
It's the WAAAGH as well. He gets plus
Alright.
4 attacks on the WAAAGH. He's going to go to 10 attacks, and he has Cleave now as well. Let's bring
War
Cleave up
boss
on the
looks
screen.
sick,
for you guys.
dude. He's
This is a
big.
brand new mechanic.
Kicks
Well, it's not a
ass.
mechanic you'll be unfamiliar with.
Cleave.
It's brand new in its application.
Yeah.
So go for it.
Go for it. Yeah. So this is cleave. When you have a cleave,
So it's a
attack,
war boss
it will
and a
say
pinball in
cleave
a unit.
X. Cleave X basically says like this is how many lots of extra attacks you'll get. This is very
I
similar
want to see
to
the
way
characters.
blast
for real.
weapons
war
work in the
boss or-
current edition of Warhammer 40,000.
This is cleave on the
Yeah,
weapon, but I'm saying I want to see who's in this unit back
with
here because here's the
his,
paintball right there.
Huge chopper has cleave 1, which means that for every 5 enemies that he's
Let me see,
fighting
dude. I'm
into,
pumped. I gotta
he
see
will
what's
get an
going on.
extra attack. So if he's goes,
Scream.
goes and
I know what
fights
it
those
does.
veterans,
I want to see the models move.
those
Mario
are
want to
cool
show up the
quality
models,
attacks.
dude.
They
Such
are
terrible
strike
timing on these things.
7
bro.
or 8, 2 damage each with
Okay.
a point of AP on
And
it as well.
boys.
So each one that goes through can
And a
remove a
pain
Vanguard
boy.
veteran. If he goes and fights into that big unit of intercessors, he gets 2 extra attacks. And if you imagine that the
Movement here,
war is
boys.
happening
We
as
need
well,
that.
you start with, I think, your base
But
attack
it's the nab with
6, I
boy
think,
that has
plus
is on a bigger
your that's the big boss. So
Yes.
the war boss.
He's on a 40 now, so he's a real
Um,
knob.
Your base attacks plus your extra attacks.
And here
for
comes the
war
big
plus your extra
boss.
attacks. There we go.
war boss.
So 6 attacks normally.
Oh, we're showing the big
cleave
boss.
1,
Now I just went back to a war boss.
and your extra attacks for the war. Just a huge amount of
The
damage.
green tide grows.
Right.
It's the ride.
Cleave
It's the
is gonna be
green ride. The
really
green
interesting,
tide.
seeing how deep people go looking to
Pretend
do
wall.
their,
Pack
how
gift
impactful
memberships
they
from
are. I
Wicked
think it's
Joe.
a
Thank
tremendous
you.
thing to have in
We're gonna have to
the
do our after
game.
action
It's really
reports.
cool.
I
So, for
feel better
example,
now. They're
I think
not this bad.
like I guess the only
And we know it's not
really
Adrian's
of
fault because
huge
Adrian
exposure
in real
with
time
the
does
team
these
assessment.
all the
Yeah,
time.
that's the
Very
juicy one. Isn't it?
entertaining.
If you manage to get the
He
war
knows
boss
how to
up, then
play.
that's
So it's
a
no
solid
shame
thing.
on these two
The
individuals. It's
the
really
reason that
easy
you might
to
put
do
one in your
GW
list
production
is
here.
it's not necessarily to fight into space.
what are the
Marines, it's okay
targets
into space.
inside?
Each one of those attacks is a
I mean,
2
he
damage
has to go
attack,
for what he can
but
get.
it's
He's just
very
taking up
good
space now.
into enemy
I
horde
think he's
armies
gonna
and
just
fighting
put them
other
both into
warriors.
this to get up
If
the
you're
field more.
fighting stuff like Tyranids,
maybe setting up.
there's loads of very juicy things that you might want to chop through.
Agreed.
One of the armies that
Charge
again,
here and then
very
overrun to them.
that seemed
If he
to have
can.
certainly initially
Charge here is
asked
nothing
to a lot
overrun,
of
but
the
if he could get a big
world
enough
leaders,
charge here,
Oh, yeah.
and
Yep.
when we went
that
there,
way.
you were able to kind of give out cleave to multiple characters.
They
in
didn't
your
really
army,
move that much.
and all of a sudden you can
I
imagine
guess
like
he
a
must have got
single
like
one of those guys
I didn't see what his
carving
charge,
through
his
a whole
advance
unit.
was.
Those
He
were
was
really
changing
high quality
screens.
attacks, right? They were like
So is this
multiple
120 or 110,
high
right? This is
DPM,
110. Where's the other 10?
carving through that whole space.
WAAAGH still
Just
chilling.
gonna
Yeah.
check the range on the Dakar rig. I'm interested to know if that Dakar is going to be able to reach the intercessors. That would be a huge.
Thank you very
issue
much for that, Wicked
for
Joe. It helps a lot.
that
I
Dakar
mean,
is able
lots
to
very
reach
generous.
deep enough.
He's
He's
about 24.
Let's just get
for
the new
Dakar.
cables so
Yeah,
we don't have
well,
terrible
if he's-
audio
if he
like
falls outside his
W
deployment zone
and
he's
stuff
outside
like
his
that.
deployment
So
zone, he will be
thanks
in
for all
range.
that.
So
And
the Dakar rig
we're
is
getting the
such
box
a
set, boys,
cool
for me able to put
model.
our battle.
I don't know if it
foot
evokes
forward
you
with
or it
using
evokes
the
for me.
box.
I don't know if people are old enough, like I am, with my
Dakar.
grey hairs, to remember the
Oh,
original
Daco rig,
version of the
finally,
box.
dude.
Yeah,
I wish
it's
you
got a
could
little
see
bit
where
of
it
that,
was
isn't it?
moving.
Essentially, it was just 2 legs with a gun and a dude sitting on it.
Yeah.
And this looks like an Orc saw that, from days of yore, and is like, I could have one of those.
I think he moved
And,
out of.
now that Dakar rig, if it is
Oh,
in
there's
range here of
Overwatch
the
from the
intercessors,
Reaper
is the
still coming
perfect
in.
profile for going into
Right?
those
I mean,
chassis.
because it's at the end
Up
of the
to
movement.
14 shots.
Okay, so there we go.
straight
That's a good
7,
target.
8
Finally, a
damage
good
damage,
target
and
for
then the
him.
rockets, which you could use to go into the
What was that
Gladiator
roll
Reaper
for?
for a bit of
Advance?
value there.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think you struggle to kill the Gladiator Reaper with 1 round of shooting
Yeah.
from it. So you probably, I think I'd be more tempted to just put all the
Everything.
firepower
Yeah.
into
And get up
the
here.
unit
Yeah.
that you think is going to be significant.
I agree as well. I was waiting to see where the Morkanaut ended up, because I thought if you tried to go with the Morkanaut and the rockets, maybe it gets a little bit.
I think he's going full
agency.
send with
But
this
no,
army.
no,
isn't he?
he's-
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
all it is.
Dude,
Just
he has to
pushing it
push
forward.
all the objectives.
Everything-
So
and then hope
this is
that
the Ork army
and
that
the
I was
fight backs and
I wanted to see.
counter
This
attacks
is-
and stuff
and
like
you
that.
take the
He wins out on
whole
the
army.
turn, so
You've
he
got
kills
like loads of great combat
as many
units.
as he
You
wants.
push them all
That's the only
forward.
ones he
You
wants.
try and get all those units in. This is the war turn. So those units are advancing and charging.
So now
Lots of
he's running
extra
that way.
attacks.
I think
Yeah,
that
loads
was
of bonuses because it's the
I'm
war.
starting to
Also
say,
got
actually.
vulnerable saves, so they're more durable.
What
so
would
you
I
can be
rather
bolder with your
do?
moves.
Take
You can
10
put rounds
boys,
where previously they would be
take
kind of
10
exposed.
boys and go this way?
Adrian's played a really
Like
good
10
solo
boys just
game
stand here
here.
with their
His
6
plan
OC?
is that he
Is
wants
that
to
what he's
over,
doing?
double, triple redundancy saturate.
Right?
the
Because
middle
this
of
is the
objective
banner and the
for
war
his
balls.
maximum score at the end of the game.
He could be
That
just
would be
saying, I'm
the
going to
reason
hold
why
this
he
now,
went
but he
with
doesn't need that. He
Visual
needs to
Leg.
come this way.
Yeah, so that's an interesting point actually, because in this particular scenario,
He's got it
you
now.
are encouraged to.
The Dreadnought.
I was,
boys,
and that's where that
put it
stupid
fast.
Termy in the way, and
What
you know,
happens
like
quite a lot
that's what
with
sucks is
Ork
he has to
armies,
go
in my
around.
experience, is that your opening
Not
routines
that
are
I'm
very
better or know
short,
anything better
and
because
then
it's all real
actually what
time.
tends to
Adrian,
do
I
is
think
run
doing
out
their
of units
excellent
and
job.
struggle to kind of maintain.
Would the war boss
What
going
possibly
this way
doesn't
with the
necessarily
pain boy be
matter.
better?
This scenario,
You know, just because
encourages you to
the
kind
war
of go,
boss
maybe
can
hold back, maybe
actually
just hold them off,
Yeah.
bring you a
maybe
chance
have
to
that
bring this
big
down,
combat
maybe.
on turn 4 instead of turn 2. And then
again,
swing
you
the game
get
in your favor, so that into
sustain
turn 5 you're in a really
for
strong
this unit, which I
Yeah.
think again
Now
would be
this is
better on
this
the
is a
other target
change
over there.
for
And then all the
leading
stuff
units.
standing in front of
Because
that
unit of
target
Ork
over
boys
there
here
in
has
the mid
both
table,
the big
all of
boost
that stuff
and
is
the
strength
banner knob.
like 5
attached to it, which
weapons. You're
previously
going to
you
be
wouldn't have been able to do. would you?
while with all
Yeah,
these
so
banner
Orks
boys.
previously had a
But then
special
again,
rule where
regrowing
you
in the
could
field
have
no
2
pain does
leaders,
have
but
its own
you had
buffs
to have a
too.
unit that was
So
20 strong in order
it's
to
not
do it.
bad.
The
People are
way
saying, look
that
how big the
attaching
banner is. Yeah, the
leaders
banner
into
knob
it
looks
works
huge, but
now
he sucks at
is
fighting.
if a unit doesn't have
So
anything attached, you
he
can
needs
put
to be
a
at
leader
least
into it,
5
and you can also
GW.
put
Adjust
a
that before the
support
addition starts.
unit into it. So this is
Good
an
enough.
example
I don't
of
think
the
they will,
banner
but
knob. The banner
he's
knob
a
has the support
knob.
rule. That means
Needs
that
to
if you
be
join a
strength
unit,
5.
even if a leader
Alright,
unit has
this is
already been
baby
attached, you can
punches.
have 1 support unit and 1 leader unit per army.
So yeah, I don't think it's
unit,
a big
sorry. He's got some great little
difference
abilities. You've
between
got the
picking
war
these two.
banner.
I think
That
if he's
particularly
trying to do the
pops when
overrun
war
though,
is happening.
the
Yes,
war
exactly
boss
right
sets
now.
it up more
And
likely
that
that
gives
you
the
kill
unit he
that
is
first
with
target in a
+1
fight.
toughness.
be-
Right?
That's
Toughness
still a good
6
choice by him.
Orks,
Yes.
which
Too
is
bad we can't
a
actually hear
very
him.
difficult
And-
But if we
proposition.
could
And all
talk
of
to
a
him
sudden things
after
go
or whatever,
from
I'm pretty sure
heavy
that'll
bolters
shut the thoughts spots in his.
You'd normally lean on to try and remove that unit in a single round of firepower.
Yeah, if he's cheap, right? But I think he should still be cheap and be strength 5 with his normal stuff.
Now, and I got to tell you, what
he's a knob.
happens in the game is in the directions we go.
Look at these little grats. Look at these little squigs down here, dude.
Which is a lot more.
Yeah, dude, I love these little ugly ass squigs. That's great.
Weaponry,
kind of following them into battle, not doing anything, but they're everywhere on the model.
Lovely
I like them.
Of that unit
Doing
there.
me
You
great.
can see there's a few little squigs dotted
So
around.
bad.
It's so cool.
One thing that's worth pointing out there is if you look at the banner that the banner,
and then guys, people are going to kidnap because they're going to more of these. You're going to have the same banner, but you're going to see a different orc now. Also, that's nice.
Cool.
So it doesn't take very much effort to have your banner knob looking exactly like that. So you got a few options in there as well if you don't want to have a goth banner. you've got some for like Bad Moon and Evil Sons. And
It gives a texture.
Someone says he has a small chopper. He has a little chopper. There's a new name for that.
Look at the wave of greenskins here.
He said it's just cold. This is a cold environment.
On turn 4,
he's a grower, dude.
Point here to ignore cover with one of the new stratagems.
The more this dude just came forward to stand on a
dragon. We say, you know, long
maybe
control.
Looks like he's standing on this middle.
This one's called
and the battle wagon is too. How big we are standing on both. This guy, he may be standing on both also.
At the Redemptor Dreadnought in the bottom left of
Big
screen.
Buster's coming forward to assist in popping this Dreadnought.
One of those units
happy to see that.
Struggle with because it's got high toughness. It's got decent
I think he started
shots there with rapid fire. Sorry, man.
Surprised when
you get into combat,
you didn't see a Reaper Overwatch.
A unit of boys is a threat to most things in Warhammer 40,000, but the Dreadnought kind of weather it pretty well because they have to build it on 6s.
Yeah.
Just talking about all the buffs here, he's got +1 hit, +1 wound because
there's no good targets if you look at his pocket. There's no infantry targets over here for the
So look at
he's shooting all of this into the Pink Buster.
He's put like another quarter shots into it.
There we go. Finally, dude, he's pressing the button. No,
an incredible amount of Daka going into this.
All shooting might be terrifying.
And I think this is another great example of using the WAAAGH exactly when you need it. You go, actually, this unit is perfect.
Good paint job.
Stuff right now. Do not write the Redemptor out just yet.
Redemptor
are really
good, man.
They have a special rule which means that all the damage that comes in is minus.
I have a lot of boys, but
that is great against damage-free weapons.
20 more.
So the rocket launcher,
it's really the snob.
Rather than needing to get 4 through,
here we go.
They will need to get
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay,
good
hits. On 4s.
It's still within the bounds.
10 wounds at AP.
Looks like 10 wounds. Those are 10 wounds, baby. He's done. 10 wounds, baby. 10 wounds on this boy. No cover, no more. -3.
Unit with toughness 10. He could technically die here.
I think. I mean, it's well within the realm's possibility it dies. I think certainly
saved 4, so saved 5. So taking 10 damage.
4, 6.
Because I would be dead without the minus.
Dead without the Redemptor's ability to survive. What that does,
just enough.
All of a sudden, that is now.
So Adrian calculated smartly here with the tank. You can't trust the tank busters. But with that being said, now this unit has a good shot without that Dreadnought.
Unlikely to lose to it because it's only got a limited number of attacks.
I'd feel a lot better if he could Here's the thing: if this counts, could he reroll wounds with the strat?
The two supporting characters as well. Of course,
currently there's a strat
that hard in
and
combat,
more Daka
but the big boss is fearsome. Big boss is absolutely fearsome.
Yeah, big boss again, ideally used into. I don't know if we can bring the big boss profile up. That would be great. He's better into light and medium infantry because he's got a cleaver profile. He's got strength 7, AP 1. So he's decent into everything, but he's very good into medium to light infantry.
What we really want to see here, guys, is what does it look like when he charges stuff and tries to overrun it. So you kill it with one unit, then the other unit gets to pile and fight something else. So from here, could this punch first?
But certainly, I would be betting on the Orks in that particular combat.
Is he going to be able to do
very indicative of what Paul plans to do here?
Charge it with this unit, kill it with this, and Gaz piling that way, or the other way where Gaz kills this unit and this unit.
Of course, you can't see a lot of high quality infantry. I mean, if the Reaper was down in the
thing about good about this overrun is if the war boss just gets his eradicators,
that means to me he's got a budget for his command points already in mind. 2 command points for an interrupt, and 1 to fight on death is what I believe he's aiming for here.
Yeah, so the combat we've been promising you since this battle started, I think, is about to erupt.
He would be dead.
Depending on how the activations by Adrian but definitely that fight on death is going to become pivotal. He also has the ability to move after being shot, which I'm surprised. Maybe
Chat going so hard right now, our boys. No, you know what, the Blood Angel fans, you're right. Go hard on them. Give it up, Chat.
Might be infantry.
Is that what he's calling?
Those Vanguard veterans, for example.
Ooh, let's go.
Yeah, could be up there if he tries some miscellaneous fire. And of course, he does have the rapid fire upgrade, the Dead Shiny Shooter upgrade on that unit of Mega Knobs as well. So
he's shooting the Mega Knob, boys.
Other option there would be to fire them into the intercessors, essentially.
I mean, Vanguard vets? Sorry, that wasn't the Daka rig.
So the Daka rig, I think, is just lining up a shot into something.
Now it's the Daka rig.
1 AP2 wound from the rockets.
Those are the rocket shots.
Did take the damage. 3 damage done.
All right. Here's his Daka gun now. But we're not seeing the reroll because it's not part of the gun. More Daka.
So he said, I'm going to shoot the Reaper because I don't want to shoot the Vanguard veterans and trigger the reactive move or kill them so Gaskell doesn't get
Oh,
the
he's
charge.
scared to
So I
shoot
think
the
he's
infantry
out of range
because the
of
infantry
which I
can
think
reactive
we all
move.
agreed is the juiciest target. So he's just trying to strip some wounds off the Gladiator Reaper. This is interesting because
So this is why I wish this
and
thing was in
the
Dread Mob.
Reaper
At least he could
aren't
use big
really
shells for
in
bigger
business of
gets,
killing each other, but it's just
which means he would be
volume of
wounding
fire
this thing on force.
So he's taken 3 AP2 saves for 2 damage.
It would all get
So
plus
he's
1
taken
damage.
6 on the
If it works.
Reaper. Holy, you almost
Yeah.
killed the Reaper.
Yeah.
It takes the Reaper down to 3 wounds remaining.
It's got rockets, so
Oh,
it's
yeah.
not bad at killing vehicles. I think
Yeah.
in a shootout,
rockets could take
the
it
Dakar probably has the edge because
rockets already shot
all of
from
the
the
weapons
helicopters?
on
They
the
fell
Reaper
back.
are designed
Oh,
for
yeah.
infantry killing, whereas the Dakar rigs are more sort of multi-purpose,
Mm,
sort of medium infantry killing weapons.
agreed.
Yeah, they
and
fell
it's
back.
2 damage each instead of 1 damage each on the Reaper's
Correct.
weapon. So that's the big differential really between those.
Yeah, I did not expect it to go
Dude,
from
this is where you
2
use the
to 3
zap gun,
for
and the
one
zap gun
activation
shoots
of the
the
Dakar rig.
Reaper.
Very impressive.
Hope it works.
Shoots as good as it looks.
We got those rockets as well.
The
on
Docker rig is a
Dakar
Dread
rig.
Mob unit. Yeah, it should be, but he's not
1
using the stretch
AP2
on it,
wounds
and
from
he's
the
not
Death
pressing the
Copters into the
button.
Reaper.
Because think about it,
Did
you could have
bring it
rolled
down,
for
though. The
lethal.
Reaper has gone down.
Down,
I
right?
did not.
What happened?
I thought it was safe as a bank up there, but I was wrong.
I mean, there's a lot of rockets
Oh,
around there. I
there's
think
a lot of
we didn't,
rockets.
counted out the rockets, didn't we? So you've got the
Oh,
rockets on
how does
the
this
Death
shoot?
Copters there. You've also got the
Maybe
rockets
that's the new data sheet
and a
rule.
few extra wounds who are chipped off
All right.
by
Like it.
the gun on the Dakar rig. You look at the Dakar rig and you think,
Yeah, the
a
Death
big
Copters
cannon
shot
you
the
want to watch,
Reaper.
but they're actually
So
shooting
just
the rockets
another-
shooting
shooting
their
for
own
you.
rockets.
That's some orc shoot, dude.
I think
The
it's
best
like
orc shooting unit we got,
which-
Death
Wow,
Copters.
the prize-
They've
Is
been
it
doing the
the
most
Wartracks
work the
D3
whole
plus
game.
3
I
that
think the
I'm thinking
Wartracks
of?
D3+3 and the
So between
Dakar rig is just
the
a
Dakar
six
rig
shot.
and the
Yeah,
Death
I just
Copters,
ticked all
they
the rockets in
both
the army.
together
There's
took
a lot of
out
Four
the
rockets.
sources
Reaper.
of rocket.
And they
Yeah,
used
And he's
and
already
no
lost one as
strats.
well because one
That's
of
interesting.
Death Copters is already dead.
And the rockets.
You
on
might
the
have picked
Vanquishes
lethal
also
instead of
are
rolling.
much
Yeah,
higher.
I just
So
used
the-
lethals. I actually
you
put
look,
out
you kind of look at the
the
Orc army, you're like, oh,
keys
just
fixed.
semi-orcs, the shooting's not
Yeah.
too bad, but there's so much 3 damage. Anybody else shooting those guns, this would be the best shooting army in the whole game, right? Like each one of those
What's
is
the best shooting armor?
No, they said that
So
many
one command
rockets.
point is being
If any other
spent here by
army had that
Adrian,
many rockets,
and
they
he's
would
going to be
the best.
pushing it on his Morkanaut to have full hit rolls on his Morkanaut, and he's going to be super hazardous.
There you go.
And of
Death
course, hazardous has
Donks are
changed now.
flying.
A
Yeah,
lot of what we
dude.
thought of
Luckily, we
as,
got
you know,
18 over here.
Well,
you know,
the speed,
do
like
I lose
that.
wounds
All
getting
the
out of
speed,
transports that are
I just
destroyed? That is now
think
changed
all
into
the
hazardous
speed.
as well. And a hazardous isn't just a removed model when you fail. It is you take a single mortal wound on a 1 or a 2 for any units when you disembark.
That's what
Also,
they did
you
that.
will take 3
That's
mortal
just
wounds
fighting
on
each
your
other now.
first 3
Proper
wounds
orcs,
on
dude. They're
vehicles
like, these
and
space marines
on
aren't fighting enough, dude.
characters.
We're gonna have to fight
yeah,
more.
so hazardous.
Whoa! We got a wall in the
less
chat. We had
likely
the
to
wall
outright
real
kill
quick.
you, but more
New
likely
box
to
with
do
6
damage.
death copters is gonna
So
fly
generally
off the
speaking, when you-
shelves.
something
And the old
like,
ones did. I mean, able to be fun.
Hellblaster Squad or
Also.
something. You used to be able to shoot, and sometimes you take almost no damage from it. But now, because you're taking
Second
wounds
hand.
on a 1s and 2s, you're almost always losing something.
The
Um,
Redemptor being shot by the rockets there from the Morkanaut.
The
did
Morkanaut
survive.
shot.
It only had to take 1 save of a 4+. He did
That's a what?
clock it. And
The
he's still
Redemptor.
alive.
Okay.
Custom Mega Blaster from the belly gun here.
all right, now you shooting the
5
custom Mega
hits.
Blaster from the belly of the
Full hit 'cause
Morkanaut.
He did push it for the Dreadmob. 2 hits there.
2 hits.
That Orc army is looking phenomenal, isn't it? Now that
It
they're all kind of
is.
out and across the
Yeah.
battlefield, this is a very cool looking game of
No
Warhammer
wounds.
40,000.
I am interested in
And
the
now the
custom Mega
big one is
Blaster's
he's
profile.
used 3 shots. So 6 shots. I do love that Paul has made it look like the Brutalis was out of position. And now that the Morkanaut is there, it's probably thinking,
Still a very long charge, isn't it?
Mm.
So we'll see where the Morkanaut ends up, but certainly the Brutalis Dreadnought
Wants
is
to go in.
ideal
Yeah.
at killing stuff
Yeah.
like that. There's 2 units in Paul's army that are very good at killing big
We're not
monsters.
shooting right now.
One of them,
As
you got 3 actually. You got the ballistas as
Are you
well.
whack?
You've got the Lancer at the back. You've got the ballistas Dreadnought. But up close, actually, arguably more dangerous than any of those, if you can get it in, is the Brutalis.
All right,
Dreadnought.
rolling
You've got
this
the twin
drum.
multi-melters. You've got the power fists as well.
So
think-
because he pushed it, the 3 is also in hazardous, and the Morkanaut just took 9 mortal wounds.
Awesome.
Oh, he actually
He used the
even
Dread
stated,
Mob
"I'm gonna
ability,
not shoot
and then he
the
shot his
big
weapons,
shooters,"
and then
because
once
all he could
and
shoot it
twos
into was the toughness 6 eradicators.
hazardous,
to
but he
do
and
just
they,
damage
nine
to.
they're also
damage.
And they're
hazardous.
also hazardous.
Yeah.
So he did no damage into the eradicators with it, and probably and 50.
Now the Brutalis
three
can
mortal
actually-
I
wounds
mean,
on
that's
himself.
Orcs, really. Isn't
That
it?
is
That's
Orcs, baby.
Orcs. I
That is
think,
Orcs.
in fairness, he's probably due a little bit
Or
of bad luck. I think
trying to use
we've
that.
had
Yes,
some very
yes, we
good
have.
shooting
Yeah.
rolls from the Orcs. Did very well into the
Kill the enemy, but you probably
And
can
the- and the
yourself.
Redemptor.
and the Redemptor, but
Yeah.
also did very well into the Terminators. as well. So,
He used a
uh,
strat and then
that
he pushed
is
it on
the
the
same
strat, I think,
too.
or he
I
picked.
think
or he
probably
picked
Paul was
lethal.
too.
I'd like like to
the
believe
reason
my
that was
boys
so
do.
dangerous
He
is
chose
because
to
this
do
is the
something.
Dread Mob detachment. The Dread Mob detachment
And it didn't play
basically
off
has a
because
bunch
the
of things
Redemptor's
that
still
are
alive, and the
additional
Brutalities didn't take
ways
any
to be
damage.
extra hazardous.
Yes.
that you can use on your walkers. Exactly.
Dude, why are we getting so many of these turn slides? All right, here. Okay, they made the charge. Here we go.
We are now seeing charges. We're into the charge phase.
We're going to see a cascading amount of charges. We might even see a little bit of an overrun pile in here,
and
because I assume the first thing to activate of this will be the Meganobs, and they almost certainly bring down the entire unit.
Yeah, Moral seeing in that case, you can just touch off of it, and I'm hoping Gaz can hit one of these backline units, maybe like the intercessor, swing that.
Here come the Meganobs. We'll bring this back.
Is that an 8-inch charge on Gaz's Meganobs?
Yeah, Meganob's got an 8 on that.
Yes, Adrian's writing a direct line so you can see how far the enemy is.
It's going to be really about whether they want
to put the Meganob on the other side. Yeah, here we go. Here we go, dude. We're gonna see the distance. I can see a head right there, dude. Looks like you're close enough to get punched.
Into the intercessors.
Because then what you do is you don't get hit by the
9 damage to himself. 0 to the Redemptor, dude.
Yeah. And then the Meganob, but you'd have to.
I would get rid of that hazard weapon, the Morkanot also.
Exactly right. You have to hope the boys do enough to kill, and that's unlikely.
So what he's hoping he does here, I'm thinking, is the boys might go first and pick this up. But if he's scared that he won't pick it up, then he might go with Gaz and hope the boys can go this way and kill the Eradicators.
For the WAAAGH, hitting, and he's killing one with everyone that goes through.
Exactly right.
So I think that probably is the play.
You're right. That Warboss does change.
Is he close enough?
Right.
3 command points.
No, this isn't. It's not Warhorn. He's not really that
did go into the Redemptor, the 2-wound Redemptor. That's also going to be quite a key fight. The Redemptor won't be fighting his way out of that combat very soon. But between shooting and fighting over a turn or two, might just
hold this boy. I mean, I think the boys might be able to kill out and get lucky, dude, with the choppas and stuff like that. And they get sustained.
Shooting is a blast weapon.
He's just going to kill it, and they're on that terrain piece.
The other option.
So this could end up being a good take for them. I mean, but these
usually people go for the
desolators, right? These desolators,
but if you find yourself in combat,
sometimes if they're T6, it might offset that desolator shouldn't
something like an Ork unit very well that's fighting it with you in close combat. So just those things to consider, like how do I want to be using my Dreadnought? Is it going to be in the
trying to get charged off too?
Onslaught might be better. Is it going to be holding back with shooting? If in which case the plasma might be the way to go.
Because of all the boys and conversion in the middle and his overhang, the Gorkanaut actually does have a long charge this time and needed to get a lot more than the 5 it rolled to make the Eradicators. Just as planned for Paul Murphy.
Mork's really letting the game down here.
Kind of 8 or 9
is I think what they decided. Yeah.
Everybody else doing their work as the Mork
for his
300.
So it would be massive, yeah, because the back of the base would have to clear the corner almost. So
200.
What you do is move up here, pay 2 to pivot, so you could tilt the back of your base, and then you'd have to close there. So yeah, you're looking at like once you pay the 2 for the pivot, all of a sudden it blows out.
Like 11.
He is going with the boys first.
So this could be a very, very interesting.
Oh, he pounds everybody because I'll have
him. He's piled in the boys right now, and there's the Meganobs.
He's doing the full pylons across the lines because he's in real time, which is what people wanted to see.
I think he must be right.
Has to be.
So the way the overrun fight works, we had it up a second ago, but fundamentally, if you've charged this turn and then all of a sudden you find yourself with nothing left to fight, so usually that's because an enemy unit has been killed by another unit. You can make another pile-in.
You want to see the pylons?
Catch another unit, which is easier than you might think because the engagement range is 2. You can fight again.
Yeah,
so,
and the engagement range is 2 inches now.
If you
so this gap isn't as bad as
you have a chance to reach out.
The pylon 3 inches this way, and then it's a 2 inch.
What it means if you're trying to defend against it, be very careful with your screening lines. So in the current edition, you can usually get away with having about 3 inches distance between the.
But I don't know if these boys just straight clear this unless you read this reroll wounds for SCP.
It's just stated because of the way the charge had to be engineered. If he overran with he did the overrun fight with the Meganobs, he'd only be hitting with 1, maybe 2 into the intercessors. Whereas if the boys overrun, it almost the entire full unit would fight.
Yeah, exactly. So they're choosing right now.
It's an interesting choice.
Is it better to for sure kill the unit with gas? Make sure this unit's gone. That way these guys can move this way and for sure
kill the full unit and potentially kill it rather than tie them down.
So right here, could go you go with these guys and you get no overrun.
One dude is going first with his 6 Meganobs here. The Meganobs
it'd be better just Gaz. Make sure you kill this and make sure you get the pile off.
They're gonna get so pumped. Now, Tricky will
I think that's what Adrian's doing right now too, actually.
Kill the boys.
Now that I'm looking at his dice rolls.
Before they can overrun fight.
Or
do he's fighting with Gaz.
Into Gaz for the extra
like an important
I think you're fighting.
Real easy to get greedy.
Yeah.
You get the choice where you fight as they go down.
Fight on death. Yeah, I don't believe you have to.
Because the thing is, we know that those are interceptors, though. It's not even necessarily being greedy, but it's noticing that they're going to be a big problem late game if they just go and touch that middle.
I think this one will have a choice.
Later.
This one has to find
5 at the end of turn
I think
5.
everything else
So it
is
is
close enough to find it. The Mega Nubs if you wish.
It's a
So
risky
you
play,
basically
right? I
choose
don't know if
anything
it's
within
really
two. There's
risky.
another
It's
change
an
actually
extra
that
risky
yeah,
play
everything's
that
true
it's
now.
almost creative.
because
Yeah,
your
yeah.
engagement
I'd say it's 3
range
just 'cause
is
that's, like,
more
the
generous
best
in terms of your
possible
targets than
outcome,
each player.
Yeah.
So what you'll
That's
tend
what
to
you're
find is
going
that
for,
when you
Yeah.
get into a big
you know,
contract
start rolling dice
protected
up in the
melee,
day and
at the moment
gotta calculate
you're sort of
the
stuck
things.
fighting the person.
Gotta
who's
let
switching.
guys just pick
Whereas
things
this
up.
new edition, you get to fight more stuff.
We just saw the fast dice roll there, and Paul rolled really well, mostly 4 pluses. So he's had 3 invulnerables, so 3 Vanguard veterans are dead so far.
Vanguard veterans
This is
have
the
a
beauty of
4
the new
invuln.
system in action.
taking it.
Oh, right.
And now
This
he
is
has
just-
put it all onto the chaplain
Yes.
in that sequence, and all those 4
He
pluses
saved
paid
a
out on
bunch
the
of his so
Rosarius.
far.
And now Gazkul, does he finish the unit? So the Vanguard veterans are down, all of them.
So that's not
Because he was
good
able to give
because
Order
the
Breakers
Mega
the
Knobs
advantage.
killed
All the
what, half
small
of them?
models triggered and killed the
Oh, no, he
4
killed
Vanguard
nothing.
veterans.
No, he
And
killed
all
nothing of
those
them.
pluses
So it's
came
just
out
Gas
from the
finished out the
Rosarius.
character now.
Yeah,
All right,
for
good.
sure.
I was like,
Right
that's
now in the
crazy
game, right
if
as it
he
sits
killed
right
it.
now,
It was all
that whole
percentage.
unit's stone cold dead.
Yeah.
Now
No,
that
that's not
chaplain is
right.
useless
Yeah,
because of
because
the
you
new
get to
fast
pile
dice
in
fast
the
dice roll.
Eradicators.
Yeah,
The only thing is
because
Eradicators are
fails
2-6
go
and boys
first
are
into
only
the thing
strength
that you
5
picked
here.
first. Yeah.
Yeah.
Between the War Boss,
What you're not allowed to do is pick
Power
the chaplain, set the
Claw,
initiative.
No,
and
you
you
can't.
guys'
You must pick
skill,
the bodyguard portion of the unit first.
still pretty
So
cripple
that's,
them if not
that's
kill the
big.
whole
So we've got a
unit.
chaplain left.
It doesn't matter. Gaz is here.
That's fix him up and rip
Gaz
him in
is
half.
here.
Gaz
It
versus
was
the
a-
one
it was just a cool
chappie from the
demonstration
trailer.
of the change.
Whoa!
More than
Just
thinking
Gaz
the
just
chaplain is going to
head off
survive
real quick.
the deadliest orc in the
armor
41st
here.
No
edition.
plot armor
Yeah,
here,
Gazgul
boys.
is an
9
absolute-
4-ups is all he needs here, apparently.
Easy
according to
peasy.
Paul.
Oh no, it's not quite.
Okay.
No, it's,
I think Gaz killed the whole unit by
Gazgul,
himself.
absolute wrecking machine in close combat. He's one of the most powerful close combat models in Warhammer 40,000.
Will
Them
he find
orcs
a
are
way?
always hazardous. Them
Ooh, I'm not sure he saw it. Either
no
that or he has other
wants
plans for
always
his career
hazardous.
points.
Probably killed a slew of grots inside. Yeah,
He's
they're
not
good.
even interrupted.
There's some grots
There
jammed up
is
in the
no-
mark
there is no
not
great
blew
interrupt.
himself up.
Paul obviously
The grots are
considering
trying to
Pokemon
clear the
potentially
last
his
turn
own
of
turn
the
to choose
misfires,
up. He's
and they
got a
got
dream,
blown
looked at
up
this
in
and he's
the
like, I
actual
don't
barrel
think
right
I'm
now.
going to come out of this with what I want it to be.
So we're doing the boys in the Redempted
Okay,
Dreadnought.
boys into the Redemptor. Let's go, boys. If boys pull this
The minus 1 damage
Redemptor and
on
kill
range,
it,
which would
that'll
the
be
biggest issue he's gonna
huge.
have
I'll be
here.
very
We
excited.
have the
for
big
that.
boss up first.
So the big boss is multiple
Let's go.
attacks.
Here's
7,
endgame,
so
boys,
they're gonna
right
get
here.
5s to wound. He's the best
2
chance to get
wounds. I
through
think it's
because he's the
especially if there's no
The
armor
rest
of
of the boys
contempt. I
basically
think
be
doing it.
fishing for
It's
6s.
him and the
He's not
Power
close
Claw
to the
are very
lethal.
good.
Yeah, I mean, there's only 2 wounds left, so
Yeah,
like,
it
a
is.
few 6s might be enough to take it out.
Not great.
Yeah,
Same,
it's a sustained
same.
here from the data sheet ability of the boss knob. Needing 5s to wound here. Not a thing so far.
5s. They strength 10.
So,
They're
yeah.
strength 10 right now. And Dreadnought's
Big boss has
11.
failed. We've also got a
Mhm.
banner knob in there as well. Banner knob doesn't have like an amazing close combat weapon. He's still like a knob in close combat, so he's still got 4 attacks, which is decent profile, but he's still winning on 6s. Dreadnoughts are surprisingly hard to kill unless you've got a dedicated anti-tank weapon, which is exactly how
Skins making a difference.
their
This
job
is
is.
Yeah, we'll
the
see.
knob here with the big.
Sometimes you just hope the
He's got
boys
1
run
wound
through
so
with
far.
enough little shots. I guess he can't reroll wounds here.
1 wound through.
It's 1
Or he doesn't
damage,
need want to. He
AP1
wants to
this
CP for
goes.
next turn.
He saves it.
He saves. The dreadnought is
No,
still
okay.
going.
He's not going to
Still
go
going.
down. I don't think he's going down.
He's not going
I
down.
don't know.
And now
There's a
everything
lot
else-
of orcs here with
Yeah.
big choppers.
Yeah.
So,
But we'll see with all
we'll
these
see.
punches.
So they've all got
The
sustained
Morgan
as well from the boss knob.
Marking out did nothing, dude. I
So
think the
we are
Marking
about
out
to
did
see
more
a
damage to
bucket
stuff
load
than the
of
enemy
dice
for the
thrown
entire
at this
game.
dreadnought.
And
Mhm.
usually there would actually be some questions about whether they all get to attack here, but because the 2-inch engagement range, it's not even a thing. They're all in.
Yeah, it's
boys
much
look sick.
easier now to mob.
And it's fun to know that,
single
like, I
character.
got the
So what
chopper
happened
and I can
occasionally
punch.
in the last
Even
edition
though,
was
as you've
you
seen,
had
Adrian
something
didn't even
like,
shoot with them.
a
So it's
lone
gonna happen a lot
hero,
too.
especially captain or a lone op character you've managed to catch, and you catch it with a big squad.
Jazz is giving them a hard time.
Surprisingly
Surprisingly hard to kill. Oh, really?
Basically,
-1 damage with 2 bomber save for
things you
orcs.
fight in some of those
Oh,
combats. You can almost always get at least 10, if not even more models
okay, my
into a
boys.
fight.
All right, this is where we need.
These-
This
those
is
are
where
the
we need
hits
like.
in, and now we're
I'm just gonna
into
say we need
strength
to-
So
we
we
five.
are looking,
When we
we are
got
looking for
6s still.
sixes. We're looking for sixes.
1, 2, 3,
4.
4 so
That
far.
might
That was
be enough.
first half.
That's the first half.
And Paul's going to just choose to
So-
roll these now.
Took 1 or 2.
There's 2.
He took 2. There's 2.
It's done.
Like the
Yeah,
commentator got all quiet.
Okay.
Hey, instantly got quiet. Like, wait a second, he
Don't
just
think
died?
That's fine.
Yeah, you did.
It was AP1. CP1. He actually, unfortunately, put a couple of 5s in the book.
CP1, no AOC.
And
did he die?
CP1
there's a one in
saves
the-
Yeah, he's not pulling them
them
yet. Come on, dude.
Because,
Is he considering a CP reroll?
It happens. Hey, when you here, we're all new here. Amazing shot. Loving the terrain as well. I am so excited by the what the terrain does for our visual here. As a caster, as a selfish commentator,
Well, Don, he didn't pull him.
I love looking at the new tables. I think they look absolutely stupendous.
He still has
I
free
think
CP
one of the
and
things
can
that's
use a
really
number
nice
of
about the new
contempt.
terrain layouts and boards as well is that absolutely, there's a new set of terrain coming out which is designed for the new edition, and you can use that as you like. But the other thing is that the terrain layout
you
is
are
far more
correct.
generous in terms
So
of
far, the Mork has done more damage to
instead of
himself.
like some
Yeah,
weird power
exactly.
line generators there. If you wanted that to be trees or a fence,
Makes
or,
you dread
you know,
for
some
hazardous
weird
rolls.
alien
Aha,
construct,
aha.
that could
Ooh.
absolutely
Dude, somebody
those
crump
will
him.
still work
I'm
for you.
joking.
Paul completely rebuffed the first 3 wounds given to him by the first half of the saves. Here comes the second wound roll. 3 more again.
3
Paul
more.
gets 3 up armor saves here.
3 1s and 2s, and he's down.
Takes 1. He's got 1 left.
My goodness.
Oh, so maybe we missed
Dreadnought
how many wounds he had
Yeah.
left. He had 4 wounds
He's
left,
an
I guess.
absolute legend. He's a baller.
He had,
Only
okay,
one
he
wound
showed
left
2 on the
that
dice, but
Dreadnought.
maybe he had
Some
4
very
left.
solid saving there from
And
Paul
he
Murphy.
took 10.
So into the top down, and I think we're
Dreadnought
going to see
start
this
with
overrun
14.
fight now,
No, they got
which is
12.
going to be
Yeah,
very
12?
interesting.
So yeah, that's what I thought it was
Overrun
2
move is
also.
now occurring because they charged, but they didn't activate in the fight phase. They're now
What the
eligible
heck happened
to
there?
fight. So when they do their pile in surge, because they've already piled in to start
What
the phase.
the heck? I could have sworn that thing died.
Yeah, he
So
took
you're
3
going to be in
wounds.
2-inch
and
engage
some
range here. The only thing
Yeah.
that to get into this fight is the war boss. The war boss should almost take care of this.
What happened
by
there?
himself.
Okay, let's
And
see the overrun.
very
Maybe
clever by
somebody
Paul
will
Murphy. When he did
hear
the
what
red,
happened
get rid
there
of his
because we were
combat
tracking those
lieutenant, he
dice
saw
rolls.
this as a possibility and ducked his combat weapon
His
lieutenant
workshop called
behind
an
the
April.
unit. So there was no way.
Okay, they said
can
plot
do it.
armor.
To be
All right, that
exact.
makes
So
that
you
checks out.
Continue to copy and
Correct.
send
To be a
away.
nuisance, to be one of the highest value pieces in all of
Yeah.
Warhammer 40k.
So this unit is a
That was
slightly
what
harder
happened.
proposition
Oh,
to take
all right.
out.
You know, I'm not
than
gonna
the
think too
boss.
much about it. You know, maybe
Tough
we'll
for
miss
6,
something.
wounding on 3.
You can check the
Saves
replay.
it would have been.
I'm gonna have the
But
Big Mac
3
check
wounds
the replay here.
So rather than killing
Let's see
one,
what the
you
actual
You didn't check the
win, you
replay in
have
real
to
time.
through
You didn't check the
No,
chat.
in order to
I
get
know what I saw.
And this is
that
the,
Yeah,
this is
yeah.
the
Maybe
Armageddon
rewind it while
box
it's
war boss.
before
It
it's
comes
too
with
late.
the,
Also,
big uber big chopper.
Yeah. So you,
Custom chopper, rather.
yeah,
All
so
right,
you
war
now
boss
effectively have a choice
BB.
between
You ruined
the custom
eradicators on
chopper
3s
and
though, but still.
the power claw. Power
You got
claw used
3
to be the
6s with
go-to
our
for
lethals
everybody because it
because
gives you
the
better
banner,
strength
and then all of those
AP,
wounds as well.
But
So
actually,
he wounded 8
cleave
times.
mechanic is very appealing now. So I think we might
8
see
minus
more
2.
people choosing the chopper.
Yeah, it might be a real legitimate choice now. People have to pour over. These are Paul.
Exactly. It already
That was a
took 10
rough
wounds
roll.
to
I
die
think he
in the
used all of
beginning.
his good luck on those dreadnought saves,
did.
didn't
Took
he?
10 wounds from the tank busters.
All gone. The war boss, like we thought, just one shot those 3 eradicators.
So we were saying that he might struggle. He did not struggle.
Oh
The
my
War
God,
Boss
War
was
Boss
great
killed all the
for that
eradicators
unit.
by
Would
himself.
struggle.
Oh, that's what I'm
Absolutely
talking about.
ripped those
That's what we want to see for the
such a
weird
good
boy.
one
That's
as
what we
well.
want to see for all our weird characters. You're gonna put them on big
Every war
fat
boss
50
model
mil
would be.
bases. They
Every
need to be able
it's
to
not
jump
bad.
like that.
Yeah, they're all good.
So I'm very happy for the War Boss.
So
The big
venerable
job pays
Assault on
off.
Black
The amount of
Rage
punches,
one.
like 11 punches on the
Good.
wall.
Decades of
Oh,
play out of that
pretty
unit.
sick. I'm happy as heck that the War Boss got to get
So
it
if you look at
flashed
the
off the
board
battlefield.
state now, that was an
The boys has kind of
immensely
established some
successful
position.
turn
Now,
for the Orks there.
I'm
There
still
was that
confused
kind of
if the chat
line of
knows or
blue and
anybody
red.
back
that
how
was
that
Armageddon
Redemptive
holding them
Dreadnought
back,
is not
but
dead.
now a
He
good
took 2, and then
two-thirds
I
of the battlefield
thought
are
we seen him take at
completely
least 2
devoid
more wounds
of
and 2 ones that you rolled
Space
from
Marine
the
The big
forces.
swing down.
Might be
for
wrong. Might
Paul
have missed
losing
something. We're
that
all
at
talking
Reaper,
and
but the
fun
big swing
here,
his
so
way was that
it's totally
Redemptor
possible. But
surviving, which is now attacking back
Big
right
Mac
now.
replay value
5 up
happening now.
pinball saves from the 4 wounds given. Sorry, 3 wounds given by the Redemptor
I was
Dread.
showing the one
Pulls down
Terminator
2
fighting
Ork
off with the
boys.
remaining
Yeah,
commandos.
just in
he was
case
gonna fight with.
you'd forgotten as well, we do have one Terminator left.
We do. Oh, sorry,
Battling.
that was him. Apologies.
So the Terminator battling away there at the tank busters at the top of the battlefield.
Commandos, rather.
The commandos, sorry. I think there's a tank buster.
All right. So
We'll find out. He wasn't.
now we get to see how the Space
Commandos. He
Marines
may
respond.
put the tank busters in
Yes,
also.
yeah. So tank busters are very good at shooting. They are less good in close combat. They're still orc knobs, so they still do a fair chunk of damage, but they don't have AP into the fight.
Just getting our
so
little
they
piddly
are
fights in
less
here. It
good
looks like
than
remaining
Terminators.
units.
Terminator did just go down in combat to the remnant
Ooh,
unit
it
of
says that.
commandos. Yeah, as
The
we said,
commandos.
War Boss.
Commandos punched
Yes,
out the
yeah, 2
Terminator.
damage. So he's already taken one more.
There he is.
It was a
This was
power
guided
call
good.
nod right
Yeah,
there.
so
Let's
he was in
go.
combat with both the tank busters and
Yes.
the commandos.
He
So
had 2
bit off a
wounds
little
left, so
bit
I
more
took
than
1
he could
wound.
chew on that particular fight. Although the Terminators, in fairness, had a great game
They've had a
already.
great
They'd
run.
scored well. They'd killed stuff. They'd
Yeah,
weathered
Terminators
the
did have a
storm,
pretty solid game.
repositioned really well with that command point. But their luck
They get
finally
murked.
ran out there.
So we have the Redemptor to attack. That's 5 attacks, I believe.
Are
So
you
he's
checking
hitting on fours.
Dreadnought thing?
So he used
Get how
Norse
fours now
cover
because it is
strat.
degraded.
Got that?
Again, winning on
Pressure
2s.
shot.
Okay.
It's a new stratagem.
And then it'll be 5 of Vulnerabilities to save because the WAAAGH.
But it said he took 10 damage.
I'm looking right
Yeah,
now.
that's why I'm confused.
Yeah, so we just watch.
yeah,
living a charmed life currently, managed to survive somehow the onslaught of all of those orcs. Dreadnoughts have just never been bad, have they?
I'm assuming they did something right because I'm not going to expect everybody that's photo to get it wrong, right? They all
down,
right.
not bad at all, dude. Not bad for a 1-wound dread.
Yeah, just picking them up with like a handful of orcs there and just
I'm a crush
them.
1, I'm a crush 2.
Trying to kill the couple boys right there.
There we go. Absolutely.
Having fun.
I mean, Dreadnought doing very well there. So just a reminder where we are, guys. This is the first
Someone's saying, what if the Dreadnought has more wounds now?
40,000. We are watching the Armageddon box set expanded into two 2,000-point lists. We are in turn 4 of this battle.
I think it went solid for Adrian.
In the war.
Besides that, Morkanite being in a bad position and killing itself, because if the Morkanite had 9 more wounds, it'd be much less
secondaries now.
Lodge for the Lancer and the Palace on the side of the battlefield, and it would have a chance to keep coming up here. Now the Palace is going to come right at it, use its Meltas and whatever it has to be a Lancer off the damage.
There.
Not good in that.
10 points on secondaries.
Adrian did push really hard though, which I'm happy for him. Great job, Adrian. Adrian's doing a great job on secondaries here in this game. Not throwing away all his so I'm very happy, pretty proud of him. Playing this out. That was good round 4. Nothing really he could have better on his own decision making, in my opinion. Even his ability to auto and audible and shoot Reaper was a great idea, and I should be able to pick it up, which I'm sure he wasn't expecting. But hey,
great turn there for Adrian, rocking up about 20 points to his overall score, sitting 77 to 46.
So now, how many points can Blood Angels respond with by killing?
That is a thing that you'll tend to find, is that you score more points later in the game in the newer edition because you can bank those cards. So where previously
now the enemy has to push onto the natural expansion or the home mid-table objective, and if he could, the home, but he can't get back there. So
this is forward position. We're just looking at this now. When drawn, it's first battle.
We see Adrian as the boys.
The way that you score this is if you
maybe they used AOC on the Dread, right? That's what we were thinking too. But he was still at 3 CP, so I'm not sure when that happened either.
It's not your home objective. It's not the opponent.
Give the Big Mac on it. Don't worry. He's literally listening to the replay right now.
Then you get those points. So effectively, Adrian's held on to that because he's effectively saying, "I think I can do this. Score this later."
So now his response.
This is remember what we said about
the intercessors.
Why would you ever cycle away?
Brutalis, he doesn't have something too meaty to actually just launch Gaz. The good part for him. And Gaz isn't fully on the objective. So that's going to be a big deal for taking hold.
If that 5 points doesn't line up with your game plan, you go, you know what?
And Gaz is touching his enemy's natural expansion, so the enemy can't just walk away from it either, but the Brutalis can just jump on there and counter it anyway. So
the Brutalis into the Morkanot kind of has to happen, but then we'll see if what Paul Murphy said is correct, and a unit of 10.
Here's an idea. What if instead of Chinese Gaz
is the fearsome beast?
Put a mic on the players and listen to it.
It's a big ask, right? You got like huge unit of boys.
Dude doesn't want them to get too much.
Could not have lined up a worst example.
He didn't have to re-roll that.
If he's not right, wrong. But anyway, it's 6 mega knobs.
Oh, so now we're okay, guys. Now we know. That Adrian rolled that out.
Every one of those
first rolled not.
That's a big ask, but
they had him re-roll the entire sequence.
You've got the Brutalis Dreadnought in there as well.
Looks like he survived.
You're imagining that he's eyeing up that Morkanot at the moment in terms of what he wants to kill. He's got the tools to do it, the multi-melters and the close combat attacks. I wouldn't fancy his chances were it not for the fact that the Morkanot had already taken half of its own wounds off with Hazardous. That is now well within the kill range
100%
of that Dreadnought.
100%.
The Templar could also potentially shoot into it as well from where it is. So there are options still on the table for Space Marines. That
he's rolling. Space Marines rolling out his battle stocks right now.
Now everything is a target. It's all exposed.
Theoretically, if the 3 major assets in front right now, the Gorkanaut, the boys, and the Mega Knobs, I'm assuming Gaz maybe doesn't die here as well, but the Mega Knobs go. I'm not sure there's enough juice left in the tank to maintain the position of pressure that he's in, because of course we have 10 boys that are going to be tied up most likely here, and then we've got a battle wagon that has nothing in it. Of course, tank busters can come out and do a huge amount of damage. In fact, if I'd say it's an MVP of the game so far, the tank busters, I'm losing my mind at how good the tank busters have been.
Do we know if what changed with the codex? We have no idea. Nobody's going to know that yet. And it doesn't seem like
and I suppose
to the
what Paul's trying to engineer now, like what you've thrown
but
potential
I mean,
last
it's not.
haymaker.
They need to make it just the wall slightly.
the
addition,
Brutalis
not really
step
announcing
into this
it.
position, see how
And I know for sure though when the addition drops and we start, then not changed.
potentially using its
So that's a big deal there too.
both the combination of tank shock
But the codex is going to come. I don't know. Probably usually take about like 2 months, because the codex drops times 3 for the start edition. Codexes will drop, so like the Space Briefs, the Mega Dubs, etc. will Mega Dubs, the Orks will come out with that. Now it's pretty much 3 Redemptors, some Intercessors, and a tank versus the whole Ork army. Can they do it?
For you guys, it's going to be an interesting
All the
one to
Desolators
discuss. Because it isn't as.
What I want to see is the Big Mac be able to be
juicy as it
attached
was.
to
So
like
you
a.
kind of
more
pay the
units
price.
can
Oh,
you
hope
Use
you guys are.
much more
I'm
units
still a
to
little
use it,
confused to what
but
happened.
there's a little bit of pay the
Supposedly
piper
what
that
they're
comes along
saying
with
is
it. So we'll
Adrian
get that up
threw
for
in
you guys when we get a
5s
chance. There it
in
is.
Yeah,
stage.
so this is crushing impact. This
We
is what
clearly
you
saw him
used to
roll
know
4 6s
as
and
tank
like
shock.
odd amount of
The
states that
first difference you notice is that monster and vehicle.
Yeah.
there was some confusion that
Finally.
happened.
So
Plot
if you
armor.
are a
I think there was some
player,
plot armor there because we
you're
were
like,
watching
yes,
pretty
finally,
closely. But
my
if anybody
crush can be
rewatching
crushed
or
and
from
stand
chat
same
knows,
at
let
the
us
same
know
time.
later. Let me
And
know how
the way
that
that it works now
survived,
is you
because
select one of your
when we were
units
watching,
that's
he died.
charged,
And
one of the things that you charge
but
into.
something in real
And,
time when they were
you
talking
roll a
about how the
dice,
dice were being rolled meant
for
that he
each of your
survived.
toughness
But
characteristics.
this was
If you
Adrian's
roll a
thing.
1,
This
Yeah.
you suffer a mortal wound,
His mistake.
and if
He
you
did
roll a
everything
5 up,
correctly.
the enemy unit suffers a mortal wound. So this is a little bit like
That is.
all the way back to sort of your 3rd edition tank shop,
Agree.
right? Where it would be a slightly risky proposition to tank shop.
Oh,
You
the
might
Brutalis went
take some
away.
small
the
arms
mark.
fire on the way in.
He decided to
grenades
reestablishing
and
the middle
stuff,
table was better.
but
Otherwise, the
it's,
Brutalis would just be
potentially still a
fighting
great
kind of
way to
lame.
kind of
I
kill those last
mean,
1 or 2 wounds to an enemy unit. It's not
well, I'm thinking about it. I'm like,
immediate go-to
Brutalis
criteria
shouldn't.
for charging a
I've
victory.
been playing knights at the moment, and I
Yeah,
have
it's
so
hard
many
to say.
situations.
I think he
in my head
realizes
where
he
I'm
doesn't
like,
have
do I want
anything
to do
really
it or
super
not?
hard
Let's
hitting.
say I have
The Gaz's brick right now.
2 wound
He has
Questor
the ballistas,
chassis
which is
knight.
like a couple of cannon
He's
shots,
just
and then the
survived
Blade Guard
Overwatch, has
veteran.
2 wounds left. If I charge in
No, I think
and kill the unit of
redirect me
tank shock,
ballistas or the
and kill
ballistic
myself at the
guys
same
really
time,
hard. You got the
is that
Lancer
good
to
enough?
follow up with the
Or
Mork.
am I better off?
And so far, the
going
Mork
in and
not
not
shown that he's not really here to play
The
today.
Mork and I is
free-
not doing
the free blade,
anything, so it doesn't
detachment that
matter.
came out has
Yeah,
4
he
He might have just
explosions.
killed himself.
I go in,
Try and tank
get
shot.
myself
Right,
Yeah.
shoot them again
and
just
blow
die.
up. There are so many more ways to engineer some interesting interactions there.
It moved.
So
the
it looks like the
Brutalis
Brutalis is
moved. It had to
actually
move. It moved
eyeing up
backwards
the
to fight the
Mega
boy,
Dub.
the weird
So
boy.
that's
So
another
that's some far back
perfectly
there.
decent target for it.
So we
Brutalis
got-
Dreadnought is lots
we-
of attacks.
To the captain and some intercessors.
Paul literally said, I'm not going to
These
go for
guys
the
right
Morkanaut because I can trust it's going to kill itself. It's going to take its care of its own.
the
It's going to solve itself.
The ancient, the
Definitely
captain.
self Eddie
Yeah,
Everett
yeah.
plus.
Yeah.
I don't need to do
He's
anything.
also got
over
that
there.
Lancer as well,
He
which
does,
is
yeah.
eyeing up the Morkanaut. So
Second power with
the
captain
hope
and
that the
probably
Lancer, after
Soul
failing
Librarian.
to do anything last turn, is juice him luck.
And the Morkanaut's
Yeah,
towing
some
on this terrain
librarian.
feature.
We're gonna see what those
Brutalis has
Desolation
line as
Squad does to
well.
the Orc
So you
boys.
shoot the Lancer first.
If Orc
see
boys
what you
can
have,
do that, what's the
because, of course,
Desolation Squad's
the
profile
ballistas
right
has
now?
duality of purpose. It can go for the Mega
Like
Dogs, or
they're-
it can go for the
They're offensive.
So he does have options there, and I like this choice for the Brutalis because the mortal wounds, like I said, has a great upside against a very durable chassis.
Alright, so we
on
got
the,
the
Mega
super
Dogs.
truck
Yeah, so
rocket.
the way the
For the
Brutalis
infantry
works is
boys,
when it charges
and
into
how many
the
boys
you
can
roll a
get kicked
dice,
out,
and
yeah.
then you get either
What
D3
strength
or
is it?
D3 plus 3
5?
mortal wounds.
So
Really good.
It looks
They
like
got
string
the
five.
rocket
That's not
launcher
distracting,
and
so
the
if you wanted to,
Vanguard
you could
launcher.
Uh-huh.
So
also
it's
crush
minus
impact.
1/2 damage.
So
You
you
can only get
do
one
a whole
Vanguard, right?
bucket of mortal wounds
Absolutely.
before you get to
I think
swing.
it's the pick.
Yeah,
When it swings
just
into
one
combat,
those
I
rocket
think the
launcher.
version we're looking at here
Those are
has
strength 5.
talons.
So that means that
um,
T6 boys might be able to
which,
endure some of that.
It doesn't really matter which one you've got actually, because
Yeah,
the
they're
Mega
both good.
Knobs,
They're both
you're
good Mega
basically
Knobs,
just
yeah.
looking for
Yeah,
rerolls
you have
to
Pick
wound.
either the
Yes,
frag or the crag.
So it's a really
Got the
solid,
frag.
powerful.
It's T6 plus
Here we go.
Mega
1.
Knobs.
Lancer shooting into the
Heavy,
Morkanaut, hitting on
5-0.
Could
both
be a big one.
walls. Rerolling one of them.
He's already
Of
missed
course.
one. It's not a great start.
It is a miss, unfortunately. Of course, has a built-in reroll to hit.
I'm thinking the Brutalis are gonna kill the boys though.
That is a wound.
One wound through. It
Dreadnought.
only needs one potentially.
5 up,
Check
field
it out.
involved.
Shooting at the
from
Lancer?
The Morkanaut
Failed it.
doesn't make it. D6 plus 3
Six
damage.
There you go, I was
I
gonna
Reroll.
one-shot him.
will do it.
That is a 2. He's going to re-roll it.
This is the Lancer
Come on, roll
firing
one.
into
6
Oh,
damage.
It's not
yeah.
quite enough. It's
So
not
he's
quite
still
enough.
alive.
Wounds remaining there. That is pretty
5 wounds
unforgettable
left,
now, though.
boys.
And
He
now the
gets
rest
one
of
more
the
turn of
shots from
almost doing
Lancer will
something.
be going into the boys. So a couple of storm bolts.
He is respectable to see like 5. So he could also stop this from taking. And the battle wagons up.
Icarus,
in the
rocket
eight.
pod as well.
So I'm liking this position. Let's go, Adrian.
shots here. He's going to wear down on this boys unit, and hopefully, in his mind, mean that his Redemptor survives the battle. What an absolute legend that Redemptor would be.
Yeah, I mean, the Redemptor's not shooting this turn. I don't think.
No,
I don't think there's a mechanism.
Yeah, these knights you can't really
this version of the Space Marine army to fall back and shoot.
They're
There are
letting them
some
bring
versions of
guys.
Space Marines.
I feel like GW at this point should be
you have a
supplying
mechanism.
GW and Adrian's using the actual ones that GW wants to promote.
But he's just trying to keep it alive, right? Just
Yeah,
like
Adrian's you can
toy,
see.
because there's the valuable plasma cannon that's on that dreadnought is now going to be potentially very important.
Yes, once again risking hazardous though, which will be an interesting thing for him to negotiate in addition.
I don't think I would risk it at this point. It depends, right? If it's the last turn and he's not an objective, it doesn't necessarily matter. I think the one to watch here, exactly as you were saying, is the Brutalis Dreadnought and that big unit of interceptors. The interceptors are phenomenal amounts of firepower coming out of them.
Yeah, 40 shots plus
nice
2 grenade
putting like
launchers
meltas or
that are
something
having
towards
plus
the
one wound
mark,
from
right?
potentially if they shoot into Gazgul, they're going to be hitting on.
All right, everybody, yeah, let's get some WAAAGHs in
rolling,
chat. Send that WAAAGH energy to Adrian right here.
everything that he spends
Oh, right, because right now it's about him taking them invulns and them feel no pains. If he can swing enough on these saves, it's going to put a real issue.
It should
in
be
Paul's
somewhere in the
plans
region of 25 to 30 wounds.
remove
of
enough
AP
boards
wounds
before
on them,
endgame to
which means
score.
if he's on a 3+ save, he's losing a third.
There we go. Whoa, we're getting some boys in chat appearing. That's what I'm talking about. There's another one.
That's before the captain, the ancient, and
the
grenade launches take effect.
So we're getting a good amount.
So I'm maybe just running through this in my head. That sounds pretty good.
That's what we want to see. Come on, Adrian. Adrian's been doing an excellent job.
Always. It's a long-term Samurai Sentinels player.
Now, Overwatch from the Tank Busters.
Yeah, the melter gun on that Brutalis as well. Also
Giving them
into the
rapid fire enhancement directly. Awesome.
Yeah. So we were saying before, like the potential firing arcs of some of these units is now much increased based on what you might have expected from previous editions.
And you don't get one, Mr. Wee man down there in the chat.
Firing basically across the battlefield, across that large piece
Need
of
a green name. Adam McFarlane. That's the type of Ork boy.
He has unfortunately got cover on the entire Morkanaut, so the 3 fails.
Hey, listen to the Morkanaut.
Does not put a hit so it does not put a wound on the Morkanaut. Here's just the chest Stormbolter doing some miscellaneous fire.
Fails. The Morganaut's still alive.
Let's go for endgame. And you have Gaz, and that's not terrible.
The ballistas there, top left of the battlefield into the very large Morkanaut at the bottom, and because both of those were putting their toe into the terrain, they were able to basically see through shoot at each other. So you've got quite a long potential shot from them. But he'll be disappointed not to do any wounds with that, because the other option for that ballistas was to put it into the Meganobs that we're talking about.
They're trying to decide what resources he even has left, because he's already popped off several units and doing barely anything to the Orks.
He rolled a 3 to hit with the missile, which would have hit the knobs, Meganobs, because they're not entirely within cover. He's got 2 guy models out the front. You must have every model in the unit in the cover, within the dents, in order to gain.
So every cover needs, every unit in the model needs to
in which case
cover for
killing
it to have
yourself,
cover.
out of cover until you are into cover. Of course, with activations being used to your advantage. So yeah, that would both those would have hit, and the 2 would have wounded from the last cannon that failed to wound. So yeah, he aimed high and fell short, unfortunately.
Lancer shot the boys, and
exactly like
Morks,
like
nothing.
Rocket pod.
Talus did some shooting.
Well done, sir.
So
one Meganob down.
What was this? This from the Brutalis.
You roll on the side or something?
Brutalis, I'm a huge fan of multi-meltings. I think at the moment, the Brutalis there.
Oh shoot, we got a channel member, Adam McFarland, the newest knob. Oh, our boys are spawning all day today, dude. We have a whole new mob just appeared today on screen. So thank you guys for who joined us. I need a lot of good options for people to watch.
Meganobs don't come with an innate vulnerable save.
Let's see if the Morganaut deals damage. So thank you, Adam. Make sure you say something. Let's try this out.
On this turn because of the WAAAGH. But so they'll be a little bit more durable.
You gotta say WAAAGH then now that you're green.
Yeah, they don't have the 4-up invulnerable save that Terminators, the kind of equivalent in the Space Marine Army, enjoy.
On Brutalis, shooting Gaz's unit
as well, but I don't think they're quite as terrifying. I wonder if they're going into the Orks.
Intercessors are going now.
A bunch of WAAAGHs.
Here we go.
WAAAGHs with the first accent. What is he gonna sound like?
Another Meganov.
Sound like Mario.
That are just off screen to the right, out of line of sight.
So Paul has been looking forward to this particular since we started talking about this.
Morkanaut is doing.
We're now seeing that big
more damage to the Orks
left of the battlefield, firing into the Meganobs. The things to watch here are that Meganob unit not.
I still see a lot of Orks on screen for half the shooting phase being done.
Because we don't have any Blood Angels.
I don't think the Desolation squad shot yet though.
No, it has everything's shot done.
So that's pretty powerful.
Desolation at the Marine, the boys.
AP1. Paul's kind of consideration here is that AP1 now is far more useful.
They're talking about how maybe Paul should just focus fired on the Meganobs.
No way of
having cover.
He spent for lethal and sustain for one of the Ceramic Sentinel abilities, also because he's entrenched.
Well, this is what we talked about at the beginning of the game. trying to dislodge.
Lethal sustain.
This will be talking about the beginning of the game.
All the
Trying to dislodge
rules.
gas
Open
and the
your,
morph at the
core
same time
rulebook
with the
to the
WAAAGH.
special rules page.
It's going
We'll
to be a
have
huge
all
issue,
rules
and it is.
in this
Every when it's
room.
happening, and it's happened so late in the
Selling
game.
me
He
on
doesn't
this.
have
This is
as
just the
many
first series.
prime targets to
This
hit him
is
like the
the,
Terminators.
The
that
most
want to
battle
use,
line,
or the
all
least
battle line space units,
that could
and
help
you're going
kill
to see
some
now
boys.
if they can, with all of their buffs
Yeah, you've talked
activated
about that.
and Captain present,
Having
what they can do to
Yes.
arguably the best unit.
less bring out the same
Orks
turn.
army.
Yeah.
For sure.
I think what we might
And there's
see
battle
is
wagons,
a lot of those
which you weren't
battle
expecting.
wagons are
Mhm.
still standing.
Battle wagon just sitting back there
And then
scoring
you're
and
gonna
just
have
saying, no, you're not going to kill me. I'm good OC, and I'll
Passive
charge you if I
personal
have
joy
to.
of trying to kill the space.
Yeah, and personally, Gaz
Forwards
takes
rolling
so
ones. He
much
did not spend the 4
firepower.
rolls to wound here.
If I was in
That
this
is
position, just
interesting.
because
I
of the
see
experience I
different
have
rules.
facing
No,
you
you
with
cannot,
Gaz,
because you
yeah,
only use a one
that's
strap
about
per
strap
unit
per unit
per
phase.
phase. It came up
Especially
people,
with
and he
not
decided
having
lethal
you
sustain
covered.
was the better
Yeah,
activation.
So
if
we're
I
seeing this
if Gaz even has one boy body
So
boy
he decided that was better.
boy left
Interesting.
with him, he's in a great position
I
because
assumed
he
he would
gets
go
all
to
his
rerolls,
buffs
but the lethal
offensively, which
sustain,
means he's
that
still
is
killing
big.
everything.
That gives him the explosion potential.
Oh, we found the French one.
So to speak.
Whoa, wee.
Big old bucket of saves to come.
But is this a huge amount?
You
of
can
shots
see
in
the
space?
Space Marines
I
are
don't ever
just
see
throwing
the
a
Space
red
Marines
dice
roll
right
this
now
many
to
dice in a
boys.
single turn.
Maybe the repulsive
It looks like
execution.
intercessors
maybe.
are
There's
shooting
a-
Gaz.
there's
There's
a
so
lot
many
of
guns.
guns.
So
Or
many
There's a lot of
guns.
guns.
But it
That's
does
not
actually no,
gonna
it
be-
doesn't have 40 shots. Someone in the chat's doing the math right now for me.
You need a Mm-hmm.
5 back in for sustained. So he got 5 lethal sustained on the first volley. He's got 5 lethal sustained on the second.
You do this
I
twice.
think he's
It's a lot of shot.
10
It
after
does.
this as well.
But
So
you
the
generally you
basic
need
unit's gonna
super
get
growth
40
as well
shots
because
because
you
of
need
the way
plus
that
1 to
they're,
wounds. You're winning on
exploding,
4s,
basically.
and then the
You end
rerolls.
up with more hits than you
I
start
assume
with,
Gaz is
because
using
each
it.
one of those 6s to hit
Don't see the
generates a
chance.
He hasn't been
new
using
roll.
that.
Also, each one
He
of
hasn't
the
been
6s to
very
hit
clear where he's putting it.
bypasses
Yeah.
with their initial hit the wound roll. So
Yeah.
I'll look again,
we
see
are
if I
going to see
find
a
very
lot
channels.
of armor saves on these Mega Knobs.
So already putting 10 saves on the Mega Knobs.
So 10 saves so far into the
Which
Mega
is
Knobs.
not something you would have said was likely
Taking
in
3
the
up
previous
saves.
edition. To a unit that
So like
is, you know,
Mega Knobs,
toughness
Ten
6.
saves so far.
at best.
11 more saves.
I'm thinking after all the
So
saves
we're
we
going
go
to
up.
see a big
3
old
Mega Knobs.
Here
handful
we
of
go.
Ork saves here. We're looking for 1s and 2s.
Worst
1s
case
and 2s
scenario.
is a wound. Each one of those Mega Knobs has got 3 wounds each. It looks like a good save on initial read.
I can see 9, I believe. So that'll be 3 Mega Knobs.
And that's
dead.
2 Mega Knobs. Obviously, there's
Am I
Funeral
making
Pain.
this
So that's
correct?
2 Mega Knobs,
Might be 1 short.
3 Mega Knobs exactly, but he needs
4,
Funeral
yes,
Pains.
I saw 9 fails. So that would be 3 Mega Knobs
Yeah,
down.
even talking about
So that is
both
the,
your rolls on
the
this one.
normal
Use
unit
Funeral
size
Pain.
of Mega Knobs removed. So you can take Mega Knobs in quite
All right,
competitively,
so only 2 Mega Knobs
generally,
die.
up to 6. So this is it would have already removed a small unit of Mega Knobs. Is now
Right.
getting
Yeah.
more hits
A
into
little more
it.
than
We've
we'd
also
want.
got
One would
the
probably be all right,
I
but
think.
there's
The captain, I think, has probably got a gun of some
Yeah.
sort as well. So that's the big one.
The captain and the banner now to come.
Captain and the banner both have relic bolt guns, effectively.
Yes.
So they're just firing into that unit as well.
Yeah, I don't know if this is
More
pre-recorded. I think it was
wounds
live.
stripped.
Lethal and sustains active these as well. 2 more wounds.
So Captain
Yeah,
shooting now.
Captain with relic
Here is the
shield.
captain. Heavy bolt pistol is what he's got. Heavy bolt pistol.
Ooh, another couple of saves failed there, just from the.
Oh,
Captain showing them
Captain
out.
did a little bit of damage there.
He
And
failed all
another Mega
3
Knob.
of the next saves from the ancient. The thrill pass, apologies, yeah. But these are 2 damage each.
Yep.
Does bring down another Mega Knob
Looks
there
like
with the
another Mega
ancient.
Knob.
So that's 3 down total.
So 3. That's what I called.
Heavy
and
bolt pistol from the
what
captain
happened?
to finish, and then it'll be
3
the
from the
grenade
whole
launches
sequence of
last one.
shooting. Mhm.
Yeah, so the captain actually the worst model at shooting in that whole unit.
Yes,
It's,
yes,
everybody else has
yeah.
got a dedicated weapon. He's only really brought his small arm.
Oh.
But that's mostly because he's carrying an enormous relic shield. So
Found another one.
Well,
2 damage.
what's his name? Did
Makes another one.
what's his name?
Yeah,
He
just
damaged
the
against
grenade
the
launch
ancient.
left, I believe.
Oh, there's another Mega Knob out. Let's see. That was the 3. Yeah, that's the 3.
Yeah, so the grenade launches will be last here. He's got a 2-win Mega Knob there. Might get to finish as well. Going for the solid shots.
So are
all
we
the
on four
dispersed
dead
theoretically.
so far? That's pretty solid shooting. there from the
Yes,
Space Marine
that is solid
intercessors.
shooting.
Hey,
I think we
man,
might be
I'll
sold.
take
I think
that.
Paul might have sold us.
2 Mega Knobs
Space
alive.
Space Marine
One dive.
intercessors led by a captain.
2 Mega Knobs on Gaz for a counter charge. I'm
Both the
cool.
moments for the reroll. 2 hits. Winning with +1 to win. It should be winning on 2s.
He got +1 to wound
With
here.
rerolling 1s for being entrenched. Just 1 into a 1 there. Neg 2, so going to a 4-up save. Oh, fails them both.
Mega Knob fell both his saves, boys.
Oh, sorry, he rolled. He
Okay.
failed both saves. He did roll 2, but didn't need to. D3 there. Only 1 will not take down another. It does take it down to 1 there.
So that was
Here's-
very good.
they were
shooting
just
there.
paying
So that
attention to the
has gone
shooting
from,
Make sure
low
somebody
zero
doesn't
effective
randomly
battle
die for no
to
reason or
effectively
survive.
Gaz and a couple
So
of dudes.
that that was
and since
really cheap. That was
right down
just
there.
Oath of Moment. and 1 free command point from the captain.
Nice,
So
2 Mega Knobs left. Is it overshooting?
4 and a bit Mega Knobs?
Yeah, and this is the Ceramite Sentinels. I believe that came from the Eye of
I want
Terror
2 Mega Knobs alive on the
expansions.
charge.
So that is a detachment.
If he
from
fully charges, which I don't know if he will.
2 Mega Knobs.
He hasn't
And,
killed
of course, one of those Mega Knobs
I
on
just
1 left. And now we've got we have the Librarian activating now.
Oh, Librarian.
He has hit there, and of course, beautiful time to talk about.
Into gas.
Tell us about the story here now.
Yeah,
this is big.
So Psychic, rather than being used to just be a keyword on a power, Psychic now effectively allows you to ignore modifiers.
Someone said, why would they make it live if the sucks is hard?
Innately, it's easier to ignore.
They're trying to get better at it, dude.
It's better than that.
Oh no!
On stuff that negates hit rolls.
He's failed all those saves, I think.
Well,
in combat.
Yeah, yeah. So if something like Fulgrim, who has an who is -1 to hit in combat all the time, you just
Okay.
ignore
He
it.
didn't-
Psychic attacks, which
did he
seems
overcharge?
appropriate against a Demon Prime.
Oh, the
He
Mega
did
Knob's
drop
gone.
another. He did drop
Now we're down
another
to
1, so
one
it's
and
1
gas.
Mega Knob and Gaz from a unit of 6 down to just 1 Mega Knob. Not bad at all.
So it's a all
I'm
this
impressed.
shooting?
Paul
Can they
Murphy,
do
you
this
have
help?
impressed
No.
me.
No.
They
Does Lee's
in
unit-
fact do the job.
Yeah. So that was
No,
one
it's
unit.
fine.
called
That's just
Broken
fine,
Intercessors,
whatever
led
strat
by
they're
the
using.
captain with the banner in the captain of the banner didn't
No
do
cover
a huge
anymore. That's a
amount
good point,
of
huh?
the captain
Even
allowing
for our
that
Mega
stuff
Knobs,
to
still
move to
seem much
0 to
softer.
So that's a great little combination there.
Oh my God! Paul
Um,
just rolled high enough with his
that's
charge
interesting.
that he's going to make
Okay.
Gaz.
Oh, we
He's
got a
gonna make
wall
it
from
Gaz.
Sweden.
Because usually
Brutalis
you would
made his
not
charge.
declare that.
Whoa,
You
from
would
Sweden!
declare
That's
going
our
into
boy
Gaz,
Bjorn.
going into the boys, because you
Yeah,
risk
that's not
failing
Bjorn because
and
of you.
getting negative.
Gaz
But
will
now
survive
Paul can
it.
just be like, "I'm charging."
So
he
this
rolls
is a
it.
cool fight.
This is huge.
This is a cool fight.
This might be game winning for Paul Murphy.
So the Brutalis Dreadnought, the
roll
first thing that
big
he's going to do after he's charged into first combat is he gets to do impact hits. Now that's a little bit swingy. Sometimes it does nothing. Sometimes it does 6 mortal wounds. If it does 6 mortal wounds, he's basically going to remove
They're
that.
responding to the
It's gonna
chat
be a
as
straight
if
fight between the
that was
Brutalis
live. Yeah,
and
they
the
are.
Gaskell.
Now, sorry. Now
A
the
bit
intercessors
more
are crossing
clear,
over and going for the
deeper
boys. Sorry,
primaries.
continue, mate.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely it. And what that's done, absolutely, because
Good question.
normally in the last edition you would have just sent the
I just got here. Can we
boys
start
to
over?
talk about it.
Yes.
Um,
You guys got here at a great
Squad
time.
leaders,
This is the game ending
Squad
position.
leaders,
We're going to see
my
who's
game
in the
is
better
to defeat
position right now.
the
It's
boys. So
turn
you've now got
4,
the squad of
on
Space
turn
Marines,
5,
squad
start
of
Orks,
boys,
and
the
then we'll
War
be able
Boss,
to kind of see
and the
what
Space Marine
happens at the
Captain
end.
from the new Armageddon box
Correct.
set having a
And
fight. This
I mean,
is
he
a
has
great
interrupt
He
here.
combat.
could not
He goes
have done
charging off.
any of this
And the boys
in
interrupt.
the previous thing because he wouldn't have
It's
been
not,
able
it's
to go
not
into
free.
Gaz.
It's just
And the
freebie
reason he
death.
charged the intercessors now is because Gaz
Yeah.
is in combat. Because otherwise Gaz would heroically eat the whole thing. This is all
So it's like,
wildly new.
and the
This
War
is so
Boss, we've seen what he
exciting,
did to
guys.
3 Erratic.
So because he didn't have to
no
declare a
different,
target for his
same
charge,
amount of,
because he
to kill
automatically
like
just
8
gone into the boys, no harm, no foul.
intercessors, and then the
He was able
boys
to high
actually
roll, get
finish
into
them off.
Gaz, which shuts down the heroic, which lets the intercessors who would not
What's
have
another?
charged
He's
at
like,
all
or just
otherwise.
unit? Oh, just
make
his
the
unit.
trek into the
All
boys.
right, boy, let's
And,
go. This is the interrupt we
oh
want to
my
see,
God, I was
right? We
excited.
want to see.
This is going to be a very
You can
cool
start with
combat as
Gaz,
well. Now, I
start with
would
the
not write
Brutalis
rules
into
out
Gaz, then the
of this
boys
position.
interrupt, the
So,
boys fight back,
that
the War Boss
Brutalis goes in. Brutalis
fights
is
the
very good at
captain, and all
killing
those
stuff.
guys fight
They're
each
very good
other,
at dishing out
and
pain.
then
Gaskell
ultimately
has
it's
an
down to
influence
just a
save. I
couple
think
characters
Makari's
trying to
still
clear
kicking
up all the
out
boys,
somewhere
and the
in the
boys
mix.
love the objective.
So I would imagine what
Stop
will
it. You
happen is
base
that
out
Mega
enough
will
of those
die,
intercessors
and
that they
then
don't
the
offset
mix
the
with
OC
either,
and those 2 Orks
Gaskell
and
or
battle
Gaskell, and
battle
Makari's
wagon
going, and they will
and the
all likely
Gorkanaut, I mean,
kill
and then you get to
The only
actually
thing that can happen is he high rolls the impact models, and then with crushing, he does the new tank shock, gets
power
rid of
claw
Makari.
from the
That's the only way he
paintball,
does
boy,
this.
and the
If
War
he's-
Boss.
if he's able
All
to
of that
kill
is
that
super
Mega Knob with the
devastating
crushing
the
impact,
intercessors,
and
and then
then
the boys
use
can drag
the
down
new
with
version
another
of tank
2
shock,
with their choppers.
to get rid of Makari,
All you need is
then
So
he can get Gaz. Then he can
let's
get
go, I'm
Gaz with
pumped.
the actual attacks of the Brutalis. Will he see it with the other command points?
I think
to do
Gaz
it?
still has an innate 4-up.
He
so it
does.
Still
It's
wouldn't be a
unlikely.
done
It's
deal.
unlikely,
Yeah.
but that's giving himself the opportunity.
And the
So
Brutalis
for
has
the
to
opportunity.
Makari.
and he
He can
sees
kill
it.
Gaz.
He
Did.
sees it.
Right?
That was so.
So he has to
good,
punch
guys.
out the
I
Mega
really
Knob,
enjoyed that at home.
Which the other
Makari.
fight,
So
I know
even
we
if
talked about Gaskell
it
a lot,
goes his way,
the
he
other
kills
fight
Mega
is
Knob
also
and
very
whatever.
cool.
Gaz
You've
might
got
just
the captain in the
see
mix
the
there,
Brutalis anyway.
War Boss in the mix there.
He'd be like,
It's got a-
That's the
40k scene,
iconic. That's the
right?
iconic Armageddon fight. Look at this on screen. Hopefully
He said,
you're
"Look,
excited as
huh?
well.
If you're
That is
Paul,
a
you
cool
kind of have
visual. It's pretty much the that's
You've
pretty much.
even got the
Yes,
banner
you
there.
have
Trying to
to
get to the middle of the
as
battlefield to
well.
plant the banner in the middle of the building.
Yeah,
This
you
is-
all
this is
has to
pretty
fight
much
the boys
intro,
first if he wants a chance to
cinematic
win
we
this.
had at the start of the
It's like we
game.
planned the whole thing.
We didn't plan
Use
any
where
of
the
this,
feel
by
no
the way.
painful help.
We didn't give them any instruction how to play this game. We said just deploy
And if you're
and then
T6,
wait for our go before you roll for turn one.
maybe
That's
winning you
literally
all on fives,
That's
including
that. This is just
captain.
two people enjoying the new version of 40k.
So they're both good options.
So here we go. The Brutalis
and if the boys
models,
survive at all, then you regrow them with the
Dreadnought
paint.
and Gaz to come.
Where's Makari? I don't see him. Yeah, I don't see Makari either.
the players are just deciding at the moment.
Maybe Makari's not here anymore. Makari's
very
not here.
well
Going to be
Yes.
very important.
Agreed.
Because I think
I haven't heard anything about
command
Makari.
points enough
I
to
could
burn
have sworn I've seen
Did you
people
say he
playing
failed the models on the charge with the
I could be
Brutalis? Oh, roll the
That
1.
is
Okay.
okay. So we're just hearing from the battlefield. This might be quite a significant.
Yes.
Quite significant is that.
Yeah, so the mortals from the Brutalis, he jumped ahead there. He thought he was going to do it afterwards for some reason. Yeah, he's going to jump in and do the mortals on the
I think he's
Brutalis.
starting to do it. Okay,
He
cool.
did. He was too
prompted him.
excited. He got lost in the sauce.
Someone's making
Happens to the
hang on.
best of us.
Oh,
He just remembered it there.
he forgot to
Is it
do the
4
more
there?
from the brutality.
Oh, okay. So he was starting to roll his charges. I mean, his punches.
So
He had to
we'll
do
need
his
to
mortal
make
for
a
the
feel no
brutality
pain
first.
to save this Meganob.
That could kill Meganon.
Ooh, 1 wound remaining.
The Meganob is
Oh, he made it feel.
still. Had he taken a wound
Still
already?
alive. No, the other one was finished.
Sure,
off.
yeah, cool.
I would like to see him do crushing impact as well. If you
Right,
remember, just
Meganab.
to try and finish that and get. It's more that he gets.
That could be enough
to
to keep Gaz alive.
Yeah, because Makari is a very weird little.
What I'm interested is
basically the way he
Gaz
works
on
is
this
he
terrain?
tags along with
And
Gaz.
is that count or
Horrible save.
Correct.
His
for
stats
fake?
are otherwise
Great
awful.
shot.
Oh,
Great shot.
Yeah.
But, there we go. That is
How much
an
else does
absolute
Gaz have?
brawl
3.
in the middle of the battlefield there. I
So
do
side
think the
with
Gaz
the-
doesn't come out on top of that one.
There's no dread on it.
He should.
If
With
it's
the
still alive,
blade
yeah.
wounds, he absolutely should.
So he's fighting with the Brutalis first?
Yeah.
That is 4 wounds on Gaz
Okay.
as a unit. The Meganob up first, and the group is going to start. Yeah. Now here's the power, because it goes Meganob, Makari, and then he has to roll them all at the same time.
So Adam said there's a Makari in there.
Makari went down, but because he didn't, the Meganob survives.
Gaskell and Makari are very good in the new
Dude,
edition.
they are so
They're
good.
very good. And I
Yes,
think
it's
arguably as
worse.
well, more useful now in
Mm.
something like a boys or a knobs unit.
Yeah.
Whereas previously you always put him in mega knobs, and he's still great in mega knobs.
No,
because
he
of
didn't.
the wound allocation
Mm.
works. Actually, I think there's some play in putting him in other
He
units.
said he's next to the Meganobs. You can see Makari in there. Yeah.
Makari just
Chad was
becomes
asking and
the
saying they
true
couldn't see
stopgap
Makari.
for
So I'm just
Gaz.
saying.
For probably a
Yeah.
single activation. when you
Multiple
put the next activation
confirmations.
in,
He's still there. He's right
you'll
here.
probably get him after that, but that puts the pressure on your opponent to make
That's
some
right.
things happen.
He just turned sideways.
That's cool. So we have seen all of the mega knobs now killed. That's a
Destroyed.
combination between mostly the intercessors and then the
Right there. Thank you, Chad.
Brutalis Dreadnought coming in to finish the job, but not enough to put any wounds on.
You weren't blind. He was just, he's right here. Makari's this little base right here.
Yes.
That's
I'm
Makari.
seeing an interrupt.
Interrupt has occurred.
All right, interrupt. This is what we're
And the
talking
boys
about.
are
So
gonna
strategically,
interrupt
in reality,
into the
boys,
intercessors.
which is hard to
This
say,
is gonna
right?
be big
Everything's
because
easier in
Cleave is
hindsight.
coming up now here
This
too.
Angels
the
might have been
War
better
Boss
off fighting with
currently
boys
sitting
first,
on
trying to clear them,
12
but because of
attacks.
5-up invul
because
and
this
find
is
a
an
penalty, it was
undamaged
scary.
unit of intercessors.
But
He gets
here,
cleave
I can see
2
the
attacks for
boys
every,
just
for having 10
cleaving
unit,
through all of these
um,
guys.
and this is 2
I'm really
damage.
hoping they do.
Mm,
And they still have Makari's lethal.
absolutely terrifying stuff here. Saving his command point use here now as
Surprised
well.
he could
Paul. He
reroll
had the option to try and make it a
wounds,
little more defensible on his end, but instead he's opted to not use any defensive strats and instead go for the offense for the lethal.
I'm not
hit
sure.
So the Space Marine did not
I'm
use
not
any
sure
I'm not
defensive.
sure that was the
I'm not sure he knew about this War Boss's activation, how terrifying it is.
Yeah. Oh my
Hey,
goodness.
Intercessor's dead.
Oh my
Oh my
word.
god. That is
So,
Yeah,
the
I think Paul
Intercessors
didn't
charged in
understand
there,
how
the
this was
Space Marine
going to
Captain
play out. He
feeling
thought
very
Battle
confident.
Line was
I
like
think
Battle
he would
Line.
have fancied their
No,
chances if
no.
they went
This is
first.
not Battle Line on Battle Line. This is
I-
Orks versus
they
everyone's
did.
Battle Line. They're
I
winning.
still don't
almost
disfancy
everyone,
their
I think.
chances.
I guess
And that
he
just was
forgot his dustle.
what an activation.
You almost
That's
forgot. Yeah, dude. How'd you forget that?
terrifying.
Is that the whole
And
unit?
here's the
You
big
rolled them all
chopper
that
from the
fast?
mob,
I was like, I think
and
he's
then the
rolling,
boys
dude.
hitting on twos
I
here
think that was just like
So
boys
3
or
hits.
something, or the
Yeah.
War Boss.
and winning on twos
Knob
because of
and
the
then the
wire
boys.
turn, and it's a big
Well,
chopper.
it should be
the
4
War Boss.
attacks if it's the
That
knobs.
is
I don't know why. It's
three AP1s now. He's got
Maybe these are the
2
ones
intercessors
on top.
remaining, so he's going to be doing this in.
All
Saved
the
them
saves
all.
so far.
Made them
Right,
all.
So the War Boss has done the work so far.
Yeah.
We've still got the boys to swing. We've still got the boys to swing.
Boys are still swinging.
Obviously,
Boys are
they're
still swinging.
not
War
as
Boss
scary
killed all those
as
intercessors.
the
by
War Boss leader in
Mm.
1 damage each, so you need to get 2 of those wounds.
The
through
knob, I
to
think,
take
has
out
doesn't have the
Space
power
Marine.
call. He has the
The
back.
heavy lifting
So that's where you just
It's
whipped
done
it.
done by the War
Yeah.
Boss.
Does
That
the
was
Team
an
Boy punch yet?
atypically large
He has
number of
4
Space
power
Marines
calls.
to die.
That's
I would
so
say
much.
it's fair saying. On the
Killed 8.
yeah, I guess on the odds you'd be looking for those 12 attacks.
Yeah.
You'd probably expect
5 or
maybe
6.
5 or 6. Yeah, in that kind of ballpark.
Yeah, he said I look
Armageddon
away,
comes into
so
the
these
mix, goes
Marines,
down by
but
a little
yeah,
bit, probably about then comes 3 or 4
War Boss
range,
cleaves
still
through
not
like
bad
8
at all,
intercessors,
guys.
which I think is exactly what I counted out.
Lethals coming out here.
I think maybe the intercessors were so full of their own
Yeah.
brilliantness after that ramification that they were like, we can kill anything.
We got this.
got
It's
this.
very
Oh,
blood.
no, we
It's
haven't.
very blood angels of them.
Yes.
7 saves here at AP1 on the choppers.
Okay, these
Yeah,
are choppers.
Orcs,
Hopefully, there's
basic
those
Orcs
2 more
still very
intercessors.
scary,
Maybe
but
just
I mean, you've
1.
also got a pain boy in the mix there, I think, as well, haven't you?
He does.
So
think just
he's
1.
got
Oh, it
some
could be
fun
2.
little combat attacks. He's not the
Yeah.
powerhouse combat combat thing.
Yeah.
Adrian has chosen to do the Erde
Nice,
syringe last because on a critical wound on the Erde syringe, which is a 4+ against infantry, it does D6 mortal wounds, and he's hoping to clear out
syringe
enough.
the captain.
Yes, he's hoping to Erde syringe the captain.
Because he gets the dirty syringe.
Comes the Doc's tools. So everything else is done. We have one intercessor. Oh, sorry, that was only half the boys. Apologies. We have one intercessor left, the Ancient and the Captain.
Oh, that
was only half the boys. Whoa! That was awesome. Oh, that was great.
Adam, he wants to try and get that Urti syringe.
Like, no, dude. That was just half the
That would be a
boys.
pretty inglorious way to die, right? If you're a space marine captain,
You're not rolling sixes?
make it several hundred years through battle and then to be killed by
all right,
angry fungus.
Angry fungus with a needle. With a needle, yeah.
Ancient probably only has what, 4 wounds.
So it's going intercessors into the Captain, I believe, because he has a 2-up save on the Captain.
Bam.
So when you take hits now, if you've got a unit with multiple characters in, you need to declare before you roll your saves what order they're going to be applied. So that was what was happening. Just then, Paul was saying, I'm going to take intercessors, then banner, then captain. So you normally you would go, which one do I want to survive the most? And you would make that one take the hits the last.
And the pain boys done
The
that?
Doc's tools.
The Doc's tools
Sorry,
are
apologies, I did get it wrong. He is
Yeah.
going on the Ancient second. So the Ancient has taken a couple of wounds now.
So we've
Two
lost the
lethals.
intercessor unit.
Yeah.
The intercessor unit have all gone down there to a combination of mostly the war boss,
Power
and then the
call,
boys
okay.
managed to drag the last 3 down as well and do some wounds onto the banner.
Takes
then
down the banner. And
The boys with the interrupt just killed the entire brick on him. You're just captain left. Here's dirty syringe.
Can kill the captain
4.
with this attack. It's unlikely.
It'll be a 4 up here. He got the 6.
It's a normal save. It's a normal armor save from the captain.
Oh, you got the 6?
Made it.
Okay, he has made. He has
He's
made the
good.
save.
And now it's a D6.
I mean, that was just the cherry. I mean,
it's gone through. It's gone through.
that's
5.
10 intercessors and the
Did he just one-shot him?
Yep.
Does the shield give him a 6th, or is it?
He just
Let's have a look at
I
that
think the
data sheet.
captain might have 6 wounds.
I think he has 6.
Oh yeah. The shield gives him I
Is he
think
going
more
to use a
wounds.
command point?
Is he got a CP?
Adrian, you did a great job, dude. Adrian played that out
there.
perfectly, dude. War boss
Adrian-
boys, and then Pain Boy comes at the end.
Oh, you
Dirty
can't use it.
syringe,
Okay,
tries
it's
to
not
finish
enough.
it.
It's just
Okay,
D6
so you can.
Of course, yeah, actually, it's not a
Okay,
damage
good.
roll.
Give some
It's-
walls
it's
and
not
some
on the
W's in
profile,
chat
so
for
it's not
Adrian,
on the
dude.
profile.
Let's
Wow.
go. You might
Okay,
have
How
so-
epic is
secured the
that?
W
So
right
absolutely
there.
nowhere. This is
So you did the
Pain Boy.
anti
What
4
we've just
plus
seen was
syringe
the war boss
precision.
cleave
You guys
through the
know that's
Space
what that whole
Squad.
sequence was.
The rest of the squad dragged down by the
With
Orks and
5
Banner Bear, and the
mortal
Pain Boy
wounds
stepped up to
on
administer a
the
lethal
captain.
injection.
The captain
to
with
the
one
Space
wound.
Captain. He's got his
You have
top
Gaz
wounds,
about to
that's
punch
pretty
back the
decent, right? That's like
Brutalis.
basically
See how
power
that
claw
goes. And then
equivalent
you
kind of
still have all
combat.
the other
And
orcs
then
on the
Urti
field. The
syringe
banner's
is the
still
one that he
alive.
managed to get through there on the captain, which basically, if you manage to get a
Adrian's
wound
doing it.
through,
Let's go.
um,
Orcs making their
doesn't
appearance.
have any AP.
It's not for sure yet,
you
but
can do decent
looking
mortal
pretty good.
wounds to the opponent.
This
Which
may
he
have
manages to do.
that-
The captain is now regretting his life choices,
Yes,
having charged that unit of Orcs. Although he looks fantastic.
he
So
does.
there
He's
is
gonna
that.
look
Spectacular.
fantastic as a part of
Taking
this
8
dude's
damage
banner
on
pole.
the
Right, we're about to take his helmet off and
Gaz.
put him on the
Should
back of
attack
that
the
War Boss
captain
banner.
Next, I
Adrian got to
believe.
repaint one of
But
those
the captain's
helmets
still
to
coming
be
out.
a Blood Angel one after this game.
8 damage.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think
That
the
War
Acrylic
Boss is
just
going crazy, dude.
back. I
War
thought
Boss is
Paul
sounds
was in
sick.
pole position after
The
taking
new War
those 2
Boss is
charges.
sick,
I
dude.
think
This
he
Choppa,
probably should have gone for the
perfect
lead
at killing
first.
elite
I don't
infantry
think
almost.
Orks was ever going to kill Gaz.
That's awesome.
No, it wasn't.
Boy
Yeah, but
looks
if
sick.
it,
Look at that
yeah, I
face.
suppose he was worried about the Brutalis
awesome.
plus and Mega Knight. But you're absolutely
New
correct.
orc
I do
models.
think you are right. He should have started with
That
the
probably
Intercessors
looks a
first.
lot. Don't like that
In
this
the-
gun has a
in the
little
basic intercessor,
measly
it's
little
quite
chopper,
good
to be
for-
honest.
Yeah, 3 attacks.
Is the
each,
knob?
Yeah.
So I definitely want the
the
chopper to
captain
get something that makes him more
Yeah, even
devastating
with
because I like the
precision,
knob
essentially.
Yeah,
alongside
correct.
of
He's
him
definitely
being
Warboss, because
used to
Warboss
look
is the
at.
only one that's
But
going to really take
know,
the
if he's not, it's
levels out
fine
of this.
too.
Could have done it for free as well with the captain
think-
ability.
Potentially though, just
that was
didn't
sick.
really
And we
appreciate
called it
the
too. We
game.
said he
He
has
also
to
rolled
fight
incredibly well.
Oh,
with
he
the
was
Blood
a
Angels
maniac.
first
Paul might
into
have
the
been going,
boys.
okay,
That's so that he
again,
doesn't
the
get
Warboss is
one
gonna
shot.
swing. He'll kill 4 space.
But the thing is, if
Did
you
just
let
roll-
Gaz
did you
fight
just
the
roll 5
Brutalis
ones?
while Gaz
6
is
ones.
leading the
He just rolled
Megatons,
6 ones to wound. He
then
with all his
he's
attacks,
gonna
rolled
just one shot
only
your
ones.
Brutalis.
He is
Just wait.
shook, ladies and gentlemen.
6
Absolutely
wounds.
shook by the interrupt.
Ooh.
Yeah, if
The
you went-
Warboss has put fear
Out,
into
he's
those
just-
that
he's
shall know no
terrified.
fear.
He's,
That
he
one,
knows
that's
he's
actually the one next to
That's
that, so
game.
the only number he could
That's-
get.
Oh, I mean, not really, but this is
Oh,
So,
great way
maybe
for
guys
not
have
the
been
best
called.
showcase
Dude,
of the
shout out
Space
to
Marine captain's
Adrian.
combat,
If he does a video on this,
ability.
But a real one.
like,
But
I'm
yes,
in,
a
so
true
it's
game of
awesome
Warhammer
stuff.
40,000. And in
It
true
was a
Warhammer 40,000
pleasure to
style,
watch him try
sometimes
pilot
it's
this
all
stuff
one
right
to
now.
one.
The
So-
dice
so
are in
look,
fact dice.
after he
and
saw all
I
the
think
boys go down.
unfortunately,
He
crashing
thought-
a
he thought
little bit.
They charged the boys, and the boys were like, "No, we were waiting for this. Come
If
get it."
he had,
Come
like,
get
most of
some.
the intercessors
Right?
alive right now,
That's one of my
I
favorite parts
think
of
he
Orks.
trucks a along in this game.
All you needed really was the dreadnought to not die.
Yeah.
To Gaz just
They stay, so then he would still get it, but he's only lethal 5+. He still gets +1 to wound, +1 to hit into the Brutalis, and he's doing on 4 wounds. Sounds right.
Well,
He's
now
not sustaining this one.
Well,
What I was asking guys is, does he have enough
you do
OC
that
on here?
every time, people at home, every time.
Having said that, though,
because this enemy's not on there, and the
still
Brutalis
wouldn't
not on
work. Still wouldn't work. So never mind. But that's the game, right? That's what you play. You roll the dice, and sometimes the game decides different.
So we're going into the last round of the game
right here.
now. We'll get our
it looks like right here, Gaz is on the terrain. Let me know
give you guys a
if I'm tripping, but that looks like a big old arrow of Gaz touching that.
So this is Orks. Yeah, so Orks currently quite high up on the
Yes, that's a great job with the 10 and a 4 and 8
done
here.
an excellent job, not really made mistakes as such.
I thought he had more than an 8, to be honest.
A couple of critical dice failures is
I thought
from Paul's side.
He had that terrain up here, if they're not counting it, the top one, the enemy control, his own.
A lot better than I thought on the new missions, because they had a couple of practice games, and that's it.
He's on 4.
So
Paul did take burden of trust and send
at
around
least.
a percent around.
He's at 3 at least.
Area denial.
He's on all the 3 biggest no man's land terrains. He owns all 3. Unless they're not seeing gases on there and no one knows.
That was the play, right? Like at some point you have to
win
go
more.
for
I
a
think
little
he won
objective.
anyway.
What tools have I got? I got a Brutalis Dreadnought. I've got an Intercessor unit. What I want to do is rapid fire the Intercessors, charge the Brutalis. Exactly what he did. But they
did the most basic Space Marine 1-2 combo, and they forget that Orks are one of those armies that will interrupt further you with their battle line, even if you charge them, right? The difference is that you're playing against World Eaters. If he charged World Eaters, all those Zerkers would be showing 4, so it wouldn't matter. There would be a chance that they could tank that.
Whole unit. So when the Meganauts go down and the whole unit goes to half, not below half, they will start taking battle shocks. So Gazgul,
where we at? Last turn. Yep, last turn.
In the previous edition.
Okay.
Yeah. So and also
round 5, boys.
At half, not below half strength of people at home.
Well, Def Combo is going to move up.
For things like
exactly right. So, in addition to vehicles at half health,
we're going to have these boys at that thing.
Stuff. I mean, I've been great and so happy when my knights stay at like 13 instead of going down to 12 on the 26.
This guy, boys, we can charge up on this dude.
Almost certainly one of the rules I will forget immediately.
Me too. Me too. Because usually when you got down to a single character, it was considered to be a disjointed unit. Now you did the bodyguard unit was gone.
Oh, we forgot. This guy's finally gonna go kill something. Did more damage to himself.
Will we see Morkanaut kill himself on hazard? Surely,
like Adrian played up 1 wound guy. Like, I'm gonna give you the easiest target.
How many wounds left?
5
wounds left. 5 wounds left on the Morkanaut.
So Paul Murphy does get to reapply Otomoma right now in the start of this battle.
No, I think it's flat.
So no, apologies, he doesn't. But that is still on Gazgul. We don't get any rolls on Overwatch.
We didn't see a roll, maybe.
So, but he could technically Overwatch with the Lancer if he wanted at the end of this movement phase, because of course different timing now on that.
Oh, the WAAAGH is
WAAAGH, the librarian. He shot.
Last edition, that Brutalis would have been going first.
Yes.
Gazgul.
Now he's not.
You guys covered 24 inches.
Now
starts
with the player who's
Let's see, Docker is going to move in here. Across Nomad. That's
more likely
to turn. It's kind of hard.
Yeah, you would 100%
Here comes
swing.
Banner boys, dude. Even the Banner guy is showing off, dude. And he's cheap. That T6, I think, really helped for whatever small arms they stuck that way. They just survived. And now they got a 5-up inform again. So I'm very hard. Which at the end of the game, even if the guy's encroaching on his end, his natural, it's like, well, also put invuln. You can just throw it away easily. Adrian's like, what I do?
That looks to be about a unit of 4 or 5 orcs remaining from that unit.
One.
No, they need one. It's got the big boss and the banner knob in there as well.
I mean, they might kill it with shooting. They also have shooters.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, just stick that whole big boy up in there, dude.
Battle wagon moving on to the central objective. We said,
and he's just like, I'm just gonna put the thing buses behind the train.
At the end, you want to finish strong. You want to finish with units on that.
He still has 1 commando there too. I noticed how Adrian is not throwing away his mandos. That mando stayed there that whole game. Just keep letting him have the option. Man, does the Space Marine vehicle ever move? Well, Paul's a very typical Space Marine player. This hardly moves.
Well, so that would have been another way that things are cascading against.
I know high-level Space Marine players will move more.
You are able to drive over these pieces of terrain, these small pieces. Of course,
even in this
matchup, like it is right now.
You'd generally be more comfortable moving
up.
If
that you could not drive over that, there'd be no way to get that unit into the.
Not being as
the rules are fairly
stupid. More in theory would do something they never did.
And over terrain pieces like the actual massive.
Has some respectable shooting.
I mean, Orks did everything respectable as we thought. The -1 to hit makes them hard to dislodge. On top of their invuln, their ability to crash into you, their little small arms fire, and an enemy not having AP. all of the stuff that we were saying that slowly eroding their durability, letting us impose our will on our offense, totally came into play here. But it was also because Adrian was reserved in a good way.
There was a
on
good,
the first couple
probably
turns,
about
and did what we always talk about, where you let a couple of your more skirmishy calf units run out that are also a good toughness. Couldn't just clear those units without overcommitting. Even when he did commit, sometimes it was still a bad situation for him. And then Adrian just encroached as he could. The late game wall. Whenever you can dictate the wall that late in the game, you're in a really good position. So you heard the commentators earlier saying that he was in a bad position, but that overrun, punching, and Gaz surviving,
pretty big, huge tilt in this game. Those things are going to happen.
But we kind of assumed Gaz was going to survive that, to be honest. I think the real big thing was, how was he going to interact with these boys? And he never really thought about addressing the boys. He didn't have anything. So losing that Reaper and putting it up here was if he had the Reaper somewhere over here to respond and kill either unit of boys, maybe he would have been better off. But he had no chaff clearing. He had all big hard punching, and then he put all of that.
So just a reminder, guys, we're closing in, I think, towards the end of this game. This is our first live game of the new edition.
So you gotta respect that new Ork shooting.
And you do. And
thought he was gonna walk in and just take.
Yeah, he did. He got shot by a freaking DACA rig in a Def Con unit, and that killed the whole thing because no more armor for no more free, 2 up saves, 3 up saves across your whole army because you don't get cover no more. So that was a big deal, bro. That was really good.
And then a highly competitive game of Warhammer 40,000.
And I think he did pop strats for this DACA rig to kill that thing.
So DACA rig is shooting everything into the ballistas, going past the Brutalis, knowing that he has a first activation in combat, is what he just stated. He has taken sustained and pushed the button. So he is going to be
what we said. Every hit,
one AP2 save so
every hit now means more for an Orks because the wounds are so good. Like our weapons are pretty strong, good damage.
Yes.
Now the enemies don't get such good armor.
It is unwounded. That dice was set there to show how far it could move when you wanted to check the line of sight.
I gotta get my battle wagon going.
Put a dice down, see where it can move, see what its applications are before you commit to the move.
And this was with those reactive moves and everything. Yeah, it felt like the Blood Angels was playing defensively the whole game. He was probably a bit of the new additional rules, understanding Orks that well, right? He's probably played against other Space Marines and other Meta armies a lot of times.
And very little time
against
more
for somebody else.
Shoddy construction. So, but that's part of the fun of the this army, right?
What was
fun enough, Adrian just learned something there. He's like, well,
boys shot a little bit, so they picked up sixes because you're dread. This guy moved away,
but actually should have just chosen lethal. It would have resulted.
He kind of winding down here.
Then it converted into winning on the Gatling as well. So the sixes would have been better there. So interesting thing.
How much time we got left in this game? Like 10 minutes, maybe.
Yeah. We might conclude after this.
Yeah. So we've got a few other key shooting units to watch out for. We've got that Morkanort. What that's decided to shoot is going to be quite significant as well. It looks like it's got to be on either the Lancer or.
Can the Morkanort do something this trip?
Well, we just.
Did he do anything yet? Is he do shooting right now?
See you later, Redemptor.
He's about to
went down.
I think that was
Bomb Squig.
Bomb Squig. There we go.
Hey, Bomb Squig finally, hopefully doing some.
Managed to
probably not doing
tank busters.
Bomb Squig being up.
Bomb Squig got the Redemptor.
A little bit of shooting into this.
Oh, grenades. Apologies. Oh, very similar. Okay. I saw them rolling mortal wounds. I'm like, cool, bomb swing.
So that was the explosive stratagem. We might be able to bring up for you actually. Explosive stratagem is effectively what the grenade stratagem used to be. Any unit that has the explosives keyword.
New grenade, right?
To get that Orks, obviously.
Who reached that? The boys?
Yeah.
That's pretty far. Okay. I didn't thought it was further than 8 inches, but
it's more likely you can kind of include more alien things.
It doesn't mean you don't have to see a crack or a frag grenade on the.
That looked. Oh yeah, that was 8 inches. I thought it was more.
Which is very cool.
8 inches from.
And then that's all the Morkanort shots have gone into
grenade off right there.
Has destroyed it and is now being removed.
Feels like a tidy up turn.
Oh, the Morkanort destroyed the Lancer.
Whoa! Finally, did he use a strat right there?
I think
Did he was used? Did he even announce it? I don't think they even announced it, bro.
The ballistas either into the DACA rig or the Morkanort just for the cinematic element. The pure cinema of the result.
You're right for the Morkanort.
Dude, Adrian abling this kid, dude. He's like, yeah, Space Marines, you guys are done. And then he blew up.
That's how we do it, baby.
Oh my God, Adrian.
Last
Well,
turn. So
literally,
good
Paul said that.
job,
Paul said
bro.
that. You know what? I'm not going to try and kill the Morkanite. It's going to take care of that.
So
job.
bad.
So good.
We
So
did
the
call
Morkanite
that earlier in the
thing,
game. Like, dude,
ability
Morkanite would be hard to
in
kill
Warhammer
unless he kills
activate
himself.
more
Man,
powerful abilities on your guns you're
Yeah,
going to
no,
fire, but they all become lethal. Some of its guns are already lethal.
Yeah,
So you have
piece of
a
crap.
lot
But it
of
didn't.
tests
It
to
was
make.
so funny.
Effectively took
I mean,
a
his
full
position
busting
on the
roll
field,
for wounds
soaking
itself,
some of
but
those shots
did manage to kill
for
the Lancer.
gas
It took exactly
was the
6
game
wounds
changer to
from
stop
Paul
gas
this
also
game.
from
The
dying
rest was all
and stop
salvage.
there from being leftover shots into the boys.
Guys,
Because if the
into
intercessors
Dreadnought,
turn around and use those
because
shots on the
new
boys,
interaction is the way this works is because it defaults to the active player. There are no charges here by the Orks, so that means Gazgul is going first. And
Let's
here
see
we
if
go.
he can finish off the Brutalis. We'll see. Maybe
All
we get
hits.
a nice
No
close
charges.
all hits on gas.
Gaz is going for
All right, guys here.
Choose to move
Wounded.
there, puts 5 on him at AP 3-4 damage. Needs to make
AP
pretty
3,
much
4
all of
damage from these
those.
boys. Let's go, guys.
Dead.
He did.
We're gonna see a deadly demise here.
Hey, we're gonna see deadly demise and
No
GW
deadly
moves over.
demise.
No
Brutalis.
deadly demise for
That is the
you.
Brutalis, and we'll
Worthy
see the
combat.
hand of death come in.
Of
and
course, we see
pick him up.
the back of death first.
And now he's gone. He's gone.
Yeah.
There we are.
No.
Like a magician. It was there, and then it wasn't.
Oh, such a great job from the Orks, dude. This is
Oh, well.
fantastic.
Gaz probably thinks of himself as some kind of magician.
So
How long
that
has
is
it been
exactly what Gaz
since
was
been a
doing,
live
right?
game like
You
this?
charge in,
Orks
you take
actually won.
You take charge in, you take the
They
charge.
ran him
You
over,
can pick
too.
up
Oh,
stuff
yeah.
like dreadnoughts.
Technically,
without too much
Redemptor
trouble,
should
you
have
can
died
smash
eternal
characters,
earlier.
Knights,
And then the more
things,
Kakula
nothing
himself
doesn't
is
feel
not
better than
something.
Captain up next, hitting
Tank buses. I know they Overwatch.
Personal best.
They really should have
Got
done way
4
more.
wounds. Yeah, personal. you're a brute. So the order
what
is
did we-
running on the boys.
Let me say, we want to
They
have.
did feel their pains. He did fail 5 saves there.
So are we learning
Of course, they
anything
could
new, or are
say
we
that
just
Warhammer
along for the
is-
ride?
yeah.
A bit of both. We
So
reinforced
feel
things
no
we did
pain
know,
saves
So
on the
kill
and then
4
it
boys.
doubled
Pain
down
Boy
and
in the
we've been
game.
assuming,
Pain
and
Boy
we
has
know
been
that hey, these
doing
guys are way
well for the
better than
Orks.
we
He's been keeping that
initially
unit
thought.
alive
Most
Now-
as
and
a
also
whole,
doing significant
closing
damage
the distance
to
on them when
and
they
Adrian
want to hit,
is doing it
that's what
right.
to do.
The Pain Boy should go first.
Pain
And
Boy
I
should
think
go
that was
first.
not even with
Pain Boy should go
optimal deployment
first.
from Adrian. I
Yeah,
think
Finish-
he felt like he
finish
was
as
stepping
you
his own
started.
toes a little bit in some
Dirty syringe
cases.
only.
And I'm
Dirty
sure
syringe
if
only.
with more another list, it'd be even better.
On a 2. 2 to
We
hit
learned
because
that the
plus 1 hit
vehicles
with the
can
war boss.
participate
He
at
got it.
least for how they touch
And
on
a
the
4 up.
objectives, since then now they're all
Pain Boy,
objectives.
can he finish him off?
First captain.
And
No.
Warhawk,
No, okay, kill him the old-fashioned way. It's fine. Yeah.
And now the
Rules,
Docs
3+.
tools.
Yeah,
from
the
the
Dutch
Pain Boy.
tools. He might still be able to finish
Um,
the Pain Boy. It's not.
yeah.
the
so
necessary-
I think overall,
the
most
Pain-
Orks are
Pain Boy's got
definitely
decent
in a
combat
better
ability.
position than
Strength
people were
9.
wondering. People
Yeah,
were
which
kind
is
of
kind of
poo-pooing some of them,
bionic
thinking that
claw-
our shooting is
claw
completely irrelevant, where we
manages
charge
to
points for
do
it.
There we
decent
go.
And our
damage.
shooting actually
And the
failed
Pain
us
Boy
some.
did
It's
kill
not
him, although
reliable,
not with the Hurty
But when you can
No.
put stratagems
That is
and
it. We are left in going to the
detachment
bottom
rules
of
around the
25
units you
for
want to,
Murphy
and everybody else
with
does what
the
they want to do.
Desolation Marines,
Been
a
playing off pretty
Librarian,
well.
and a Ballistus Dreadnought. And that is all she
And yeah, we
wrote.
learned towing
So,
unit on objectives
scoring
is
up turn
obviously very
5 now
strong
for
and
top of
useful
turn. About to
vehicles.
head into the bottom.
Mhm.
5 points scored there for forward positions. No prisoners was 3, so maxed there for 5.
Adrian scored the secondaries again.
And sorry, apologies, forward position.
Adrian
Not
putting up
quite yet.
big old score. Dang.
Let's
So
go.
No, Adrian with the 90
Great
up
turn.
in here. My
He's
boy,
gone
dude, we got to
straight
get
to
some
90
ones after
now.
this is over for him.
Max scoring.
I was a pain boy.
Yeah,
We've
pretty
had
much.
a
I don't
very,
think that was the
very
pain boy
good
fight.
game.
I think that was just normal.
Yeah,
fight at the
10
end.
points shy there.
Before that, though, there
The
was an
most
intercessor
possible
that was
score.
near
Of course,
him.
we've got battle ready,
Before
ticked up
that.
in there.
Yeah, still alive.
Already being
Yeah,
added
Mikhail's
in.
still alive, I think.
35 on primary.
And look at the
Five on
Adrian
secondary
scored all
draw.
his secondaries because he was still holding them at the end.
5s there, 3s
Oh,
and 5s all the way down.
dang.
Amazing game by Adrian. Well
That's
done.
And part of that
fantastic,
is
dude. Adrian.
Things that you wouldn't have
Beautiful
scored in the
work,
last
man.
edition
Yes.
because you
Look at
either
this.
scored
Love
them
this
all, 3 or
forward
4 of them in a
position.
single turn. Or
Boys here on the
if you
natural.
scored
He
them
pushed
early
towards
on,
the
then you
enemies
scored
with
them
one of
later.
his other
Yeah.
boy
Well, so,
moms.
and for his primary mission,
And he
if he
had
just
with
killed
the
a
big
unit and took an
boss,
objective off
right?
Paul,
And you banner
6
boys.
points in
So
the
this is a
bank.
cheap.
And that has
There's
been
a cheap
paying up him again and again
boy
and again.
unit.
And of course, so much
Then he
Sentinels,
still has
they
the
step up
main
and they
force in the
entrench,
middle,
and
and
they
then
just stay
gas
waiting to
pushing
get
to the
crunched
enemy's
into.
primary, and the
So
doctor is
definitely
following.
Paul
I
was
wish
able to use
Doctor
that
would put
reactive move
librarian.
after being shot a lot of the time,
Just 'cause I don't
and
like
then literally Adrian stopped shooting. He was like, "I can't shoot you anymore with my small arms fire, or else you're going to keep running away. I'm not going to
But I
make the
guess in an
charges."
Orc army that you only a third of your
One of them
points
is
are
a
banked
priority.
into
Yeah.
into shooting. fighting, right?
Yeah.
So you're
This is his last Space Marine player's turn. He's obviously lost.
I think I could just win a fight. So I'm just
Giving
gonna-
W's, happiness for Adrian in the chat.
interesting,
All Orks had made their appearance, showed up to Armageddon. Nice, mean, green fighting machines with a little bit of DACA. And it sounds real mean when the rocket hit that Ceramite armor that's too clean, boys.
With the
Let's
retaliation,
go. I
it
think
might have made a huge difference. Well, it put me to a point now with the ballistas.
and everybody was worried about them.
3 wound guys with
The
Racco,
cover,
something like that,
play,
and at least going down with
fucking
the glory kill,
MVP,
which would
comes
we're
into
all
play.
here for it. We all know it. We're not
We're
we're
stacking
petty
little
people on the
things
table.
that made
I
up,
want
and
to
when
kill my
Orks have a
opponent's
lot of
best
dice,
team all the time.
that helps
So
get more
we'll
play out of all
see
these
if
full rules.
Paul is
And,
able to find.
this isn't even an
we're
optimized
looking for
Orcs
kills.
list.
Regardless, we're playing for
The
glory.
Blood Angel
We're trying to
list
see
was
what we
played a
can
little
take out. We've
poorly,
got
and
the
it could be
librarian
improved in some
moving up
ways,
there
but
to try and put some
it's not
fire
too
into
far
the
off from some of the
Maybe
things.
we got to
you
look
see.
in on
You might lose turn
secondaries.
for more
It'd be
jetpack
a
guy,
great time to pick
Sanguinary
assassination.
guard, stuff like that.
Double
But
down there.
it's
Engage
still
on
going
the
to
front, get
play
behind. Oh, rough turn for
similar
that.
game, trying to encroach on Orcs and getting punched in the mouth before being glass cannon.
We're to pick up burden of trust.
All right, I think they're pulling it out. Boys got 2 more points.
For people at home.
There we go.
Yeah. Great work here by Adrian.
Right now, but a good.
I think they're not the points to score and end it out here when stands it out. We'll see if Adrian has any last words.
To get some,
and then we'll end it. Thanks for everybody who's here with us, though, hanging out. Throwing some grenades again with explosives.
Momentarily. There it is. Tell us
Try to
about
score some secondaries.
So this is Burden of Trust. This is one of the new
Yeah,
missions.
that's
When
going hard.
drawn
What's
at
up,
the start of
Justice?
your turn, for each objective,
Oh,
you
for
can select one
Adrian.
friendly unit on the battlefield to guard that
And he's just trying
objective
to
until the start
move
of
up
the
and get
next
as many
turn.
points
While
as
that unit is
can.
within range of the objective and while you
They terms never
control the
move,
objective,
bro.
that
You know
objective
that.
is guarded by your
Just don't have
army.
to move.
Now this
Purge. That's his own issue, right? He's still focused on playing Purge. He's just standing there.
Must be and remain on
Forgot to
that
score primary.
objective. So he
Well,
can.
I think he forgot to take board,
on your home objective. There is nothing
and that
necessary
allowed
for your
Adrian
home
to
objective.
choose all the
So this way,
engagements.
do it on the home. He
Primary.
steps up the
And
ballistic.
That would've
do
been like how
expansion
spread out
in the
was.
and the
No.
top middle.
Dreadnought.
Those 2 points there, so there should be 4 in the bank there.
Maybe more
nicely.
central.
And
Yeah, Adrian-
he's using explosives now. On
That's what
Gaz and
was
Makari.
good.
in
He
order to
had
get rid of Makari's
battle wagons
gas
all
cannons.
doubled down, the
This is
Gork,
a
the Doc
great way
Rig,
to
and then he
use
had
these.
little crappy
Makari has
fast
a 2-up
flying
vulnerable
units
save.
moving on.
Very, very hard to kill him with
Yes.
traditional shooting, but with explosives,
Yeah.
you
We're
can
tracking
absolutely
off.
remove him. Makari there.
I like that. We're
the
tracking.
banner of the war. It's okay.
Mm-hmm.
They can find a new Makari. There's always more
There's always
Makaris.
more. Just
There's
give him
more
a
Makari.
stick. You're the new Makari.
But the important thing
alive.
there is that Gazgul now.
I was trying to kill
lost
Gaz, just for the
effectively
sake of
save.
it.
It was keeping him very safe from something like the
Agreed.
ballista.
Very Orcish
And now we
finish
have
with
the
the
librarian
for sure.
and the
GW is like, this is
both
what wanted
have
to happen.
fairly
The Orcs are winning by too
decent
much
shooting
if he was still on
they
the field.
could take out
Right.
Gazgul, which would be a great consolation prize to the forces
Yeah.
of Space Marines.
They're saying Gaz,
I
killing
think if
Gaz
they
would
were
be a
told after
consolation
battle,
prize if they could
we've
pull it
lost
off.
the center bunker, but we have managed to kill the Prophet of the War.
Mm.
They would probably be
Well,
okay with
good.
that.
Now
Gaz
shooting
tanks this
Desolation
ball
Marines, I
whole
believe.
game, and then this game. So
Oh,
just
Super
everything
Charged
into Gaz because they want to
Librarian
feel better
shooting
about
into
it.
Gaz.
Supercharged,
Let's
like
go.
he's
I know
going
how
for
that is.
hazardous
And
librarian. He's
you
like
got to kill something
unlocking
at the end
all
to
the
make
power
people
of the
feel
war
better.
and
That's okay. I've
blasting
done
it into
that.
the Prophet
I'm
of the
like,
War.
yeah,
Let's see if they can pick him up,
Rerolling to
remove
here.
him.
Both the moment active.
Yeah, the Blood Angels
Gazgul
had
has the
it,
most
like
moment, of
no
course. That's not a
Paul.
great roll, Paul.
How
That's
do you keep
That's not
doing
how you
this?
end a game of 40k. Come
How do
on.
you keep doing this, Paul?
Cold.
He kind
We
of
got
did.
one. We got one.
1 wound.
One wound.
Negative 2 for
Yeah.
Invuln. He does save it on
Bounces off.
Gaz.
But the thing is, once you
Steps
do
in and
that,
intercepts that.
now you're
Four of
more
them vulnerable
range.
save and Gazgul.
Yeah,
and that's
So,
what's happening is then he got
as
to
it
pick
does, Paul managed
stage
to
up even
intercept his
more.
librarian
You
with
got to
hazardous
close in
librarian.
with your elite
Yeah,
stuff, and you got
Hazardous roll
bound
to
to
come still.
Yeah, and he didn't
Ballista
create that
Dread,
space
we must have done it already off screen.
mentioning, So
Mhm.
when
And then
we did come
Ballista
in,
shooting into Gaz.
he
Here we
was
go.
right.
This
in
might be the
long
big one.
range.
Yeah.
Right, and we saw how potent that can be. for
Yeah,
Orcs.
when you
So both of them
take
active,
up so much
so
space on
he-
them, they're on top of each other. Now you start
Ballista's
overrunning
dodge
them.
really not coming into effect here.
Not to mention, whenever he shot small arms at any of
Two
our
hits
orcs,
on the las cannons.
because they were in
Two-star
cover
wound
minus
thanks to
one,
Oath.
they were way harder to dislodge. Because being minus one to
Reroll that
hit
from
is way
entrenched.
more impactful than plus
No,
one.
1 into a 1 again, Paul.
Everybody has AP.
I gotta say, Paul,
That was another big deal. That
That's
nobody
right, the
could,
dice-
got-
couldn't
the
kill the
dice
tank
is so
busters
good.
through, so
easily.
we got a
They
win
couldn't kill the
through.
Mandos
4 up.
easily. They couldn't kill Death Copters easily.
5 damage
Every
on
time. I mean, it
Gazgul.
literally took
How
a
many wounds Gazgul got left?
Vanguard veteran
3
unit
wounds
with
left
some
on
support
Gazgul.
fire to kill
Crack
3 Death
missiles.
Copters.
There's
And then on the
practice on
following
the
turn, they didn't even make the
firing.
charge because they were scared of the
Critical
of the
moments.
heroic. And so then the Death
Two
Copters got
hits.
to
2
freely
hits.
move and do
This
stuff
could,
again.
this could be big.
This could be
Now,
huge.
this is a game in the bag for
Yeah,
the Orcs.
usually
The
Orcs
Space Marines are
always
playing to see
outnumber
if they can
Space
take
Marines
out
in terms
this
of
guy.
units.
Yeah.
And
1 wound on
We've got
They're
1 wound. A
always
4-up save will
dedicate
keep him
more than
alive. A
one
1, 2, or
to deal with
3,
Orc
and he
units.
could
Yep.
be interesting.
So
And you're
2
you're
saves.
losing out on
4
activation
ups here.
for
Fails them both.
Double 1, and he lives. Anything else?
Double 1 and he lives. Got him.
Okay, got him.
Gazgul
Okay,
goes down.
So
This
the
game
closing
shot
shot
now,
of the
Orcs-
battle. The Space
Orcs
Marines
are in a good
despite
motivation to start
losing on points have managed to get the
one. They get
melee
to play and
armies.
score
taking out the
missions
enemy
or
warlord,
score
Gazgul
secondaries
Mega.
the way they want
Obviously,
to. The way
his-
your list
he's
is
been
built.
wounded there.
And
He'll be
two, we
fine.
saw a
They'll patch
little,
him up. He'll be back ready for war. very
So,
soon.
the last thing of consequence here, the Desolation Marines are
all
now
spraggly
using
throughout your army.
Death Copters in order to get
So
hold an objective.
that,
in the
combined
forward for a couple
armors
of
that
points
we're
on
always
primary
talking about.
control.
Right?
He can see them, so he's
And
gonna hit
all
them
these
with
little
shields,
units with
which
rockets,
is not too
Compass
bad,
to the war
but still,
track,
it's gonna
to your
be, what,
buggies,
two Death
to your,
Copters there,
and then we know the
160
biker,
wounds
the
through
knob
four
is going to
bolts.
have a
Quite
combi
big
weapon
ask.
of
It
some
is
sort.
a single
That's
wound,
gonna
but
be
yeah,
the-
single damage
all
weapon.
these
Don't
little,
leave-
and
don't
then they're
leave
going
any
to close
points on the
this
table.
on you, get their
you go
shots
for the
off, and then
victory.
charge
Absolutely.
you, which
like
disrupts
one's
the enemy
down
skirmish
to a
units
wound.
too. So I'm pretty pumped.
Number of shots on the D3, so that was the Vanguard launcher first.
Which detachment? I guess we didn't really
10
learn
shots.
too much.
A lot of shots out of this.
Yeah,
You know,
just
they are usually used.
I
to
think
clear
this
things
nice
like enemy
support of
infantry who are
one
holding
is the
midfield
support,
objectives
and then the
that
other
you
one's
don't
your
have to
damage.
go
It's
for.
obviously very clear.
But at a
Most people
pinch,
actually
it
were
can do
thinking about
damage into
Dreadmob
this
and more
amount of
Daka.
bikes
A lot of the
and
time we
Just
were
to reiterate,
discussing
the
in
changes to
chat.
indirect
I
fire.
think when we
If
even did
no
our
model
poll, people
in
would
your
come out
army
with
can
Dreadmob
see the unit
because
you're
the big
shooting with
like
indirect
Dr.
fire,
Reg
you will
is,
hit on sixes.
you know,
If you can
very
draw a
appealing to
line of sight
everybody,
from
and
any other
Dreadmob's
unit
not
in
a
your
very
army, you'll hit on
clear
fours. True
detachment that
line of sight,
supports
and of
him.
course, true line of
And then we're
sight.
going to see being more
So
Dreadmob.
Ulysses is
We
going
get to see
in.
anything about
We might see
Warhorde, but we
crushing
do see the
impact.
combos of what goes with what
And
is
Librarian is going in
we've been
as
kind of
well.
Ballista's
anticipating.
not normally a
So
combat dreadnought. He
cult
does
of
not
speed
really
with
have any combat
speed
weapons, but he
wall
can
or
kick.
whatever it is.
He
That's
can
going to be
kick.
very
So,
helpful.
Rolled a
to
7 there, does
supplement
not
each other.
make it.
I
And
do-
of
I
course,
Now, they
do
didn't break
wonder how
down like a whole
difficult it
layout
is
like
to
you all
stomp on a helicopter.
yeah.
Scratch or anything like that. I don't know what happened to ignore
10
cover
dice here,
enhancement, why
5s
if
and
you didn't
6s
take
to
that.
do mortal
Like there
wounds.
are
He would
questions still
need
left to be
5s.
seen,
Crushing
but
impact.
He
we're
would need
that much
5
closer.
5s to take
And
this unit out. I believe he's due.
Have a strat for ignores cover, which he did use in this
He's got
game.
so now
4
Dreadmount
wound
is a
left.
He needs to
strat
do
or is
one
it an
kick. He
enhancement?
needs to kick
So he
one
needs to
death
change
copter in
that.
the shin.
So we have a
It's
single
not
death
anything
copter
more
left on
strat
a
now,
single
which
wound.
makes it more universal.
That is enough to get
Also,
the
if you guys are
objective.
here,
Ulysses
you
is,
guys can
objective draw 4 here, so that is
put
enough
comments on
for
Adrian's
Ulysses.
videos and tell him to do an interview with me. There we go.
Yeah.
Right, he knows who we are.
Imagine
So I mean, he definitely knows
low
the channel.
hovering or
So
aircraft there as
if it's in his time, maybe he can
enormous
talk to
box
us
of
all.
death
Thing.
charges through the room.
Who else would you rather talk to than us? I mean,
Exactly.
wait,
Yeah.
wow, dude,
Yes.
what channel is there? Like that, and
That's
that's
what I'm
about the
putting down,
game.
folks.
So
Love it.
pumped.
Yeah, we go with the kicks,
One
Will
attacks,
the dreadnought be able to
knowing
take out the
Eugene
lone death
represented
copter?
with that
Get
odd
one wound
he
through.
had.
Hits with
It makes
all
sense because
wounds
it's
on
good an intro
3s.
list for all the beginners that are going to be
2
here.
wounds.
You got to
2
see
wounds.
walkers
4
be on the
ups here
menu.
from the
Good
death
odds, actually.
copter.
Good odds.
Battle wagons and gas
He
on the
got
menu.
him.
You got him.
And little
Well
thing
done,
with the boys,
Ballistus.
with the fact
They
that
said he
double
couldn't be a combat
leaders,
dreadnought, but he didn't hear him.
these
Did not-
little
does not
No, and
believe
we've
it.
just
little
I
units
think
Saw the
actually
handshake.
saw the
useful
handshake there,
in some ways. Is it going to be useful in
and that
high level competitive games? Maybe not.
concludes
Maybe a big point sync.
first game.
But for anybody getting
Very
started,
first
you know
game
that
of
all these
Warhammer
characters
40,000.
get
We
more
will,
stuff.
I believe,
Let's
be
come
having
into play.
interviews.
We
We
will,
put
yeah,
them
we're going to
both
go
players.
to a very
bring them out the
a
right timing.
quick break,
Adrian
I
displayed
think,
here.
while we get the
Wait for the
players
wall.
up on
Come out
here.
and
We'll
then
have a
make sure
chat
to
with them,
stand where they can
talk
score
through
and they
some of
target.
the events of the battle,
And he did a great
and
job
then
with that.
get ready for our next
I like
game
this
of the
cheaper
new edition of
legendary
Warhammer
double
40,000.
leader unit
We will
of
be
the big
right
boss on
Be
the
right back.
You could definitely tell it wasn't nearly as killy.
Yeah,
But I assume it also costs like maybe like 60 points less.
yeah, it's a budget package.
Yeah. So and then here is the final trailer before we turn off for this. Maybe is their next game.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll see this go into the next game.
Is this their Crusade game? I think it's their is it their no, because they were playing
It's the play on tabletop.
yeah, because that game is something like Death Card and such, right?
Yeah, Tau and Death Guard.
Mhm. I don't see any orcs on here. I'm just trying to see an orc.
Yeah, I think we're
So I think we're done with the orcs there, guys. Great job to Adrian. Congratulations. One more WAAAGH. Our happy big W's in chat for Adrian and all the orc stars as a whole. So I'm pretty pumped. Everybody should be very excited. Make sure you get hobbying. You get 3 hours on this. Leave a likes because this is a lot of different competitors on here that got to see this. So maybe rewatch. People can find it and listen to it. Trying to keep it entertaining for the slow pace of the game at the start, but I think it let us show that how important all 5 turns are going into this next edition. A lot of our thoughts and our experimental ideas are paying off and seem to be true. So I think everybody should be pumped about that because the only thing that I think we seen that was more impactful than we imagined was the 9-inch coherency for mobs.
Yeah.
I think other than that, everything else was what we anticipated. So any last words from chat? Make sure you guys let it be known. David, any last words too?
I was just gonna ask you, what did you think about the 10 boy mobs, considering that 9-inch coherency is now a rule?
Yeah, 10 boys with 2 characters, if they're cheap, kind of seems to have a play.
Yeah.
They can punch up, they can play multi roles because of the 2 leaders, especially if you can pay these cheap leaders. Like we don't know what a banner knob is or a big boss, but if they're both cheap enough and you're like, okay, I'll just not not bring the other 10 boys because the coherency thing, but this unit works a lot better now.
Right.
Or the boss and the pain boy. If piece of a leader for sustain, but then you have this unit to still stick around. So I'm pretty pumped about that as well as how will our other units do when they have double leaders, like knobs, for example. Right? Oh, actually, we got Adrian still there, so we don't
Edition of Warhammer 40,000. We have the players here, Adrian and Paul. Thanks so much
did more
for playing. I'm going to
go
to
this
you
game.
first, Paul. Champion the Space Marines. How was the game for you?
Oh, still reeling, but absolutely fun. Like the interaction back and forth was great. Really loved it.
Cool. What was the highlight moment for you of that particular game?
Killing that Death Copter at the end felt really strong. I felt like, I'm taking him with me on this trip here.
So cathartic, right?
It was good. It was good.
What did you feel that was different about the game versus how that might have played out in the last edition of Warhammer?
So being mindful of the 2-inch exclusion was what mattered, and then of course getting those options when you have perfect information from the charge roll. Also, I think that was also impactful because once you saw what you rolled, that kind of see if it opened up any other doors for you.
That felt like the big one, didn't it? When you saw the opportunity to take out Gaz and
well, there was an opportunity there where my Vanguard vets actually could have gone a couple different places, and I might have exposed myself to something if anyway. I wanted the dice to help give me a little bit more information, see where they could go, see if they could do what I wanted them to do with the game, which was to be basically a little bit of resistance between Gaz and the rest of my forces.
Awesome. Adrian, obviously, congratulations
So
on
worried
the win.
Appreciate it.
The Orks stomped to victory at the end. How was the game for you?
It was amazing, an absolute blast. I was really happy that we had so many cool cinematic moments. It was kind of culminating in that battle in the middle, literally between boys and intercessors. You can't ask for better than that.
We were very impressed with the Ork war boss in that fight when he swung.
He's amazing. He's an absolute joy, and it was kind of cool that we finally got to see that new cleave rule, all those extra attacks. He looks great, and he plays really, really fun as well. So that was awesome.
Apart from that particular fight, did you have any favorite moments from that battle?
Boy. So I was really happy that we did manage to get Gaz in with all the mega nubs on that flank. Paul did a great job of sort of keeping me at arm's length with him and sort of kind of roadblocking with the Vanguard vets. And so getting in and then seeing again the new rules where we had ongoing combats and letting Gaz swing before the Brutalis. It was a cool moment that was like cinematic, but also showcasing some of the big changes. So you're kind
of far less worried about that fight than you maybe would have been the last edition where you're getting punched by a dreadnought.
Yep, and he still maintained his leading bonus despite losing all his mega nobs.
He's still leading bonus is awesome for Gaz.
Cool. We also quite like the fact that you blew up your own Morkanor.
Yeah, you have to.
I also enjoyed that.
That's definitely a favorite, right?
Brilliant. Well, guys, thank you so much for playing. Adrian, thanks for coming and piloting the Orks through this battle. Paul, you're going to stay with us and commentate on some of the future games. Guys, that's our first game of Warhammer 40,000 done. We'll be back in about an hour's
it's our boy. Look at that face,
dude.
He's so happy, dude. Orks won a live stream game.
For the next game of the new.
So shout out to Adrian. Shout out to everybody that was here in the chat. There's a lot of stuff going on. So thank you for joining us. Leave a like, subscribe, and support the Great Wall because we're here to stay. And we're going to make it all the way, boys. We're going to make it to the big game, to the big leagues. We'll be on there next edition.